Hey, I like it, man. Turn that shit up. Turn the beat up.
Oh, no, I actually hate that fucking song. I really, really do.
Turn the beat around.
Well, you've had to hear it every day.
Oh, is it Midnight Chat Attack, folks? Oh my goodness, there it is. I didn't mean to do the.
And that's the show, folks.
That's it. That's all it. No,
that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. No, man, we are here. We are back. It's been 2 fucking weeks, and we're finally back doing the Midnight Chat Attack. Now, granted, it's been 2 weeks for me, and I think Allie too. Were you on the Facebook gaming shows?
No, I would not.
Yep, she was like, "Oh, fuck that shit. I wasn't gonna do that."
Nope.
But people, Ganja and Alan. What did you say, Ganja? My bad. It's been a while.
Hey,
excuse me.
It's alright. You can call me Gaijin if you want, like the old co-host used to.
Ganja Goomba, whatever the fuck.
Ganjin Goomba. That was my fucking favorite.
Yeah, man, that shit was ridiculous. But Alan and Ganja have been holding it down while I've been gone. So thank you very much, Alan, my boy.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Ganja, my sister.
Hey, I'm your brother from another mother. What the fuck you talking about?
No, I'm
not with that hair, you're not.
Yeah, honestly, like right now, I'm still trying to decide who looks better with the hair, you or Allie. It's like, you know, it's comparable because you're so fucking fancy.
I definitely have more volume than she does.
Excuse you,
bitch! Damn.
Why did you think that's all
see my hair when I don't flat iron it and blow dry it.
Hey, you just
I got so much volume.
Yeah.
Man, you almost got your ass kicked for some shit that I said. That's fucking
awesome. She cut me. She cut me, Nick, for what you said.
That's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah,
Nor will it
exactly.
be the last.
No, and it will not be the last. It won't be the last for me getting other people on here a fucking cut for something I say or something that I actually talk about on the show. Because, as you guys saw, the title of the fucking video is called Black Panther Review, which is great. And also, actually, I forgot what the second part was. I think it was Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah, which, hey, no spoilers, man. Don't tell people what you feel, even though I don't know.
Fuck you.
Fucking, I don't know what fucking idiot out there thinks that Full Metal Alchemist is
I got a few words to say about that movie. We'll
hey,
get
so
to it, though.
y'all telling me that the great director of, I don't know his name because I can't pronounce Japanese names, didn't actually make a great Full Metal Alchemist for the American audience to enjoy and actually come into the mainstream and enjoy what anime is for the general population?
No, not at all.
Was this for the American audience?
I like just thinking about it. She's already yawning about Full Metal Alchemist. She's just like, oh my god.
She's forgot about it twice. She was there with me.
Man, it was so funny. We were talking about, oh, you know, we're gonna, I guess we have that big movie to review though. We did it. I'm like, what movie? I can't think of anything. Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, I completely forgot about that movie. I wiped it from my brain.
I'm really surprised that you forgot that fucking early though. Like, I don't know if that's because of the movie or because like some kind of memory issue or something. Because that's fucking.
Nah, that movie.
But.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a lot because, like I said, we only have 2 topics tonight, and then we're going to talk about Pixel Picks. My boy over here at Ganja Guru is going to review something. We're not going to say what that something is right now, but man, after tonight, you guys think we fuck with Alan a lot because Alan's kind of wrong like a lot, and he's kind of short and kind of lame.
Hey, wait till that YouTube edit comes along and how many times I'm actually right.
Yeah,
man,
right,
that is a fake ass edit. That is like some propaganda from North Korea right now with that shit.
How? It's live footage.
You doctrine use that AI program that puts like famous people on porn star bodies. I don't trust you.
Oh shit, yeah, the deepfakes, man. I want to check those out because it sounds kind of interesting.
They've seen my Photoshops. I'm not that good.
I'm just saying.
While I have the mic for a second, as I am doing the YouTube edit, if there's any moments that you guys remember, you don't have to remember exactly when it happened, but just something I should look out for. Message it, either PM it to me or message it in the chat, and I'll write it down and take a look at it. But I am working on the YouTube edit of everything that happened in 2017 in the MCA.
Yeah, and another thing I've been working on too, and you guys have actually probably already seen this on Facebook and everything like that, but I actually want to show you something really quick. There's a site, and we never do plugs. I think, remember when we used to do plugs back in the day with the whole Mixelin's t-shirt shop and shit like that, Ganja? That shit was bad back then. And we don't want to get like cringy and shit like that once again, but I just want to let you guys know that we actually have one of these. It's actually pretty cool. It's called Amino. Now, basically, this site, you go on there, it's basically like a mobile version of Facebook, which Facebook has its own mobile version, so what the fuck. But we're basically just trying to, like, use this app to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to start putting quizzes up there, polls, things like that. And I really want to incorporate you guys, like, talking in there and stuff like that, too, because I know Double Toast is going to be doing this soon. We're trying to kind of figure out how this is going to work. So we're kind of like a guinea pig for it in a way, in a sense. And I feel like it'd be really cool to kind of like get to know how to talk with you guys and interact with you guys and have you guys to be more part of the show as well. Because I have a program that can actually call you guys on that app through the computer right here. So you'll be on the show with us in case you don't want to get on through Google Hangouts or you don't know how it fucking works or whatever the case may be. So yeah, make sure to kind of let us know if you want to get on the Amino thing. Our handle is Chat Attack. So I mean, I don't know how to search people in this fucking thing.
No, it's actually pretty simple. Like if you actually go to the desktop and put in our thing, you will get a direct link. You can just copy and paste to your phone because that's how I did it. Or if you just look up like people that you know from the chat, such as Adrian, Dijon, and a few other people that I can't think off the top of my head because I'm trying to go through this pretty quickly. You can actually quickly get ads, and then you'll find them in that chat tag through that. I don't know if they're going to work on that, so it's more, I guess, user-friendly, so it's easier to find web pages and whatnot. But as of right now, if you start an account, it's kind of a little hard to get started. But once you get started, I'm actually having a fucking fun time with it. It kind of reminds me of the early days of Facebook when you just kind of want to play with it and just chat with everybody and check out other rooms. And that's actually what I'm going to be doing because apparently they have rooms dedicated to politics, news, movies, games, artistic styles and shit. It's basically like Discord if Discord allows you to be fancy with gifts.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I'm looking over here too. You know, yeah, like it shows our comments over here. This is actually the webpage version, but the app is really what we want you guys to kind of get on here and talk to people about.
It's much more user friendly.
Oh, it really is. Because I don't like doing this shit on Facebook. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a Facebook guy. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And I'm looking over here in the chat. I know Adrian's in there as well. I don't know if Ruth is there. I know Bob Blob, you know, Cedric, he's actually on the app. So yeah, man, just hopefully, even BBM saying like, yeah, he has Amino, Supernatural, The Walking Dead, and it's not difficult at all for him. By the way, I like BBM. I like how you fucking have a Walking Dead Amino, okay, but yeah, you hate Walking Dead so much, man. Stop, get off my fucking ass.
It's like the Matrix. It stops after 2.
Yeah. And we'll get into that in a little bit too, but on top of like interactivity and having you guys be part of the show and things like that too, Mr. Ganja Guru, it's been a while, man. I've missed you. I've missed when you used to do this, sir.
Might be a little rusty. Hold on.
Oh, God. He has a stretch.
Oh, shit. I pulled something. I'm not fucking around.
I'm waiting for Alan got a monitor or something.
Exactly. Now I like how Alan actually got like scared for a second, like, oh no, my God.
Just see me with a broken arm, just limp out the room.
Good.
It was like, so the rules, don't break your shit on the fucking goddamn show like that.
Rule number 8.
Oh. We're gonna add a rule to that, man, and I'm afraid what that's gonna be, man.
But yeah, man. Go ahead,
guys, it's been a while. I know if you guys missed me because I miss you guys too. I love talking to you guys, bullshitting within the chat rooms, talking nonsense. But in order to talk that nonsense, talk that shit, there are some rules required because we don't want to go too off the rails because we do that already. For example, rule number 1: newcomers join the call first. We're all about those fresh, new smelling faces, those people we haven't seen for a while, or those people that are shop popping up for the first time. So hit me, Alan, or Allie Girl upside the DMs inside the Double Toasted Studio or on the Facebook page. Not Double Toast Studio, doubletoast.com. I fucked up on that one. Rule number 2: do not talk over each other, fools.
Upside the head. I said oops upside your head. You
use your bad rap styles that were supposed to be in the 80s because it just ruins audio quality for later viewing, and we just can't have that, folks. So, rule number 3: please no nudity. I know we kind of almost broke this one ourselves, but it was for the content, and it had actual context around it. Now, if you just start sending dick pics and your titty pics, it has no context. Alan, shut up. I'm trying to save our asses. So, guys, please no nudity. Keep that in mind. Rule number 5. No, not 5. I skipped. Rule number 4. Do not give anyone else the link, folks. We have a planned show, and that includes me fucking up on this list and who comes on to certain topics, conversations, or just wants to bullshit around us. So you hand out the link, you're gone, and so is the dumbass that clicked it. Rule number 5. Read the rules, and Allie Girl, let me hear it.
Don't be a dick.
God damn you, Allie.
She literally had to take care of some shit. She just throw it to me.
Honestly, I like that a lot more.
Did she wait till I got to number 4? I was like, man, fuck.
I don't think she planned it.
No, I actually like her face. Is like, I'm not gonna say it.
Lord, just throw it to me, man. You look at the same screen I am.
This shit's hilarious. Oh my God! Yes, people don't.
Of course, this happened, man. We've been out for 2 weeks. We haven't done a proper show. Of course, we're gonna come back and make a few mistakes, man.
No, it's all good. No, but speaking of rusty, though, and speaking of bad attitudes, we gotta just put this out there really quick. When we go into our big thing tonight, because I'm gonna say some things that are gonna piss off people, Alan's gonna say some things that are gonna piss off people, and Ganja's gonna say some things that are gonna really piss off people. Just know that when you guys say in chat, we're cool with that. It's okay. But when we say things too, do not get offended. Everything's cool because one of the rules at the very end: don't be a dick. We're not dicks. You're not dicks either. Let's all be vaginas.
Why are you
I don't know.
Why are you talking like Bob Ross right now?
Because I'm on that shit.
I don't know, Nick. This is the same chat that tried to burn us to the ground for putting King Kong as our #1 movie last
All
year.
right, that's how democracy works, y'all. You may not like it, but that's how that shit works.
Like, I'm just saying, like, they already got the pitchforks ready, man.
Oh my goodness! But
And
really
then
quick,
because
too,
we did make King Kong #1 movie of the year.
And I still stand by that.
we all agree it was a good fucking movie, man.
Nick, I love how they gave us shit in the chat, but we were hanging out with Grits maybe like 2-3 days afterwards and he was like, "So, what y'all give movie of the year?" And we were like, "Yeah, we gave King Kong movie of the year." Oh, damn! Like that was good, but I wouldn't think movie of the year. No, because we all liked it, and that was like one of the rare movies that oh, that makes a lot of sense. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
How is he more understanding than our fucking audience that loves us?
Because Gertz isn't a movie snob.
Oh, and
Yeah,
like I said,
that shot's fired, bitch.
oh,
I fucking said it.
Hey, I'm gonna say, you know what? Maybe Gerst just doesn't understand as well as you folks that are watching this, who are gonna watch, make our watch time go up. You guys are wonderful. I'm Ron. Fucking, what's the movie they all like? Ragnarok should be #1. Okay, fuck you. Okay, goddamn.
These motherfuckers have been calling me out, saying I don't like fun. Fuck them.
By the way, I like how Moonlight won, and it did come out last year, and no one put that on their top 10. I'm just saying.
That already won Best Movie of the Year prior.
No, I know, but we're doing our top 10 of 2017, which came out in 2017. Same with Get Out. Same with Get Out too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they came out last year.
I thought Moonlight. No, I'm more sure Moonlight came out last year.
You want to look it up? I'll look it up right now. I don't give a fuck.
It
chat said, when are we going to be professional? I don't give a shit.
It says 2016.
It does?
Yeah, it says literally release date in the United States is October 21st, 2016. So
damn, I don't know why I think that movie's more recent than what it is.
This isn't our Facebook gaming thing where we put 2016 in our 2017.
Fuck you, I did that twice.
No, see, actually what happened was, I'm looking over here too, it actually says on top, like, this is all wrong, but up here, it came up because I wrote 2017. It's actually not 2017. It's 2016. So, yeah, I'm right. You're wrong. It's all good. So,
okay. I don't know what just happened, Ganja.
No, I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Yes, you're right. Okay, 2016. But it feels
all
like
all I know is they were going to give La La the award, then they pulled it back. It's like, nah, you don't get this shit. It's Moonlight, and that's what happened. That's all I know.
I really cannot wait for something to go wrong this year. That's going to be so fucking awesome. Like, it
might make the Oscars interesting.
Yeah, actually, I doubt it because
you're not gonna live all of these. It's gonna be. I'm gonna let you know right now. All the speeches are gonna be either about the Me Too movement or about guns. So get ready for all that to happen throughout the whole Oscar.
It'll be majority Me Too, but then there's gonna be one crazy motherfucker that's gonna win Best Short and talk about guns.
Yep.
By the way, speaking of movies and movie reviews and things like that, I just want to throw a shout out over there. I actually watched Extravaganza a couple weeks ago, and Christopher Brown over here in the YouTube chat, he was actually there doing a what the fuck are you doing?
I was celebrating the cancer.
Okay, I'm about to say what the hell. But yeah, no, Christopher Brown was actually doing a Cut That Bitch Off, and he actually reviewed Woody Woodpecker, and I'm just saying, like, dude,
was that him?
Yeah, that was him.
I heard that, man.
Yeah, so Christopher Brown, great review, dude. It was really funny seeing you on and everything too. And if you ever want to get onto the show with us or whatever the fuck, just let us know and we can bring you on. But yeah, man, really love that. And honestly, I hate to tell you, but I'm still gonna watch the Woody Woodpecker movie. We gotta see that shit.
We kind of have to watch it. That's gonna be one of our bad.
Allie, you gotta be with me. We're watching this together, all of us as a family.
Allie's back.
The Woody Woodpecker?
Yeah, the new one.
Why?
Because it's
why do you have us do that? Like, why do you want to torture us?
Yeah, really.
Oh! I cannot wait for Flexing Show. Torture y'all, motherfucker.
Okay, let me.
By the way, before we get there, it was Nick's idea.
Did Ali forget that we binge watched fucking Riverdale? Like, I think the whole day to top up episode 8.
Still, we're not finished.
We watched all School Days in one night.
Oh.
School Days not me.
Okay. That was my
idea. I didn't even know this. Yeah, exactly. Blame it on Ganja. Don't blame it on me.
That was me.
Oh, Jay, you can do that too. Don't even lie.
We watch The Punisher instead, but somebody decided to watch School Days.
Oh, somebody wasn't there.
No, hold on. Somebody thought they were going to sleep an extra 5 hours and leave everybody waiting that 5 hours and not get punished.
How many times did I tell you, just watch it without me? You didn't
do a show together. It's a lot easier to do a fucking review if we all see it at the same time, Alan.
We wouldn't have finished it by the time the show started anyway.
But we finished School Days.
You guys are fucking crazy.
I like how this has nothing to do with me, and yet I'm the one who fucking sat there for 6 hours not wanting to watch the shit and watch.
That's your fault.
Why did you say about him?
God, dude, I'm not. No, I'm gonna say her name too. I ain't gonna forget you either, Jet. God damn it, that fucking movie or that show, whatever the fuck it was. Ugh.
Why didn't you leave? Why did you finish it?
Because, dude, if I'm gonna sit there and watch 2 hours, like, I might as well do the whole thing.
No.
Okay.
That's like saying, well, I'm being tortured. I've already been here long enough. I might as well stick
Maybe
around.
I'll get numb after a while.
Alan, I know you're kind of the worst person to ask for this because you get movies like a 0.5 seconds of same lifetime as a star. So, like, you gotta give things a chance, and some people give it a chance.
Motherfucker, you jump on bandwagons like a motherfucker. Don't see that shit of give things a chance.
Yeah.
This motherfucker will be like, everyone hates this movie. Well, I guess I'll plant my flag here too.
Man, I'm letting God to do this right now. I'm not even going to call him out on this shit because later on he's going to get a lot for his pixel picks. I'm just saying.
It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait to see the chat explode.
Do you have a fucking bow on? Whose gift are you? Look at your chest. Why do you have a fucking bow on, dude?
The hoodie, bros.
Oh, okay. It looked like a bow because it was wrapped around the Rage Against the Machine thing. So, or Signal, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, I don't even know. People, goddamn, we out the rails like a motherfucker. God, Jesus.
We do a show, right?
Oh, yeah, something about that. Yeah. Oh, we're recording. I didn't know. No, so here's the thing. Right away, we're going to talk about something I know you motherfuckers do not give two shits about, but I think that maybe there's something in here that we can actually discuss together as a family. Okay? Get your opinions on it, too. Ganja, little bitch. Where are you trying to go? Are you trying to leave right now?
No, I'm adjusting my seat so I don't look like Alan.
Oh.
You wish you looked like me.
I just wanted to throw that out there because he was just looking at the chat so innocently. I was like, man, I'm gonna fuck with him.
No,
just to see if he's paying attention.
Yeah.
I was looking at the first topic and I got really happy until I read the rest of that sentence.
God damn, man. Well, anyways, and I already know what joke he's gonna use for this title. But the Walking Dead showrunner says season 8 finale is too big.
Really?
Go ahead.
Don't say.
No,
That's what she said.
There we go. Yes.
Will be too big? What the fuck does that mean?
That's the thing. I don't know. I have no idea what that means. How is it too big? Like they can't fit it onto the fucking the tape that goes on the AMC channel or something? Like I don't know.
Man, they reached their bandwidth allocation, so they can't actually release it in one episode. The file size.
Are you telling me they're gonna release it in a season, like in a DVD box set and shit? Like you got to get like another CD drive in there to actually add the episodes to your hard drive?
That would actually not be a bad idea. I'm just saying.
It just stops halfway through on Instant Mostly. It's like, we'll pick it up in 6 months, guys.
No, but yeah, man. But to bring this up, though, yeah, like I said, showrunner says season 8 finale too big, and the thing is, I know no one gives a fuck about this, and definitely not more than I give a fuck about this. But the thing
I love the face he has right now of the finale's too big, huh? Check it out.
You're gonna like that shit. And Rick's like, oh god, my asshole, no. Oh my goodness, no, but yeah, people, this is gonna be cool as shit. At least for me, like. And, I mean, I'm saying it's gonna be cool as shit because there's certain reasons why I think it's gonna be cool that I like in shows that Alan fucking hates. There's little things that Alan will kind of tell in his movie reviews and things like that where he's like, oh, actually, one of the main things that I'm gonna bring up with this character's dying. You hate that shit. And
yeah, when it's usually unceremonious, random, or we have no other thing to do, the plot or got to finish. Like, the best way to kind of sum this up without stepping on your points, I really think this is just the whole, yo, everyone, check out the finale. It's going to be crazy. It's advertising. It's buzzwords. It's too big, which means, like, oh, man, check it out. We're going to do some crazy bullshit. I can't wait. It's going to be what they did in season 6 finale, where it's going to lead up to something, and then they'll carry it on in season 9.
I'm sorry, Alan, but I'm just laughing at the whole idea. It's too big. Like, you got to go out and buy a bigger television in order to watch it. Like, the ratios are just going to be massive.
Like when they brought the episode up to AMC, they like bit their lip like, ooh. Man, yikes.
4-hour finale.
Yeah, it's too big, so we're gonna stretch it out to a couple of fucking episodes.
Telling me we get to do an IMAX release of The Walking Dead?
Oh, man.
What if it's actually too big and AMC's like, we're not gonna show it on a show. Like we're not gonna show it on TV.
Technically, I know it's going off topic a little bit, but it kind of sticks to the point. You know how Humans did a theatrical release?
Yeah.
Do you think that them doing this hype train could justify them doing like maybe in select theaters a release of the season finale?
Nah, not anymore.
No, not anymore. Why say that?
Okay, because Walking Dead is still massively popular, but it's one of those things where even though it's waning, it's still the most popular television show. If this was a season 3, season 4 thing, I could see them getting away with that because everyone was watching it. It was the biggest thing on television. But now it's like because of just the hate and because of people just jumping off of it, it's not as big as it used to be. So I don't think they could justify an IMAX release. Game of Thrones is still even more popular than it's ever been. So they might be able to get away with it, but that's a hard thing to boil. Now you have to go pay for this show to watch. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I know like they're doing like damn near theatrical like watch times with this. Like they do these things. Shut up, fucking bottle scared the shit out of me. God damn. No, but yeah. By the way, this girl looks sad as fuck. Jesus.
Yeah,
But,
she's on The Walking Dead, which means the love of her life probably just died viscerally and horribly because they need to end the show.
or actually, she's probably like, oh my god, they're not making enough money. I'm gonna lose my house. No. That's not funny. That's actually really awful, people. But yeah, no, like I see what you mean. But they do have theatrical. I'll put it like this. My bad. They have theatrical run times of these shows where they're like 2 hours long, which that's basically a movie with commercials added onto it. So yeah, I could see that being a theatrical release at some point. Maybe not this episode or not this season, but maybe some season later on down the line. And I'm actually really happy that you brought that up, Ganja, because even Game of Thrones, how big they get with the dragons and everything, like, wouldn't it be great if just for one episode they had a movie budget and said, listen,
they kind of do when it comes to like the CGI work and like all the extras and how they kind of make the move about. I'm not too much of a Game of Thrones fan. It's definitely more Allie and Allie's territory.
Yeah, and Allie, like, I'm gonna ask you, like, do you feel like Game of Thrones will ever do that? By the way, I know this is like really getting off topic, but like, yeah, like, do you feel like Game of Thrones could ever do a theatrical release of an episode and make it like a movie?
Didn't they already do that with some of the episodes?
Oh, I don't even know.
Do they?
See, I'm not aware if they did anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
sometimes
played it in
do.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah, they should do that more often. I mean, I feel like it's crazy that I didn't know that. You know what I mean?
well, you gotta think about it. Most people, for the most part, hate going to the movies anyway and being in a dark theater with a bunch of random people. So why would I go out, like, waste gas to go out to a movie theater, pay tickets to see something that I already have a subscription that I can watch at home on my 4K television with surround sound and have
Nobody
just as
bugging
great of
you.
an experience
And you can
with
pause
no
it
one
whenever you
bugging
want.
you. And you can
Not only
pause
that,
anytime
Allie,
you
like-
want.
Not only that, like Sky brings up a good point to add on to what Allie's saying. Game of Thrones on HBO, and like she said, you've got a subscription for it, so like you're already pegging for it. Like, why would you go
Some
pay
people
another
like it,
$18?
you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I guess I would understand if people didn't pay for it. Like, they were kind of mooching off of someone else's account, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is the opportunity for me to
Who
actually
would be
like,
such
not
a
have
person to mooch off another
Yeah,
person's?
who would be?
Oh, really? Oh, who could it be? Oh my God, huh?
Despicable people, Allie.
Is it bad that I actually don't understand what the fuck's going on right now?
We've
Like, I
become
know it's an
one
inside
of
joke,
the-
and I'm not on the inside of it. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, when people mooch off of someone else's like Netflix or HBO account, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
like they
Yeah,
have
those
their
people,
account.
whoever they are.
Yeah, whoever they are. I pay for my stuff. Shoot,
Yeah.
but.
Just so y'all
Yeah,
know on the
I'm
audience.
a sensible person. I unsubscribe to HBO when there's like a lull season. There's nothing going
Yeah,
on.
she only pays for them when it's relevant.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can do shit like that.
You can
Yeah, you
cancel whenever you
unsubscribe.
want, dude.
Yeah, you can cancel whenever you want. You unsubscribe.
Alright,
Like this period right now, there's nothing going on. I canceled it. When Westworld comes back on, yeah, I'll resubscribe and
Well,
I'll
for
watch it.
you, John Oliver came back, so now they got my money again.
I was gonna say, Gotcha, how many subscriptions to random bullshit do you have right now?
A
that you
lot, and I'm
can't-
starting to realize I might have to call Comcast and have a conversation with them.
I like how Ganja feels as though, like, when you're doing these deals, like, the devil's like, you better stick to this shit, or I will kill you, you'll burn in hell. Like,
Yo, that's how it feels sometimes. Because I remember, like, back when they did you couldn't get like certain single channels because it was for the Inter was big. I had to get Showtime, Stars, Cinemax, and what's the other one? I think it's the one they do documentaries. It's FLN or some other bullshit. It's a small channel.
yeah, some
Sure.
Yeah.
Bullshit. But I had to pay for all these other channels, which cost me $80, and all I wanted was HBO. But,
Yeah.
so, like, I'm used to that shit already. So the fact that Ali told me I can cancel this motherfucker, as soon as John Oliver's gone, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You'll,
Oh, and
he'll
he's
be
back.
John Oliver gone. Wait, shit, I
Boo.
fucked that up. God damn it.
He tried.
Oh, well, I tried to do a pun, alright? Shit, I can't do everything perfect, Alan. Shit.
Hey,
No.
but speaking of that, John Oliver is great. Continue watching it.
Yep.
Lame ass fucking, probably some British fucking politics show, you fucking. blind
Well, he's
motherfucker.
British, but
Did you watch it, or are you just guessing?
I'm just guessing. Like, is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
yeah, but it's not like British politics. He's always talking about some stuff in America, American problems.
See, white people problems, aka. But anyways, I'm sorry, God, I hate these shows. But over here, and I like how the chat's talking about Westworld too, like Westworld hype. That's how bad The Walking Dead is. We just had a much more interesting conversation about a bunch of other shit that's not Walking Dead for a Walking Dead topic. Holy shit! But the one thing I want to bring up really quick too is that Scott Gimple, the guy who actually he went to Entertainment Weekly and was basically talking to him about like, yeah, it's too big, you know, like it's so huge. That's what he's saying. It's too big. Exactly. You did. Alan did do that earlier, so Alan did win this one. But
I don't care. That's too many times. I gotta say it again.
Alan's kind of like I never freeze. I never win. But anyways,
what? I always win.
But anyways, no. But discussing this whole thing, Scott Gimple, the guy who's show running Walking Dead or has been this entire time, people are actually complaining about the show. He just got fired. And the one thing that's kind of interesting about that as well, because I don't think we actually talked about that on this show, but recently too, when I was gone this last 2 weeks, there was some news coming out of Zack Snyder getting fired from Justice League. And I thought he was just gone because of his daughter and the whole thing that happened with him, you know, dealing with her death and everything.
Yeah.
And now there's talks about him getting fired. There's talks of Scott Gimple getting fired. And sometimes these people, you know, people like to be crazy and hyperbolic on the internet. You know, you can't base off all your shit because of the fans on the internet, because they might be expecting something that you're not going to be able to do, not going to be able to deliver. And I was going to ask you guys too, like I'll start with you, Ganja, but like, what do you feel about some of these guys being fired because of the reactions of people watching the product? You know, I mean,
it makes sense when you're the head of a show, like especially when you're a showrunner, because the product is mostly held on you, and then the actors and maybe some of the producing team and some of the actual choreography team. You know, and then you got a little bit of special effects, but mostly the actual, like the whole thrive of the show, getting people interested, getting people wanting to watch it, constantly coming back for it. It's on you, the writers and the actors, to constantly work together to make the product more entertaining and more, I guess you would say, somewhat original in its content every season, so you got a reason to come back to it. It's not just the same shit over and over and over and over again. And the Walking Dead is kind of hit the wall where they kind of can't do anything else with it, because they're trying to go away from a little bit from the comic books, because that became a little bit too much predictable. They were just looking for reference modes. They were looking for people that were going to finally show up as characters in the series, and that was kind of paint them in the corner. Now they kind of put themselves in the corner now because they kind of just been following the same kind of story brands that Alan hates. We build up a settlement. We get the settlement to be prosperous. We think humanity's coming back. Raid, it's over, repeat. It's basically become a long game of Ark without the chance of actually building an armor
son
suit.
of a bitch.
Oh my God,
I fucking hate you.
Right.
No, because now Alan's going to use this against me every fucking day.
No wonder he likes Ark so much. It's just The Walking Dead, but as a game.
Okay, they base a lot of games like that, though. Like, even Minecraft, when the fucking
Alex, yeah, I just threw that in there, now they're going to kill each other.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, let me go grab some popcorn real quick.
No, but like... But like, what do you feel about that? Because I know you really didn't like Justice League, or well, actually you didn't like hate it, but you were just like, yeah, whatever. But what do you feel about Zack Snyder getting fired from that? And then what do you feel about Scott Gimple getting fired? I know you don't care about Walking Dead, but do you think that's right or wrong? What do you feel?
Well, about Zack Snyder, I think it was inevitable. You know, like I think Warner Brothers was trying their hardest to like work with him and trying to see his vision, but his vision just didn't line up with what I think the studio really truly wanted to do. And how they wanted the character, like what direction they wanted the characters to go in. So, yeah, because I mean, he already, like, box office wise, all of the movies that he directed were pretty much a disappointment. So, yeah, if his movies are not making as much money as they want, and he's kind of the only director every time, like, as much as I hate Suicide Squad, that movie did great. It did fantastic in the box office, had a different director. And then you got Wonder Woman, had a different director, and did absolutely fantastic. And then you get back to Justice League, which is directed by Zack Snyder, technically. You know, I know Joss Whedon came in. But technically it still has Zack Snyder's name on it, and it did terribly as well. They see that pattern, they're like, okay, I think this guy is going to have to kind of go. So,
especially when it's a comparable thing with Marvel, because Marvel's coming out with shit every 3 months now. So it's kind of like, we can't afford to lose and etc. But like, I do think that was a little much for getting rid of Scott Gimple on The Walking Dead, though. I do think when it comes to a TV show, you can't base like, you know, people are just like, oh man, The Walking Dead's ratings are going low, etc. I think it's like, you know, with an episodic series, you have filler episodes, like 6 filler episodes that's building towards a finale. So when you get like many weeks of people going like, this shit sucks, and you're not replying to them, or not fixing the show, it's like, well, it's not like fucking wrestling or like a football game or something. Like, you can't just change the next week. Like,
well, that's actually a funny thing you bring up. It's like a lot of times where it's like we think shows are like. I used to think as a kid, as soon as the episode finished, they film the next episode for the next week. It takes them 6 days or something. But then I realized, as a kid, it's like, oh wait, no, they usually just finish the entire season, but they just release it weekly. So when a season of The Walking Dead does poorly, they're already like, he did his job.
Yeah, if you don't like the direction, don't watch, because the next upcoming shit is going to be terrible for a long time. Like, it's going to be bad for many episodes.
But if there's a lot of complaints from people, your viewers, that create, the ratings.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should listen to them to a certain extent. Sometimes I know people don't know necessarily like what they really want, but yeah, if it is hurting your business and it's hurting the AMC and how much money they're making because they're not getting the adequate views because people keep like stop watching because they're just not interested anymore, then yeah, you should take into account maybe you need to do something a little bit different with your story or fix some stuff, because otherwise you're going to lose your audience. So if he was hard-headed and he didn't want to change things that people were complaining about, like a huge array of people were complaining about,
hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. So then, yeah, he should go. Sometimes, I think The Walking Dead is really, I think it should have ended a while ago. I think at this point it's just kind of continuing on because, yeah, I guess it's, it's popular still and whatever. But sometimes I think it's better just to leave a show with people wanting more, just if you have a good place to stop, you can always go back and rewatch it again. I know people want more, technically, like more stories and stuff like that. But sometimes just for the better of the story, but for the better of the characters, the actors, everything, you just need to keep it like in a story. So
I'm sorry, I was looking at Chris's comment. He was like, awful monetary choices, AMC.
Yeah. No, man. So I don't know. And the thing is, like, the one thing that I feel like there is a bigness to this that I am actually kind of hyped for is, you guys think that it's bad for the fans. The actors on the show are starting to get fed up to an extent where Lauren Cohan, the girl who plays Maggie, Batman, Martha, she's leaving. She actually did not sign her. She did not re-sign her contract. So that's getting out there, and her going to ABC to do her own show. That whole thing's happening where it's like, okay, now we know, the way The Walking Dead is.
We know the next one on the list, guys.
Yep, like, she's dead. And then the one thing I've always been scared of is Michonne, because especially with Black Panther, and I mean, spoiler alert for what I think, I love that fucking movie. But like, she's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now because she's with Daniel Kaluuya, her character, in a couple thing with him, and there's gonna be a Black Panther 2, and then who knows if she's gonna show up in Avengers: Infinity War. But yeah, it's like she has other shit to do now. Like, she's doing this. I don't know why she'd ever come back to doing this after she's getting those Marvel checks.
You'd be surprised, actually. Benedict Cumberbatch is like every movie ever, and he still shows up to Sherlock because he loves the show so much. It's like, it depends on how much do they actually like working there. Because, like, again, the BBC show Sherlock, like, they keep getting seasons even though the main character is Doctor Strange and is in every other movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, but it's like shit like that kind of does worry me because I don't want to see this character die. I actually really love Danai Gurira. She's one of my favorite people like to watch doing anything. And she was easily, in my opinion, she was the best, like 100% the best part of Black Panther. So,
yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see what she's going to do. And I think The Walking Dead is going to be empty, really, really empty soon. And it might be cool when it happens because you get to see a lot of fucked up shit. But afterwards, I don't know if it's going to be anything.
Yeah, but then it's going to get boring like it does.
I think that's what they meant by too big. They mean the casting from all the people leaving. It's just too big, too much occupants.
You got to fire more people.
Yeah, exactly. But moving on. This is gonna be a fun one.
All right. I'm gonna let you know, Nick. Sometimes I don't look at the sidebar because I want to be surprised about what we're gonna talk about. so I don't get the idea of the look up stuff. But when I saw that shit, I almost reacted like almost 30 minutes into the show before, like, what the fuck?
Oh man, weaknesses of superheroes. This is the hardest thing for a writer to do is to be like, I created this incredible character. What the fuck is he weak against?
Yeah.
Because you spend so much time making the good stuff and some of the flaws to make him a balanced character. You're like, how the fuck am I gonna kill this guy now?
Five Hail Marys will kill Jesus now, according to if they got a chance to do this shit.
Hey,
I love the idea that they're giving. It's called faith magic. Like, they're actually giving it
faith magic.
called faith magic. And I wish Trey was here because his crazy evangelic side would be loving this. He'll be loving this right now.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what to say. I'm looking at this. This is fucking ridiculous. Dude, I fucking hate Superman so goddamn much. I really, really do. And I thought his only weakness was...
Is this the most recent one, too? Like,
oh
the most
my God,
recent
hold on, y'all. Superman goes to the Middle East, right? He's about to fight terrorists.
Oh, God.
He goes into one room, and he just starts doing the chant. No! Powerful! Allah, no!
Wait, I don't need America to hate my people anymore by killing Superman.
Oh my God, man. Now, Allie, I know you...
At least your people didn't kill Jesus.
No, and that's the thing. No, like you saying that too. They called him Jesus in Batman v Superman, so it was almost like, yeah, we're kind of... we've always been at the end of the spectrum.
Jesus, they basically just did a lot of imagery to be like, yeah, he's Jesus.
Yeah, basically. But I'm going to ask you, Allie, because you frequent these DC Comics a lot, and I know I pick at you sometimes because you like this shit too goddamn much. So, with that said, like, what do you feel about this? Is it surprising as much to you as it is to people like me and Ganja?
Yeah.
Y'all don't read enough comics, then.
Like, why, for you being a fan of this, like, why is this wrong, or why is this, like, what the fuck?
It makes no sense. I haven't read DC Comics in I don't know how long, since they rebooted their comics for like a 5th time. I don't know what the heck's going on in the comics or why, like in context to the story or whatever. Because you know how people make a big deal? They'll put like articles, they'll be like, oh my God, this happened, but it's actually like in another universe or something, and then everything goes back to normal. So it's like, kind of have to get in context of what's going on. But if it is just like what it's read, like, oh yeah, his new weakness is prayer, then that is so stupid and it makes no sense. Why is that a weakness to a Kryptonian? I thought magic was a little outlandish, but I could believe it. I'm like, okay, I guess.
It's still magic, Allie.
It's still magic. That's what I was gonna say. It's still magic. Like that's the thing. Like Allie,
that's
true.
Like, that's so true. So prayer is technically magic. So it's like, I guess
it's a different form of magic.
It could, yeah, I guess technically. Oh man,
I mean,
that's
trying to make sense of
this.
Force at this point.
It's trying to make sense of this. This is bad.
The thing is Superman's like this isn't weird necessarily to me because I could see where they drew the line to. Is it the best thing ever? Of course not. But the thing is, Superman's always has had multiple weaknesses. One of the weaknesses has been magic, and magic is a form of energy. And any sort of energy has always hurt him. Lasers have been able to cause damage to him. You've seen that in comics and movies and stuff like that. Magic is a different form of energy, so we see that affecting him. And to me, it's like in their mind, like, oh man, magic. It's like, religion is a kind of magic. Let's have faith being, when you have the Pope with his staffs and shit like that, like the holy light and shit like that. That's just another form of magic. I can see that in a writer going, hey man, this can now hurt Superman, because honestly, the biggest problem with Superman is he's too strong. We got to keep coming up with ways to hurt him, so he's not the most OP person in the world.
That kind of fucks it up because that, like, not everybody knows Superman's weakness. Only the villains seem how to figure that out. So does that mean, like, when people are like, and I want to thank mommy and daddy and Superman, my back, my fucking back,
Superman.
No, exactly.
Well, no, it's not like you go up to Superman and start praying, he'll get hurt. But it's more like you'll see priests and stuff with like holy magic and holy.
Those Mexicans in Superman Returns would have fucked his ass. Oh no, not Superman Returns, Justice League.
But I honestly think like this, a lot of the article is probably just the clickbait type of shit,
Yeah.
No, I mean, it could be, but the thing is, that's what drives me up the wall, is that some of the shit, like, it's believable. Like, as soon as when I read it, I was like, of course it would be that, because this is a situation that happens with a lot of shit, too. This is not the only ridiculous fucking thing, because back in the day, when there's other weird-ass superhero weaknesses, there isn't a clickbait to have. This shit is canon. It was in comic books. We'll get into that right now, but before we even continue that, I like how Ruth has said, yeah, think about it. If prayer can hurt him, then it can also heal him. They're going to have people praying to and for Superman. Like, imagine something getting confused.
He's just Jesus now.
He's just Jesus now. Yeah. Pretty much.
Like it's bad enough people pray to have Superman help them, but now they got to pray, like, just against him, too. Like, too much
prayer. Ready for the Church of Superman.
See, funny thing is, though, if that's actually... in my head, I could think, like, there's no such thing as a stupid idea if you put it in the hands of a good writer. Because in my head, I'm thinking right now humans have the ability to hurt Superman.
That's
if
true.
they practice.
But
That to me sounds
besides that bullshit writer creativity going off in your head, I just want
Hey
to.
man, I'm having ideas, man. I got papers.
I
and
just
pens.
wanted to make Nick a little mad before we move on to the next topic because we're talking about Superman and faith. Do you know that your favorite thing, the Force, is actually considered a real religion in America?
You know, I'm not
Oh, it's
surprised.
not Klingon. There's a
People are
language you can
fucking
learn in
stupid.
Harvard. What's your point?
You can actually start a church for the Force and get tax exempt.
I'm not surprised. People are fucking stupid. It
Yeah,
drives me
I'll
up the
do it.
fucking wall.
You can learn Klingon in Harvard.
No, that's not true.
He's not joking.
That's true.
He's not joking.
I was fucking around. I wasn't ready for that one.
Nothing will ever be stupider than in a fucking Harvard Ivy League school you learning some Star Trek bullshit. Nothing will ever be dumber than
Hey,
that.
you know,
That's why. Is it really worth it to go to Harvard? Maybe not.
But I did.
go to trade
Someone in-
school, kids.
I think it's Oxford where you can learn Elven.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
Are you fucking
Or
kidding
Elvish?
me?
Or is it Elvish?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I think it's something like that. Like you,
For
Joe, but
what
you
it
can
makes,
literally
right?
learn these.
What do you use that for, and how big is that classroom? Is it like 2 people? Like it's like
Oh
dude,
no, you'd be
Elvin.
surprised, dude.
That's
Anyone
like an easy class to get an A in when you think
or
about
ridiculously difficult because you are
it.
learning
Yo.
an entirely different
Yeah,
language.
it could be.
I had a fucking my cousin. She was the dumbest bricks. She's dumb as bricks, but she can play basketball good. So she,
That's the story coming.
Aw.
I won't put it out here. So she watches it. She's not like he's an asshole. Okay, he likes me a little bit, but like she's dumb. She's dumb as bricks. And she was failing Bible studies, and her mom got so heated. I was here for this. She was like, "You are literally failing the Lord."
Man, I should be laughing at
Kind
that.
of right.
Man, that hits me going home, man. 'cause-
Jesus.
that shit's fucking hilarious, man.
Oh man.
Oh god, but yeah, honestly, one of these days we're gonna do a fucking thing where we just like look to see how much it costs for tuition in these fucking places, and we'll just sit back and be like, hey, what would you actually go and fucking join when it comes to that
Oh
shit?
god, I might go to learn Elvish because I think that'd be kind of cool. Like as long as I'm not paying $400,000 for fucking tuition, I think the idea of learning Elvish would be
Why
kinda cool.
though? Who are you gonna speak Elvish with?
I don't know. It's
Again,
kinda cool.
an easy class to ace in because you would actually be interested in learning it. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're passionate or you have something that you're really like a hobby or something, it's the most easiest class to pass because you actually want to like go out of your way to take more time to learn something. You know,
That's why Alan was ready to kill himself when he was trying to take history, Renaissance art.
Oh my god, I was so bored.
But if you're trying to speak like an elf or take a class to learn how to speak like an elf, like he'd get an A just walking in, like, oh shit, look how small he is, you win. Like,
Okay, that'd be. No, I'm not correcting you. I'm leaving you there.
oh wait, is that not an elf?
No,
Are elves not? Oh, they're tall. I don't know what the fuck
I'm not
it is.
correcting you. I was about to correct you, though. My brain's like,
Elves are
no,
tall.
back it up.
Wait,
All
are
right,
they
I'll
tall?
go back to this fucking Superman's weakness.
No,
Yeah.
wait, who? No, I'm so curious. Who's tall and who's small?
Don't worry
okay,
about it.
hobbits are small.
Okay.
Same thing with
Dwarves are also small.
Yeah.
And yeah, and elves are like regular
challenge.
size, like humans. Why are we talking about this?
No, that's
why I'm laughing.
Because
no. Wait,
Nick fucked
why?
up, and I wasn't gonna correct him, and he didn't want to move on.
Wait, hold on.
Dragon
Though.
Age Wikipedia
elves
trying
have
to tell you
pointed
animals.
ears.
No, that's gonna
The
drive me
incredibly-
nuts because elves. Why do they call them elves? They're just regular people. Just call them.
They have
fucking
pointed
humans.
ears.
They're a different
And they have-
species.
They have like some magical powers, right?
Yeah, they have magical powers. They're really good at archery. They're a
Yeah.
different subspecies. Same thing with dwarves. Same thing with hobbits.
Oh,
They might
that's
look like
okay.
man, but they're different versions of it. It's
Well,
like
Alan, they should fucking lead with that. God damn it!
What do you mean?
I didn't
Christ.
know.
that's your fault, not mine.
I want to play some more Zelda. Fuck
Oh,
this
and
shit.
Kirk has got a point. Elves make cookies.
There you go. See, thank you very
Oh,
much. for the
yeah.
class.
I forgot about that.
God damn. No, all right. Well, I fucked up, but
Yes.
here's the thing, though. We're gonna talk about how superheroes fucked up because actually I had a question. I showed this on a high score as well. And Chad, I would like to see some answers from you guys as well. But with Superman being weak against prayer and religion, in your opinion, what are some of the dumbest superhero weaknesses that you're aware of? Because we all know that
Oh,
you're
I've
gonna be
been
aware
looking
of
at this
everything.
question my whole life, man.
I'll go first since we kind of talked about this kind of dude the first time around with pretty much the start of the topic. But Superman being weak to kryptonite, I always fucking hated that. I always felt like that was a retcon to try to make him like feel like there was a menacing figure, that there was a way to beat him. I get the red sun thing because at least it's based somewhat in science that the red sun is completely different to what his planet is.
Okay.
And it makes him human in the sense that Kryptonians don't have powers under the red sun, and I like that because it makes them have a sense
Okay.
of like being in the whole world. But the fact that a glowing rock can fucking hurt one species, I would get if it's like a uranium and it fucks up humans too. And they did touch on that once, but they dropped
Yeah.
it quickly. So every villain can use that against Superman. It is literally the most Deus Ex Machina ever created for a comic book thing.
Okay. I got 2 questions for you, Ganja.
Go.
Which kryptonite are you talking about?
The green.
The green, because there's like 80 of them that do different things. And my other thing is,
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Okay, it's actually not a question. It's actually a statement. So the thing about that is, I remember before the Superman Returns was coming out, they did this thing on Discovery Channel. It's basically a Canadian thing where they just have a bunch of like science stuff. And this time they're doing the science of Superman, and they're basically just going through and breaking down some of his powers. And they actually got a lot of Superman writers to talk about what kryptonite was. And they're like, kryptonite is just an advanced form of radiation sickness. So when he's getting sick and he's sweating and he's getting weak, that's what happens when you get advanced radiation poisoning.
God,
so it's like, yeah. So basically what kryptonite is, and what's always been, is radioactive pieces of his homeworld. So when it affects it does affect other people though. Lex Luthor, the reason he has that stupid robot suit is because he has kryptonite-induced cancer.
Wow. So
Yeah,
he's
but
weak against cancer, just like humans, actually.
They
It's
do
just
that.
like-
They do that in one comic run. Every other single
They
issue.
do it in a television show, but most people are smart enough to keep it in lead lined.
That's the thing, though. Like, you say that, but I still remember fucking in the comics and the TV show, the dude is holding that shit bare hand. Like, you will feel this rock. This rock will fuck you up.
It affects him stronger. Like, the thing is, they obviously made him affect stronger because they literally just wanted a weakness. But it's a thing where it's like, it affects people differently, but it affects Kryptonians much stronger.
Cedric said Superman's weakness is being an entertaining hero. You damn right.
No, actually, his weakness is bad CGI and fucking DC movies. That's what
Hey, man, that mustache was powerful. It couldn't even break through the CGI.
Oh, God.
His weakness is actually Zack Snyder.
I mean, somebody got paid and got to feed their family because of that mustache, but still.
Several people. What the fuck you talking about?
Christopher Brown
just
goes,
like
Superman has cancer. He really does need our thoughts and prayers.
That fucking mustache fucking paid for a village somewhere in India right now.
Dude, imagine if Superman's like weak against fucking thoughts and prayers. Like Donald Trump would fuck his ass up. Like I'm just saying,
Donald
man.
Trump is the real life Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly. Like Donald Trump would destroy Superman.
That's too much credit for him, brother. Come on, man.
He's President Evil, a businessman, and got through all this stuff by fucking people over. The only difference is he's in real estate too. What's the difference?
Well,
the difference is
they're both bald.
Lex Luthor is an evil genius that has an IQ over a god knows what, and he actually creates stuff, not just sell real estate.
This businessman became president.
Wow, is this about to be pro-Trump in like 2 minutes? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, he's a real life
supervillain. He's
supervillain.
got to get punched in the face.
He's a real life supervillain. I'm just saying.
I'm curious to see if Alan goes that route, and then versus like your review for Black Panther later, and like who's gonna hate more who? Like, people are just gonna mess.
We start the Black Panther review. He just puts a "Make America Great" hat on.
Exactly, just starts cheering.
Oh Jesus Christ! I hate
that.
hats.
Red, just like a shirt.
This is pretty much my review, y'all.
No, man, but no, I actually agree with you on the Superman thing. Yeah, I fucking hate that fucking kryptonite thing. That shit's ridiculous. But you actually had another one too that I did not know about.
Talking to me or are you talking about?
No, Ganja Guru.
All right, because the camera jumped and I was like,
oh yeah,
me. I'll start dancing.
I was.
No, my second one is Venom. They always make him a menacing character. They make him like this badass figure, like super. Like, Spider-Man can't sense him. There's things that make him like a brutal character, especially that Eddie Brock is just filled with rage when he first gets the Venom suit. Yeah. And the fact that a whistle and a little flashlight fire can fucking burn this motherfucker, or can just bang up on a fucking little what are those called that you play on instrument suites, the little triangle and shit.
Oh yeah, triangle.
That could apparently fuck up Venom, dude. All you need is
God,
or a little bit of flame, and that motherfucker goes running away.
Yeah, it's because sonic vibrations disrupt the membrane in the suit. So if you literally had a boombox over your head, you could deal with them. And fire basically hurts anything because it's alive, so it's a living thing. So it's like that's one of the problems with what you call comic book weaknesses. Is sometimes they go too far and don't think about it too much when they have a decent idea going for them.
Yeah, man, and I hate that. Honestly, I've heard more bad shit about Venom than good when it comes to like the new trailer.
Honestly, he kind of sucks. Yeah. Like he's okay in like 1 or like 20-minute chunks. If you just watch a random episode or part of the original Spider-Man run on Fox, he's great for small moments. But honestly, he sucks as a villain.
I like him more when he becomes an anti-hero. He's like, yo, Spider-Man, you are just doing this completely wrong. I'm going to show you how to do this shit. And he just starts fucking up the villains. Yeah. That was the photo I showed you. Like, he just breaks bones, almost kills several of them, and he just becomes a hero after that. More love than Spider-Man. I think the Daily Bugle runs a paper where his Venom changes a new leaf. Darkened Hero walks the street.
Yeah. And you saying his name's Brock, yeah, the way his body over here is fucking Brock Lesnar and shit. Like, the guy...
No, that's literally what I used to think of. I used to think Brock Lesnar was going to become Eddie Brock for the Spider-Man series.
Nah, they needed someone with a neck to get the suit going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no fuck got no neck. That's all shoulder blade. You got a point.
That's why they got Tom Hardy. Like, no one needs to understand Venom. He just needs to look cool.
I guess. I mean, technically, yeah, though. Like, just kind of, like, do something weird to his voice, like... Whatever the fuck.
Have you heard Tom Hardy? They don't need to even dub him over. Just have him talk.
See, the thing is, he's so boring, I never pay attention to what the fuck he's saying. So...
I don't know. I like him in everything I've seen him in, so...
He was a great part in Dunkirk, if that's not saying much.
Oh, yeah, I like how he did talk on a plane.
Hey, but the emotion...
He did talk, but you couldn't understand him.
He barely talked.
No, he said a few words. He had a few lines of dialogue.
Fuck y'all.
Also, I spent, like, the first half of the movie not knowing if he was a Nazi or not, so...
Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay. And speaking of Dunkirk, really quick, I know it's another tangent, but whatever the fuck, that's how we do things around here. But I did not know... Thank God we had the subtitles on, Allie, because I don't know what the fuck anybody was saying throughout the whole fucking thing.
I already watched Dunkirk like 3 times.
Yeah.
That was my 3rd time. And I learned a lot of different dialogue. I never actually
Damn, that sounds like you play Fallout 4 like I did.
I still didn't, like, when I actually bought it, and I was like, I had the option of caption. I was like, nah, it's okay. Maybe now I can hear it better. You know, no IMAX speakers. Nah.
Oh, God. Yeah. My ears. I'll never forget that. The loudest movie I've ever seen. When some of the action scenes were going on, I felt like I was there. I was like covering my ears.
Dude, that beginning. Great. Yeah, man, when they're shooting down the walls. Oh, God. People,
I fucking jumped out of my
great.
seat, dude. I've heard real gunshots in real life. That movie was louder than actual gunshots.
Alan was holding on to his ears. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Oh God, it was crazy, man. Like whoever did the sound editing there is insane.
No, they're fucking awesome.
They win an Oscar.
Do it or they'll kill us. Or the next movie will kill us. I fear for my life now.
Now, really quick, before you even get to the rest of ours, I gotta show something. And Ruthless said this in a DT chat earlier during the high score. I'm gonna show it really quick.
What's up?
He said Supergirl, or or she was.
What?
He was
Non-processed material.
Yeah, Supergirl is weak to non-processed materials. That shit's fucking hilarious to me.
She's allergic to apples?
Yeah, I think so. I swear to God, like it's
fucking
ridiculous.
That was a weakness not really thought out well, because that implies if that bitch eats fruits and vegetables, she's dead.
She's fucked, yeah.
So she must love McDonald's?
Yeah.
That's a weird. Okay, that's a weird one.
Man,
she's actually the poster girl for fucking like Pepperidge Farm or whatever the fuck. She's like eats goldfish and Cheez-Its all day or something. I don't know what the fuck.
Actually, she should be fine with fruits. A lot of fruits are to some degree processed. Man, that's one of those stupid abilities that doesn't make any sense. Where it's like I can't explain the way like the last two. That one was just someone's like, well, Superman is a weakness. We can't use that yet.
Yeah.
Whole milk would kill this bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Water.
It's fucking ridiculous.
You wouldn't be able to drink water.
Yeah, water. What the fuck? Water is the most basic material there is that's not processed.
Oh man. But
I honestly think that was just like a 1 or 2 issue thing that does not matter because I've never heard that one.
Wait, so that means a splinter is life threatening?
Well, she wouldn't get a splinter. She's Kryptonian, but yeah.
She steps on a rusty nail. Ha ha! This does nothing. Tetanus is immobile. She gets brushed by poison ivy. I'm dying.
Now the thing is, I see these last two for last for a certain reason. Or actually, I didn't even discuss yours yet. We'll get into that in a bit too. But Allie, please tell me this is not true. Please tell me you're wrong when you say this shit about Shazam. Like
what?
No, seriously, Shazam, like his greatest weakness is if he says Shazam when he's fighting someone, turns back into a kid.
That is
So-
unbelievable.
That is hilarious. Why would you ever say Shazam in the middle of a fight, though?
Yeah.
Oh, it's happened. There was a like one time, like I remember in Injustice, Wonder Woman would put like a lasso around Shazam, and she'd say like, "Okay, say, what's your name?" or what's your power or whatever, and he'd be forced to say Shazam.
Okay.
So he turned back into a kid. But yeah, if any reason he accidentally said a name, he's screwed. It's just like that's so stupid. Or you can't even say if he wanted to. Like, if he's trying to be incognito, like, not have people know that he's Shazam. And you're like, oh man, you see that Shazam? Like, oh, what do you think of Shazam? And then, like, he's like, oh, I think you're whatever. Or they'll ask like, "Oh, what's that superhero?" And he's like, maybe he really wants to say Shazam, but he can't.
He must really hate that Shaquille O'Neal movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shazam, I am the man.
Man, that's
Ain't
not a
have
bad
it.
weakness. Dude, the Xbox One Connect has the same weakness. If you tell Xbox turn off, it'll shut the fuck off. So
Exactly. It's the same thing.
That was clever
It's the
as
most
fuck.
stupid. The most stupid thing.
Oh, I was probably with that one. Because he's actually telling the truth.
and all I can think of was like this.
He's got the weakness of Surrey.
Because I always thought Shazam was a joke. I never liked Shazam except for like a few episodes of Young Justice. But the fact that makes so much sense because every time he says Shazam, he activates his power one way or another.
Yes.
I'm just thinking of Amazon now. Alexis, power up, and she just turns into a giant robot.
Yeah.
You just say Alexis again, and goes back to a speaker.
That's basically what happens, man. What if they record his voice and then have like a recorder and like he hears his own voice? That shut him off? Like,
Man.
what's the limit to this
It'll be a
bullshit?
sucky
He
ass
can't even
Pokemon.
tell people who he is. Imagine he's like in his superhero body or whatever, and like, who are you?
Here, let me write it down.
Your mama!
Yeah, let me write it down on this piece of
Has he
paper.
never
and
thought
send it
of
over
just,
my
like,
card.
something else?
Sign
Something
language
else.
and shit.
Something Ali said a second ago that just got me. It's like if Shazam wants to go incognito, he literally gets struck by a bolt of lightning. How is he stealthy at all?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm like, if he doesn't want people to know, like if he's a kid, it's the perfect cover. You would never think that.
How is it perfect cover? The motherfucker walks around with a lightning bolt shirt.
No, but
No,
he turned into a kid,
Okay,
though.
yeah, but he turns into a kid, so you might just think like, oh, he's a fan of Shazam or whatever. But no, like obviously Shazam's like a grown man, but the actual person is a kid, so people would never know. Yeah.
Actually, they bring that up in Young Justice where he kept it a secret from the Justice League, and he was part of the Justice League, so he was part of the thing. Nobody knew until there was an episode in which he had to actually go back and forth between being a kid and being there. I won't explain it because it's a great episode, but he has to go back and forth between being a kid, and as a result, reveals that he can do that. And they're actually the top about like, this kid's 12. We cannot have him in the fucking Justice League.
Yeah, man. But no, that's a ridiculous ass fucking weakness. I actually hate that shit.
I kind of love it though because it's stupid, but it makes so much sense.
It does. I cannot wait to see the movie. I wonder how they're gonna handle that.
Come on, get John Cena to be Shazam as an adult.
No, John Krasinski's gonna be in.
Who?
Oh no, that one dude from Office.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait, which guy from Office? There's a lot of guys from Office.
The good-looking
You
dude.
would recognize him.
Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is adult Shazam?
He was originally gonna be Captain America. Funny enough.
Well, I'm surprised like these TV shows are actually getting these actors real spots of acting career
Pratt.
now. Because I remember that used to play a place your career would go to die.
Yeah, look at Chris. It's actually the opposite nowadays. TV's in its golden age, so people that like their careers are dead in cinema go to there. Like again, before Kevin Spacey's career fucking imploded, he was getting big back in television.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's kind of a huge thing. But yeah, man, Shazam, no, that shit's awful. And then I'm gonna save yours for last, Alan, because that shit's the most craziest. But for me, this is where I get into why I can't stand Wonder Woman so much. I'm sorry,
Wonder Woman.
but this
I
shit's
just heard-
ridiculous.
I just heard a whip in the background.
Yeah, because that's a weakness.
Back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Shut up.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know, man. He just the way he did the whip. I was just thinking Samurai Jack.
You're on
Started
mic,
playing my
you
head.
know that, right? You can't just think to yourself and us not hear you.
See, he does that when we're alone, people. When we're not live, he starts singing and shit.
When we're not alive.
Yeah, exactly. No, wait, we're not. Wait,
You
hold
said
on.
that. They all heard you.
No, when we're not live. I'm sorry.
We're like the fucking Mortos from Coco. We just come back every Saturday to do a show for you guys.
You just
We're
remember me by this
actually-
avatar.
A picture of Nick.
Oh.
I fucking hate y'all. People, I'm so sorry. It's been a while, okay? I'm still kind of getting all the rust off. But, yeah, no, Wonder Woman, okay? And yes, when we're not live, you do sing. And I'm not seeing the praises of this bitch over here because, dude, I'm telling you, I hate the way her powers work as well. Like, not just her weakness, but her powers were just using the power of love to take down this big badass fucking villain, which I don't think he was that badass. But
Okay, she doesn't have a power of love. She just believes in love. There's a difference.
Believed in herself.
do you believe in love
Do you
after love?
believe in-
Was it Zachary Levi? Hold on, the chat just corrected me. Sorry, I get Zachary Levi and John Krasinski mixed up all the time. I think Zachary Levi
They're
used
the
to
same
be
person.
Shazam. He was in
They are
Chuck.
the same person.
Yeah, they might as well be. Like, they look so similar. Sorry, I just had to put that out there.
And BBM saying, "How dare you say John Cena?" Actually,
he looks like a 12-year-old that became an adult. I'm sorry.
He really does. He looks like he started working out at the age of 11. It's like, don't do that. You'll stunt your growth. It's like, no, I don't care.
If you go by how his character is portrayed in wrestling, he is pretty much Shazam.
He's Superman at that point. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so if you guys don't know with Wonder Woman, the guy who created Wonder Woman in the comics is a fucking pervert. And her weakness is bondage. If a man, not a woman, but if a man ties her hands together with rope or whatever the fuck, just somehow bounds her, that's her weakness, and she can't use her powers. Now, I hate that. I mean, and for one, I think it's stupid that it's based on fucking gender too. That's ridiculous. But on top of it too, like the bondage thing. Why would she ever be in a situation where someone would be able to do that to her anyways? Unless it was fucking Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, you gotta think about, like, in the old comic book series, like, how many times is the stereotype of the hero or the sidekick getting tied up, and they have to break out of incredible odds and shit like that? Like, that was kind of the most, like, you get mad at, like, mainstream stuff here, just constantly doing the same thing over and over again. That was kind of the mainstream thing for the comic books back in the day, was having the hero break out of something, deal with a trap or a fucking mystery, and then solve it at the end of the day and beat up the bad guy. And I kind of get the idea of using the idea of, like, oh my god, I'm such a strong woman that if I do get submissive by this man, it takes my power away. But I feel like that is just hardcore BDSM.
That's actually exactly why, because the thing is a lot of what they do, especially these heroes have been around, because you look at this art, this was 60s, 70s. This wasn't made yesterday.
Right.
So it was when the hero first came out, and the guy was super into bondage. That's why all of her powers have to do with BDSM bullshit. But the thing is what they tend to do with these is when they want to either reimagine, have a different hero in the same role, or they just want to change up the thing, they eventually say those weaknesses or some of those powers or some of those stories, either they didn't happen or she got over them. So it's like her weakness, that's not her weakness anymore. Like, she was eventually able to kind of get over that when they get into a different age of comics. Because they have different ages, a golden age, silver age. When she got to more of the modern age, that was no longer her weakness. Now she's kind of a situation where as long as she doesn't get overpowered by a stronger opponent, she's generally going to be okay.
Yeah.
She's pretty much the female Superman at this point.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much. Except with actually, as of right now, she doesn't really have a set weakness. It's just if someone's stronger than her in a fight, she'll lose. But there's no like rock or random thing that'll give her like loser powers.
Exactly. No, I know that. Yeah, exactly. It does make her a lot better. She's a lot better than what she was back in the day. But just this is why I never liked Wonder Woman, because her origins and where she came from, and then even the animated stuff, and I was growing up as a kid, was all bad. Yeah. And the first, at least okay thing I've ever seen her in is this movie that came out last year, and everyone's like, it's so amazing, but I think it's amazing because of comparison. It's amazing because it's one of the best comic movies ever, but it's a comic movie, and like the things that are bad about comic movies are stinking in that fucking film.
I think Wonder Woman was popular because it takes on the same aspects of Black Panther, in that it was a cultural hit for women to actually see themselves portrayed as a strong female character that doesn't really need a whole romance angle to actually move the plot along, and to have a justification for her to do a lot of these things and be there. Like the whole, there's a romance subplot, and it's kind of the weakest points of the movie, but it's not the whole driving force. Like, her whole driving force is to stop World War I. She wants to help humans actually change the world and experience the world of men. And it's more of her trying to go out there and be. She's more proactive in the story rather than be just dragged around somewhere by somebody else that she ran into that she has a crush on. Which is what a lot of the older stories used to do with female hero characters, or they lose a father figure, and that would drive them to do that. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what inspired a lot more people. She was more go out there and get it type of woman rather than just let things happen to her and she just follows the trend.
I guess.
And that's the thing. I kind of agree with Nick, and I can't believe I'm saying this because when I grew up watching, because I don't hate comics like he does because he's crazy, but when I was a kid, I used to watch the Justice League animated show, and that's where I got all of my superhero stuff from. And honestly, I always hated Wonder Woman. I always felt that she was the weakest member of the team. She was either completely, utterly useless to the plot or just there because she's supposed to be the big three. It's not until they did everything after Justice League, where they did the DC animated movie, the live action movie. Every single thing but the Justice League animated show, I've liked her more and more in, and I hope to keep doing that because they're basically changing her up, and she's no longer the same person she was in the comics.
Yeah, no, and that's true. And I know it's a lot better. So, I mean, I will give you that, Ellie, 100%. She is a hell of a lot better than she was back in the day. And hopefully she gets better and better and better as we continue on, which I really do think that she will. But, I mean, those origins are pretty bad. You know, like, oh, God, rope, man. Like, no, fuck that.
Hey, man, we got some stupider weaknesses than that.
Oh, well, actually, why don't you go ahead and tell us yours? Because this is some incredible shit.
Oh, God, this is real. Everything I'm about to say is fucking real. I had a buddy of mine, because the thing is, I hate Green Lantern. I think Green Lantern is, like, I talk a lot of shit about Wonder Woman, but I think the stupidest hero ever is Green Lantern. Green Lantern's abilities are so fucking retarded that it angers me that this guy is a part of the Justice League. His power is he puts on this stupid green decoder ring that he got out of a gumball machine, and through the power of will is able to create all sorts of bullshit, which I don't understand why he's so special. Every single person that's a hero has strong will. Why is he different? Who fucking cares? But the weakness of the Green Lanterns changes, but specifically for Hal Jordan is the color yellow. Not fear, not some sort of yellow beam, literally the color yellow. So Batman, while drinking lemonade in a yellow bat suit, locks him in a yellow room, and that weakens his power.
Yeah, man. And by the way, really quick, I'm just going to leave this here for a second because apparently we're having some issues with dropping frames, and I want to, like, have you miss out on what you're saying really quick. Just hold on one second. But yeah, people, if this continues to mess up, what we'll probably do, I mean, I'm actually local recording, so let's just say this messes up the entire time. I'll actually go back in and re-upload this because I actually have the full-on file on my hard drive. But thank you very much for being cool. Hopefully the frames drop. I actually just closed a couple of YouTube videos I was actually being prepared to show right now. So hopefully it gets back to normal. But back to the show, though, man. Yeah, Green Lantern. I never really liked Green Lantern either. And it seems so simple to say, yo, this color that's so not your color is your weakness. I feel like they were going to do that no matter what, but they just gave up on, like, saying what is in yellow and just said, fuck it, like, that's just yellow. You know what I mean?
It's like if we put Allie in a room full of red and she goes, I'm weak now.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, y'all say that. I'm waiting for the day that, like, we go to Spain or some shit. It's our first international trip, and I was like, look, guys, I finally got the courage to wear this beautiful red dress. Allie, to run the Bulls, girl, go!
She won't wear it in Austin. Why the hell would she wear it in Spain?
Why would I wear it in Spain?
Hey, you don't know. You might get all fancy with some guy talks you up in the store and gets you this dress and be like, oh, they look great on you.
Hey, girl, you want to wear
No
red?
guy in Honduras that can convince me to wear red
I'm
in
going
Spain.
to Mexico, Nick.
Nope.
Wait, Mexicans speak Spanish, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but Spaniards speak a different type of Spanish, brother.
Yeah, they're different dialects.
Yeah, different.
Yeah,
I'm so
different
curious.
Nosotros instead of nosotros. Ooh.
What? No, those are different words. No, fuck that.
She's right. She's right.
I am right, because I know Spanish.
No, you know
Ooh.
Spaniardish.
Ooh. I didn't even find that funny.
I wasn't laughing at you. Don't get your hopes up. I was laughing at their reactions.
Fuck you, dude. God damn, Allie was like, ugh. She was pissed.
Not amused.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
you shouldn't be.
I enjoyed it. Justin saying Mexico doesn't do the
Rufus
running of
said
the
that
boat?
apparently the black.
The running of the Bulls.
I said the Black Lantern. That's true, by the way. They do have. They do
Well,
have
no,
black-
they do.
Yeah.
Every single
They-
color has a specific set of
Yeah.
lanterns for it.
But I was
All of
fucking
them are
up. I fucked up though. I wasn't doing that. But
should've
the Green Lantern's weakness used to be wood.
One of them. So apparently, different Green Lanterns have different fucking weaknesses, and one of them used to be wood. So he's just the aliens from fucking not the Shining, Signs.
So what, they got like a hyperallergenic to oak?
I don't fucking know. It always stems from my problem with the Green Lanterns are the dumbest superheroes in the fucking world, because it's like their entire power and what makes it special is their ability to use will. But if you look at the entire Justice League, you have Superman, Batman, Green Arrow.
How about this? Their whole goal as an organization, Alan, and I don't mean to step on your toes, but I gotta point
That's
this
fine.
out because you're forgetting the whole big point of the actual comic book itself. They're a group of policemen that are supposed to patrol the universe and keep it peaceful. How many times does Justice League have to save it just them?
Funny, it's actually one of my favorite comics brings that up of like one of the guys talks to Hal Jordan and goes, yo, you spent a lot of time on Earth. You know you have a whole sector patrol. And he goes, do you know how often this shit happens here? He's controlling the one planet because like shit happens a lot. The Lanterns are fucking useless, honestly. They are the only cool Green Lantern. The only cool one is Jon Stewart, and that's because he's the only member of the Justice League that I know off the top of my head that actually has military training. So
and he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. He's the only person. Batman doesn't have military training. He's trained by ninjas. Superman is a Boy Scout. Wonder Woman's trained by Amazons, but doesn't really count because it's a different sect. Martian Manhunter is just an alien. Like, he's the only one with actual military training, so it makes sense that he's a great Green Lantern. But Hal Jordan, it's like, man, all these other Green Lanterns are just fucking stupid.
But he was a great fighter ace, and he broke the rules and did what he wanted. He was basically Top Gun.
Yeah. They suck.
Fucking.
They suck, and it's like, hearing this, it's just like, oh god, I'm never
Hey, is it bad that I want a scene of Batman and the Green Lantern now doing that gay volleyball shit?
I'm just saying. You know what, man? I gotta say, this shit's so nerdy. I feel my virginity like crawling back to me. Like, it's just like, wow. Anyway.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure Ryan Reynolds is having so much trouble getting laid now.
Oh, okay, well, that's different.
I don't think his problem was getting laid. I think his problem was scripts before, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But let's not forget that Ryan Reynolds was not doing very great leading up to Deadpool.
Hey.
So.
Hey, he never did great until Deadpool.
Yeah. Exactly.
I liked his movies. I was one of those guys that supported Ryan Reynolds. My favorite scene will always be his small part in Harold and Kumar, where he plays like this weird ass fucking nurse.
That's Ryan
30
Gosling.
seconds.
It's 30 seconds to a minute. But I like it because the whole point is him just acting weird, and he does that. Like, you see the beginnings of the Deadpool character from that scene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Deadpool, I'm so fucking sick of, but we'll see what happens when that comes out. Actually, more interesting in Cable, but yeah, maybe we'll talk about that later on. I don't know.
Because basically it's me and you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Cable and you're Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, you stupid fuck, you motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall because I'm high.
Exactly. Fucking stupid. But, you know what you need to break, though?
Break on through to the
I was like, where's this going? Where do you need to break? I was like, is he gonna ask me to grab something in my room and just smash it?
No, I was gonna say.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you need to break your fucking hatred thing on Nintendo. Oh yes, it's time for that, son.
I was hoping you forget, you motherfucker.
Oh, no, I'm not forgetting. No, we're bringing this shit up, brother.
All right, so
this
for you guys that
son. Go ahead.
Look at that fanciness. Anyways, guys, so over the, I guess, what, it was like a week and some days, some change. I went back to Florida to actually do some taxes, hang out with the family and whatnot, celebrate my mom's birthday. And one of the consoles my sister ended up getting was the Nintendo Switch. And my little brother is big into the Switch, which hurt my heart. Matter of fact, when I first saw it, I took a picture and sent it to Google Hangouts. I was like, do I smash it or not?
Oh yeah, yeah, and then you have to pay fucking $400 for another one.
All right, that's besides the point. So finally, my little brother just comes up. He's like, "Hey, can you play Mario Kart with me? I watched the midnight chats and I see you play video games. You want to play video game with me?" Because I found out my mom's car. My mom, like literally right now, this little motherfucker's watching it. So Bronx, turn this off and go watch PBS Kids.
We have swore a lot. You have to talk to your parents.
When she told me she catches him watching this show, I get side-eyed. But beside the point, he wants me to play the game with him, and I'm playing Mario Kart, and it's a small-ass controller, by the way. Like, if you got decent to human-sized hands, it's going to feel like you got, like, this little tiny MP3 player hand. Alan, it might be fine for you and your little hands.
But I will throw it at you.
But besides the point, I was actually having a fucking fun time, dude.
Yeah.
Really? So you were enjoying a Nintendo product?
And one thing was we were playing the mobile. It wasn't on the TV, so we were constantly on the mobile, and we were just playing like right in the living room. And I was really impressed at how it was keeping the frame rates with a console-style graphics. Like the Mario Kart, we were going pretty fast. We were like 150 speeds, and then we were playing online. And it didn't lag at all. There was no break. And I felt like the controller was really responsive to what I was doing. And I noticed sometimes with the wireless ones, they tend to lag or it tends to just fuck them in general because of wireless. And I was really having a fun time with it. I played Resident Evil with my sister too because I guess the new Resident Evil game, you play like pretty much the girl from Stranger Things and you try to help them find a way to get out. I didn't get much of the story because I played it for like a day. Yeah. But I was having a fun time and I was holding on to it. And I was like, this is kind of the same feeling I had when I got my first PSP. And that terrifies me because I know this motherfucker's gonna catch on forever now. Like, but me playing this system and having fun with my little brother and my sister was like, this is what's selling this motherfucker, and I hate it because there's no other mobile console right now that's doing this shit to this degree. Like, I was literally
the best.
I was playing Space Odyssey in line of the movie theaters before Black Panther. What console?
They got him.
Like, the PSP was doing PS1 games. Like, we had nothing like this yet. The only problem I have is that battery life is a piece of shit.
Yeah, battery life's about I think it's 3 hours on like if you're doing like an intense game, and I think if you lower some of the settings, you're able to get 6 hours out of it. But honestly, that's kind of par for the 3DS, like I've seen, and it's like, yeah, it is kind of an issue, but like it depends on how often like are you going to be taking it out, because some people take it out for like, oh, I'm only going to play it on like the bus ride or the car ride, and then I'm going to put it in a charger. But again, people invest in you call it the power banks for their phones all the time, so it's like
not only that, I was talking man. This is gonna be. You should just rename this Ganja fucks up.
Oh, don't worry, I'm remembering this. This is gonna be the year
I actually like the cartridge idea, Nick, because one.
Oh, fucking really?
I like it because one, as I was looking at it and I was checking out what the cartridge looks like and how durable it is. It's about the size as a DS one, and I still think it's a problem with little kids losing it. Like, I'm pretty sure if my sister wasn't taking care of the games, those would be all around the yard by now. Yeah. But the fact that they've gone out of their way to pack these games in such a little ass component and is making it mobile, I can actually. This is gonna sound fucked up. This gave me more hope for the GDP win than anything. I'm hoping that one day we can get those mobile PC games on there as well. This, like, looking at the Nintendo Switch, the reason I appreciate it so much and appreciate the technology and how it handled was because I see what the future can hold now with mobile gaming. I want to, hell, if they get good at this, I can start playing Stellaris and Hearts of Iron on the fucking bus, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, that's like 20 years, but like,
I'm looking at it right now, Alan. Like, these are 3D rendered worlds, especially with the fucking Resident Evil and
honestly, the biggest thing that's setting it back isn't necessarily hardware. It will always be controls. 100% the thing that's been holding
it. The controls are terrible. Like, I know they were responsive and stuff, but the fact that it's so little and that you have to work with these different little buttons and all of them have the same signature because they're supposed to be dual controllers, it confuses you as a second player, especially if you don't fuck.
There's no keyboard. Like, good luck playing anything. Like, that's why you have
to type your name out and shit on the actual touchpad.
Exactly. But yeah, that's why multiplayer, 2-player, 4-player games work great. Nintendo has been banking on that since their inception because they know at the end of the day, it's like that's why we were talking about this with Ganja. Why you'll never find less than $10 of sale price of a Nintendo game because nobody trades them in. They are like crack. As soon as you get it, you keep it.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, but I mean, I'm glad that you like this. It makes me want to fucking get this goddamn thing because I know I love it.
It makes me want to laugh at Ganja every single time and just go back to every time.
I was giving an honest review. Don't go buy it. Fuck Nintendo. I was just giving an honest review for console. All right, don't hate me for being not biased.
And laugh and laugh and laugh.
Oh man, no. Honestly, man, it's cool. I'm gonna get
it. I do have to. I have a huge criticism. They are still doing the shit that I claim that they do with the video games. It's all heavily nostalgia driven. Like when we were playing Mario Kart, I was like, these are the exact same levels, just a little bit more done up.
Well, that's not Nintendo's thing. That's Mario's thing.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's probably that brand specifically. But I noticed it with a trend with Nintendo specifically with that.
See, no, I like it. No, hold on. No, bullshit. We're not going to let him get away with this shit. I like how you just give a glowing, super happy fucking review of this goddamn thing, and then literally you just go like, oh, yeah, but I got one criticism. It's fucking Nintendo.
Yeah,
like,
you know how man. I know how I felt during your Homecoming review of Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you started off, Nick. Nick, you have a reputation of hating everything, and also you started off your review by hating it. He started off his review giving good things, and then gave his only criticism.
Listen. I ain't changing shit about how I do my shit. Like,
oh, I know you're not. Oh, I know you're not.
Oh, you guys will see that tonight. You actually see that very, very soon because before we even get into that, Mr. Ganja Guru.
And I still think y'all are fucking nerds if we go to an arcade and y'all start Switch battles. Like, that is fucking retarded.
First of all, everyone else was watching the high score finish up their fucking tournament. And second of all, we already had a preconceived.
We could have played House of Dead. We could play a racing car game.
We did play things. We played Mario Kart.
Yeah, but like, why'd you go to? No, I'm sorry, I'm with Ganja. Why would you go to a fucking place like that, an arcade place, and play Mario Kart?
Oh my god, for the 18th time I've had to explain this story. We that was the meeting place we were already going to, just so we could play a quick game of Smash before we did other things there.
I was having motherfucker watch a movie on his phone in the movie theater.
We're waiting for the movie. Like, no matter how much I explain to these fucking assholes, they don't fucking understand.
We'll never understand.
We'll never get it. I don't get it. I don't get shit. And we'll get into that with one of the reviews. Julian, hope you're watching, buddy. So, bitch. So, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
This time.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So, but before we get into that though, Mr. Ganja Guru, honestly, I mean, it's not like it's weird to give this a rating. But, I mean, I'm going to ask you straight up. Like, are you going to buy it?
No. Fuck no. No. Hell no. I don't support Nintendo. I gave it a good review, and I like what they're doing. I am inherently biased towards this company and all their products.
What if they dropped it to 200, which will happen in 2 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
I might do a PSP thing with it and just buy it again because it's like fuck it.
I fucking knew
because
it.
I did have fun with it, and I can't if I want to be an honest reviewer with you guys and actually give you my true honest opinion, I got to be honest. I had fun with it. It was a fun console. Now then again, I haven't played the PS4 or the Xbox One yet. Well, not played Xbox One with my little brother, but me personally getting into video games and whatnot of it. I've been mostly into PC. Maybe after I get into those consoles, it'll probably be lower in the tier. But until now, I think Nintendo is actually the ones that's kind of doing a great job with it.
Yeah. So all right then. Well, he says he's not
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. God damn. Well, shit. Well, hopefully we can get back to normalcy, but we probably won't because once we get into a particular review, gone just fucking crazy. So, moving on, we're going to go to, and it's that time, folks. It's Flex and Chill, and I'm not going to post the fucking thing. What happened?
Fuck you, Chris Brown. The chick gave me good head, but I ain't going to marry the bitch. That's so fucked up.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's basically what his review was. But
it really was.
I can't even argue it. Yeah, the sex was great, but I ain't gonna put a ring on it.
God damn, man, folks.
It's time. How do we have a female co-host? I just want to point that out.
I know, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because Allie is worse than all of us. You all just don't see it.
But people, we are here. It is Flex and Chill time. Flex and Chill, my boy got his rich. She's like, I don't know.
I'm going to bed.
What do you mean?
Gotcha just says shit, man.
See, Allie's slick with her shit. She'll throw it out there, and you gotta think about it a day. I was playing video games, oh, that bitch was talking shit.
Or no, where she'll do this shit too, where she'll say something and you're just not paying attention, and it's ooh, there's a little stank on that voice, she's just
she'll get you to the side. She does little kidney hits and shit.
Yeah, it's ooh, and then I just one big hook. It's bitch, ah. But
nah,
anyway.
I'm like that one person that's you hit the pressure points.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, it's not. Oh, and then you fall over.
My ego.
God. No, but people, and I'm just a bit dumbass. And then hopefully I can catch you. I'm like Berserker. I'll just run into a fucking wall. But
yeah, it's easy to deal with you.
Yeah, pretty much. But Alan, you got your red shirt on. Ganja has his red thingy on. Well, keep going. That was funny.
I'm blowing up my nose, and nobody needs to see that.
Okay.
Oh god, this motherfucker! One time he's about to go, and he's just like, "Yo, I'm gonna before the show," and he's just blowing his nose. I'm like, "Dude, mute your fucking mic." He's like, "Oh shit!"
You're like,
yeah, I'm just like, "Oh god, dude, please mute your fucking mic."
Now, here's the thing. I would normally wait till the very end to do the Black Panther movie spoilers. Which, yeah, people, I'm sorry, but it's gonna be spoilers the whole fucking way through.
Yeah, the movie's been out for 2 weeks, so spoiler territory.
Yeah, and it's hard not to bring that up or not to talk about this movie without bringing up spoilers, because most of the shit that's good about this movie is stuff that's in the realms of spoiler territory.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how to start this off other than the fact that, yeah, I was right about that trailer, and I was also wrong about a couple of things. Now,
start with the wrong.
Wait, tell you about the wrong first?
Yes.
Okay, I was wrong that the movie was just going to be your same typical ass Marvel Comics movie. It really wasn't. And I don't know how you feel about this, Alan, but I thought this movie was way fucking different than basically any Marvel movie that's come out recently. I feel like taking off the fucking jokes, taking off, all the fucking silly things that happen in Marvel movies and making this literally super serious to the point where I forget I'm watching a superhero movie. That shit was awesome. Because watching the trailer, I was like, that Black Panther suit was fucking hilarious looking. It looks silly. I'm sorry, but when I saw Michael B. Jordan's acting in the trailer, I was like, that shit is terrible. He's like, I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to burn it down, man. And I'm like, that shit is awful. In the movie, he doesn't even say that. He says it in a different way. It's in the same room, whatever.
He says it there's more dialogue before and after, so you don't. To me, I forgot. I was like, did he say it in the movie?
Yeah,
I thought maybe.
I was ready for that. I was like, oh god, that part's gonna come up. He's like, I'm gonna burn it down, and he does. Yeah. He actually does a scene where he's basically telling people no, burn that shit down. Nah, he can burn all that. He's saying things in a normal, regular person way that someone would say in real life. instead this overacting ridiculous. Like that trailer, have a lot of shit that happens in the trailer doesn't happen in the movie. Even when T'Challa is walking out and like the groups around him and stuff, that's actually Killmonger.
Man, I thought that name was dumb until they actually explained it. It was like, man, this guy's racking up kills. He gets the nickname Killmonger. I'm like, okay, cool. That was great. You explained the nickname. It was kind of how superheroes get their nicknames anyway, but I did kind of enjoy it.
Actually, it went further than that. It was relevant into the culture that they were trying to provide with the whole African background and the whole idea of him, running around, basically the motherland, being a servant for the U.S. government and killing these people because he got that as a tribal name from an African tribe because he was such a brutal warlord.
Yeah, and by the way, too, I'm looking over here in chat. I'm sorry, I was just looking over here, too. And Justin was talking about how, there were a lot of jokes in the movie still. Yeah, there were, but they weren't like, it didn't change the genre of the film. Like, Ragnarok has so many jokes.
That's where I disagree a little bit. I know what you mean. Like, the first few jokes of Thor Ragnarok kind of really just breaks the movie. But to me, sometimes with the Marvel jokes is they stop the movie to make a joke. This one was a little bit better.
What are those?
I love that joke.
I hated that joke.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I liked it because it had a point to it. Because it was a build up to go into the whole like, oh, I just wore this for the elders, so they're happy that I'm king now.
Yeah,
like there was a point behind it, and I like that.
I don't know. I rolled my eyes. I'm like, God damn, it's 2018. We're making the fucking what are those jokes? But then they immediately got it back for me when the whole I built these shoes. They're super quiet. It won't make any sounds. You know what I called them? Sneakers.
Yeah.
And I fucking died when that happened.
I thought of you, and I was like, he laughed his ass off.
Oh, dude, I was laughing so hard. And
I was like,
the thing is, the theater was actually a little bit quiet at that point, so I'm just like,
I got that joke was coming right before she said it, and in my head I'm like, this is what Nick looks like when he's making a pun.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, too, side characters. Suri is so fucking great.
Oh, she's my favorite
God, I love her.
I know, man. She gets me to restaurants. She gets me into my movie destinations.
You stupid
on time.
fuck.
I love Suri.
I don't know. She's like one of the characters I think I kind of reacted with or got with the most because it's like she's smart and she's doing all this stuff to help her people, but she doesn't really give a shit about tradition. So she's like, hey, we're in the future now. We can deal with not having to constantly deal with the past. That's why she's like, can we go fucking home now? I have better things to do right now.
Exactly.
Like I love her.
Now I'm just gonna hurry up and get into the negative really quick because I know that's one of us is gonna end up talking the most on. But really quick, I was right about a couple things in that trailer too. I'm sorry, but Ruthless, you were wrong, sir. It looks just fucking like this in the movie. That is no goddamn different whatsoever.
The suit CGI was pretty
It was again it was okay. I don't notice.
I've had Allie tell me that about Spider-Man: Homecoming. I've had fucking someone tell me about that about Justice League, Ruthless about this, where it's like, hey man, you gotta let the movie develop, man. The trailer isn't like what's gonna be in the movie. The graphics gonna be so much better. No. That shit looked fake as fuck, and I'm saying it again. That is literally looks exactly like fucking Gods of Egypt. I'm sorry, but that movie is terrible, and this looks exactly the fucking same. But then there's parts where I gotta take it back a little bit, and I gotta say, like when he's running and doing those jumps off the car and he's turning purple, there was a reason. Just like there's a reason for this. There's a reason actually why it looks so bad, and they explain it in a sense of like for instance, these suits are made with a technology that's way above anything that's done in America, right? Which is cool, and we should have known that through the trailer because they do kind of bring that up, and then we know that from Civil War too. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. But the thing is they discuss like how advanced this is and how it runs off something so smooth where it's not like one part looks bad and the other part doesn't. I have to give them credit that they stick to this look. Like everything they do that has to do with vibranium or this weird fucking technology they use in the suits and everything.
Or hell, even the African culture, they stick to it in all the armor. And
that's like one of my favorite things when motherfuckers with the Dashikis come on. I'm like, man, what are they gonna do? Hollow shield. I was like, yeah, where can I get one?
Yeah, man, and it was really cool to see that. And even though it looked fake, and this movie looked terrible with CGI, it was awful. But I'm not a dude who focuses too much on that. If you stick to it and not one part looks worse than the other, this whole movie had a feel to it. When it comes to that type of stuff, it stuck to it. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate that because on top of just doing the ridiculous stuff like that, you had a lot of shit to do with it. It's not like they had a couple of scenes where they had the fucking weird little, special effects and then that's it. This movie was filled with action. Like fucking filled.
And that's my only legitimate
Yeah,
complaint.
me and Alan kind of feel the same way about the action. I felt it was very weak, especially with the CGI aspect of it, because you had these two guys in very heavy nanotechnology suits. It kind of had the same effect when I watched Iron Man and the fucking Transformer movies, where if the CGI is not on point, you could tell that these are cartoon characters fighting each other. And I felt that Black Panther was very guilty of that. There was a last scene, especially when they're fighting on the train, that they charge at each other, and then she just goes into like PS4 graphics.
Oh, yeah.
And then it cuts back into the regular people fighting. And I think the fight choreography was very basic. Like, I don't know if they just got like the most basic ideas from Catwoman, because the way they were just scratching each other and stuff, they were kind of like Catwoman-esque fighting styles. And I wanted more like a primal, like this, like actual like fucking jaguar fighting, them pouncing on each other, trying to shred each other apart, throwing each other around.
They have vibranium nails on the claws. I mean, you know.
But
that's what I'm saying. That I wanted more vicious, because they had the same armor. It wasn't them fighting one dude less armor, one dude, so they can actually really throw punches and go at each other. I wanted to see deep scratches, and all I got was pretty much just them dodging little cat paws.
And the thing is, it's like, even if you get past the actual fighting stuff, because there are very fight scenes. My problem with it is the casino fight is actually probably the best fight scene, like, in my opinion, the best fight scene in the movie, because it's the only one where they kept the camera on whoever's fighting for longer than a second. My problem with every other fight scene in this movie, and honestly my only criticism of the movie, is I felt that the fight scenes were the typical Hollywood stuff of somebody does a punch, someone parries the punch, they cut to somebody else talking, they cut to a big battle where you see a bunch of people attacking, they come back to a fight, and then someone else says a word. It's like, you're never showing anyone fighting for longer than a couple seconds, especially the final fight where half of it is obscured by the hollow train. The other half is this weird Sonic stuff. So it's like, you never get to see anything kind of cool. Like, I'm sorry, but Black Panther's fight scenes were cooler in Civil War than they were here.
Yeah,
like, that's just how I feel.
I'm going to ask you, Allie, like, you know, me, I was pretty optimistic about everything that happened, or positive about everything that happened as far as fight scenes go, but what do you feel about it? You muted.
Allie, you're muted.
Muted.
Sorry. Yeah, they were a little bit lackluster. It felt definitely. I do agree. I feel like Black Panther's action scenes in Civil War were a lot more interesting than in here. So that's basically one of the few complaints I have about it. Just would have liked it to be a little bit more, I don't know, creative.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I mean, and I would disagree in that sense with all of you. And it's kind of weird. I can't believe all of you guys are negative, and I'm the one that's positive. But like for me, and let's meet in the middle, because Black Panther in general, especially, and I'll talk more about that later on as far as non-action stuff. But action stuff, I agree with you. Black Panther was not very great, you know, and I don't think he was great in general with anything in this fucking movie. But I will say that when there's fight scenes with other people, or when there's car chases, that car chase is one of, and I don't even like, I hate car chases. And Baby Driver and this. You do? Yeah, I can't stand
I love car chases. They're like next to action scenes, they're my favorite things, and you can do them really well. And this is a really fucking good car chase.
Yeah, but besides the whole, kinetic energy pulse thing that they did towards the end of the car scene, it was pretty much the same kind of basic car scenes. Like, you could easily replace him with Spider-Man hat on the hood trying to get these guys. I think the only cool aspect is when he does land on the car, you can see that his claws are poking through the roof and shredding them. I thought that was a cool aspect, but they do it once and they don't really touch on like the aspect of that stuff. Yeah, and I feel like I got gypped on him running scene when he runs on the building, because I really want him to turn like into a panther and just run and just do a good ass giant cat leap on it. And I think that would have looked cool, and it fit the aesthetic of what he's supposed to be like. He's a king and whatnot, but when he fights as a Black Panther, he's supposed to channel like this primal animal fury, and they don't really touch on that more. It always feels like
supposed to do that, right?
No, in the comic books and stuff, they always do that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the whole fact of like deep roots in Africa. The whole tradition of the Black Panther fighting style comes from the mimicking the animal, mimicking the stealthiness of them, and I didn't really touch on that too much. And I kind of felt like I was a little disappointed in that, and I wanted more of that kind of aesthetic with it, but I think they gave me a lot of it with the other character designs and how they use their equipment, and their just outfits are based on different African tribes that would surround Wakanda and what they would have culture influence on them, and I think that was fucking great. Like when they show the market scene and everyone has these different outfits, and it looks like South Africa on one side, Zimbabwe on one side, Algeria on one side, and it's like a real, like, it's almost like New York for Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you actually bring that up, and that the one thing I always said when we were watching the trailer, I'm like, the only, like, one of the few things I want in this movie is I want a scene where what's it like for an average person in Wakanda? What is it like for just somebody walking around? And they showed it there. There's people making the food. There's people selling a few things, and then holograms out of nowhere. Like that's exactly what I wanted, because it's like it's old world and mixed in with new world of what people like. It's almost like a steampunk type thing of like this is what people would think the future is. It's the same thing as it's currently, but now we have mechanics in places where it's kind of just normal. It's like, yeah, I got a hologram, so what? It's like showing someone your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the aspect of it too. I like the culture of the movie, but then again, it gets to a point too where, speaking of culture, and then fusing the CGI aspects of that as well, there's parts where I'm literally looking at GIFs of people in front of green screens to the point where I look like I'm watching a green screen opacity eliminated fucking thing. When T'Challa is about to be crowned king, he's about to become Black Panther right before Baku comes out, or M'Baku, whatever his name is. Yeah. He's out there, and they showed the crowd doing their dances and everything too, which is a cool concept. And by the way, the music fucking amazing, even like the African inspired or whatever music, like that shit.
I think was the best stuff. Fuck that fucking soundtrack. I like the actual African tribal music they played.
Yeah, I agree.
It's actually got me in the world of Wakanda. Not some bullshit half thought out hip hop album. I don't like that album, by the way. If y'all want to fight me over that, fuck you. I don't got time for it. But I didn't like that album.
That Kendrick Lamar, I listened to it too. It was fucking really, really
good. I avoided it honestly. Just because,
but the music in the movie is not that though, and it's great. Like the music in the movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah, the casino thing.
I was so worried. I was so worried. Like when we heard that album, it was gonna be like, oh no, like there's just gonna be a bunch of hip hop.
Yeah, like all throughout
the whole entire. Yeah, but no, it was just like one scene they played something, and then the other was at like in the credits, and that was it. There wasn't really anything like in between for the most part, and I was so happy about that, because I just did not want this to be okay, but it's black, so let's just put in all this hip hop, all right, rap, yay. It's like no, and I'm like, thank God they didn't do that,
And when they
why
did
is Two Live Crew Wakanda? This makes no sense.
And the thing is, they did play hip hop, but it was Tokyo Korean rap stuff. Like it wasn't black. What I mean?
It was in Korea.
No, it was in Korea. It was The Weeknd though. And
yeah.
It was still American. They were just in Korea, but
it still was built in a modern world and has the aspects of Korea. They listen to English music even though they don't understand half the lyrics. They still do it. We do it here. It's built within the universe of the casino. Now, if we were in Wakanda and his castle, and they played that for no reason, then
actually no, that would make a lot of sense, because clearly again the woman is Shuri that's doing all the tech. She clearly is like access to all the knowledge from around the world because she knows a lot of the stuff. So it's like I could totally see her just bumping that in her own lab while she's busy doing her tech.
True, but let's be honest, it would have felt forced.
Honestly, I don't think so. I think it would have made sense, because it's just like her listening to her music. It's like, any one of us is listening to our music. We're listening to whatever's popular at the time. So it's like, she's clearly like, if this was like randomly playing in the market scene, yeah, that would make no sense, because why would random people in the market be listening to fucking, top 100 Billboard? But her personally, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm really quick before we continue on. Justin Zarian's up in here. What's up, man?
Hey, my buddies, how y'all doing?
Hey, Woo! Man.
Why you talking like you got in? Hello, my brothers.
Hello, doing?
I want to be part of the crowd too. I want to feel in touch with my black side.
Oh, no, he didn't.
I was waiting for which one of us was gonna say it, and I honestly thought it was gonna be Ganja.
It might as well be the white guy. Come on.
Yeah, you might as well break that ice now. Shit.
It's already broken, man. Now we're sinking.
No, and that's another thing too. To bring that up really quick, I'm gonna use that as if I planned for that. No, but another thing too. I feel like I didn't need to be black to watch this movie. Like, I know a lot of people are going on Facebook and saying, like, yo, like, this is a black movie, black this, black that. And I was like, no, this is a great movie for anybody to watch.
I saw a tweet. Yeah, one white girl was like, should I wait a week or two to go see Black Panther? Or will that assault the black delegation if I go now?
No, you know what will insult them? Asking that fucking question.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like, but I know something really cool. Like it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I get why everyone that was really hyped at this movie, because it's kind of a different thing than we typically see from Hollywood. But in my head, I was just like, this just to me seems like a really popular Marvel movie. I don't see this as like specifically just for one culture.
Well, no,
maybe I'm just saying it wrong, but like
Yeah, and I don't think people were even wanting that. Like, I don't think black people wanted. I mean, I'm now speaking for black people. But it's like I don't think they. But I don't think black people really like wanted a movie that is just for black people. It's like they just want to see a black person on top of the bill for once, and just have.
I don't know. I saw some black people who did clearly want that on Facebook. But
well, yeah, there's always a few.
Hey, man, people are going crazy all over the place of like CC arts of like people going like, I as a white person, how am I supposed to identify with this? It's like you had both sides just acting crazy, the extremes, you know.
Just
Yeah.
human beings. That's all it is. Human
Just
beings.
enjoy the fucking movie. Like walk in, like it's weird. Like until I saw a Star Wars movie, I've never seen a theater so packed. Because when I walked in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get. I got there a little bit early. I got a reserved seat. As soon as I walk in, man, it is like full to the brim. Like I thought someone took my seat. How full it was, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. But really quick, and I was trying to find him in the trailer, but I cannot find him, man. But I guess I'll just bring this up really quick. You guys should know what he looks like, Mr. Tears Down the Face, Mr. Get Out, Mr. Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, he was good in this. He was really good in
Yeah,
this.
that's the thing I was
Yeah,
going to
he's
say.
barely in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
He
Well, I
did it
won't say
enough
that.
to be like good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but my
yeah.
point was going to be was I actually hate his character and I hate him on Get Out. And him as an actor, I fucking can't stand him. And this movie did him perfect. Perfect.
Played him perfectly.
Because, and hey.
So wait. The role that he had very little to do in, you liked him better, but the role that
Well,
That's how I'm feeling. Just like I thought he was weaker in this movie than Get Out.
Well, see,
Yeah,
that's the thing, you're not
honestly,
supposed to
'cause
like
it's
him. You know?
I've never seen Get Out, but I've seen a lot of his other stuff. And to me, this is kind of like one of my favorite roles with him because he played what he needed to play perfectly.
Yeah.
He didn't overstay his welcome. We got his character, we got everything that we need to know, and he played every single thing that he needs to do perfectly well.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Allie, I'll ask you because I know you like Get Out a lot too. Most of us probably didn't. But like, what'd you feel about Daniel
Just you.
Kaluuya's character? And
Oh yeah, I loved him. Like he did a great job. I hate his character. I didn't like him. At the same time, although at the same, you know what? Let me rephrase that. I actually didn't hate his character. I actually understood his motivations. Just because like we're in spoiler.
oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So the whole point is that Claw, right? Is it Claw?
Ulysses Claw, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just call him as everyone else knows him, Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Gollum. Yeah.
He killed his parents, right?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
explosion caused his parents' death. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wants revenge, or he wants justice brought. Basically,
Yeah.
like he wants to have like he wants to kill himself, or he just wants to see, justice be done. So that this man won't hurt anyone else anymore. And so he thought that once T'Challa got into power, that things would be different and he would get things done. And he kind of was starting to see a lot of the same type of stuff that his father was doing. And so he was like, you know what, screw this dude. As hard as it is, because they're all very close, and especially because he's with oh god, I don't know Michonne's actual name in that. Okoye, yeah.
Yeah.
Since they're acting together, they're all very close. It obviously something that he didn't take lightly, but he was just like, you know what, I see an opportunity here. Like, Michael B. Jordan comes in, or Killmonger comes in, and he's just like, hey, I killed this dude for you. And he's like, okay, you got my respect because you went out and you got things done. And he's like, okay, this is a man of action. He's actually going to change and do stuff. So he's like, okay.
Yeah, but
In his mind, he thought, okay, this is the guy I need to be following. This is the guy who needs to be in power because he's actually going out and getting things done. And he's not being more, I guess, passive about certain things and waiting out for certain things. So I totally get his motivation, and I don't believe technically he's a bad guy. I feel like he's definitely misdirected, and he's definitely has like a not as straight of a thinking, as obviously our protagonist does.
He's a little short-sighted. Yeah.
Yeah, he's short-sighted. But I don't believe, honestly, he's I hated him for doing that because, of course, we can see how the side he's on is wrong. But in his mind, I totally get it. And I hope we see more of him because they didn't kill him. So,
Yeah, and the biggest thing too is like when it comes to characters like this, one thing I really don't like about movies, and this is the wrestling fan of me, so sorry, Justin, but it's like I don't like when they do characters that you're supposed to hate, but yet you like them. That's not good writing. When you hate somebody, you should hate their fucking guts. That's how you do a movie right. You know what I mean? That's what makes good villains, because then you'll get something where it's
I
like.
disagree. I think that's too much of a black and white sentiment, and I think that is because of your love of wrestling, and wrestling is very guilty of that. You either have good guys or you have bad guys.
I don't know.
Well, no,
man.
that's not the case. Because like when you watch wrestling, the thing that bothers me is that you get somebody like The Rock, who was a great bad guy, but he was written so bad as a bad guy that you get this asshole who's a good guy, and they have no choice. They had to make The Rock the hero.
Yeah,
but when
but
you
that's
watch
his
a
whole
movie,
personality. Like the whole aspect of this character, I think he was more in the place of revenge rather than just being an evil guy. I think it was more like this opportunity to actually get something that he's been asking the Kings for the longest, it seems, and none of them have delivered on it and actually go out their way to do other than what this guy is asking for. And it seems like he's kind of either second in comparing to the military, or he's in contention of a large force. And for them just to throw him to the wayside like that is kind of a build-up to like, okay, if the Kings are not doing their jobs for me, somebody of high standard, and this newcomer in is willing to do everything that we've asked, that the more, like, I guess the ultra right of Wakanda would say.
That's the thing. Like,
he brings that to them, and he destroys the tradition, which is also some of the younger ones want. And it was an aspect that kind of was able to get him to that place to be like, yeah, fuck T'Challa. He's not there for me anyways. I'm just gonna get the guy who already delivered to me what he didn't even have to promise yet.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what Nick's getting at is it is the issue of like, I think Nick's issue of there aren't people that are like, yeah, I just don't give a shit about the good guys and I want to just say fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Because we see this way too often where it's like, this guy's a bad guy, but you have to feel bad for him or feel sorry. Like, this movie actually has a villain that does that, but does it a lot better.
Yeah,
but I feel
like somebody that we actually hate. Like,
True.
Like, for instance, like him, and he's not evil, you're right, Ganja. But for circumstance and for purpose of what this is, people even in the movie theater, people were like, you fucking piece of shit. And I was like, that's the reaction that I would want. If I was making a movie, I want you to say that about the character that I just made. And if I'm doing a good job as an actor,
Yeah, it's like a perfect medium because no one likes someone who stabs someone in the back.
Yeah.
But then you also have that element of him where you're like, okay, as much as I don't obviously agree with what he's doing, I understand it. So it's like you understand his motivations, and yet you don't like him because he turned his back on, or he turned himself like to the other side. So you get both in the equation. So I feel like he is actually a great antagonist.
And to go on at Ali's point, he's more of an anti-hero because in the end scene, he doesn't kill his wife. A person that's 100% dedicated to overthrowing this government, getting rid of the king, stopping him trying to come back to power, he would have killed that bitch. They would have had a fight to the death. But because he was fully invested, he just wanted to get that one deed done, and he got done. And he believed in this new guy so much when it actually came to like a real personal decision: do I choose my wife or this new guy? He chooses his wife and lays down his arms for Wakanda. And I think that makes him less of a villain and more of an anti-hero, or maybe a sympathetic traitor.
Well, no one was really calling him the villain because he wasn't a villain, but it's just like by circumstance. It's just certain things give a certain.
I guess I have a little problem with just calling him like a straight bad guy, because I think if he got paid for it and he was like, yo, I'm just trying to sell Wakanda for these bucks, I think that would have made him more of a straight out bad guy because of greed. He had a lot more personal reasons that could have just.
But I think you betrayed him way too easily. My only issue with the character is he way too like he was fine, but like he like, oh, after the first outing you didn't get him? Well, fuck. He's like, you realize I had him literally in my hands, right? Give me another 5 minutes, I'll go find him. Like,
well, no, he said that after he got away already, and Killmonger saved him.
But he literally had him though. He literally had him in his hands.
That wasn't what he promised though. He promised he was gonna kill him.
But then give him another like 5 minutes. Yeah, but give him another 5 minutes though. That's my only issue with the character.
T'Challa actually screws that dude over in the sense, and then the whole culture is based on honor, and the fact that none of the kings honored his request to kill this dude, and this one dude did and honored him even as not having a personal relationship. That's why he was so easy to
I know, but it's literally his first day on the job. Like it's it's just like I get like he's angry.
Not really.
It was his first day.
In Civil War, it's been
it's been a week, so it's literally his first day.
Think about it this way. In his eyes, he's been wanting this to happen for years. So, this is just like the final. I know. I totally get what you're saying, because I did feel the same way when I watched the movie too. I felt like, okay, can you just give this guy another chance? I mean, he just became king, but at the same time, I'm looking at it from his perspective that he's been literally like asking for this or wanting this to happen since, of course, that happened, which was years ago, so decades or something. So it's like, okay, nothing's getting done for that long. This guy is going free and harming more people. Yeah. And you're just seeing this injustice being done, and nothing's going like actively being done to stop him. It's like you just get to a point where you're like, man, I freaking hate this. Like, someone, I'm at that point. I would be desperate for anyone to just go out and just go after this dude that's just like a murderer and a psychopath, you know? So I get his point. I totally get also what you're saying, Alan, because I did feel the same way.
And the other thing too to bring up really quick too is just because I don't want to be on that for too much longer. But the thing that I want to discuss as well, as far as like villains and things like that, because like I said, we all didn't really feel like he was a villain, but did get like this reaction from the crowd that was like, yes, fuck that guy until he's redeemed later on. But like one guy that was redeemed. Damn near like he like was redeemed and then not redeemed and redeemed again. Like I don't know what to feel about this dude, but Killmonger, this fucking dude.
What a complex fucking villain. I know what you're getting at, Justin. Like I know what you're getting, Justin. Like they could have done a little bit more with him because I feel like my only issue with him is he's not on screen long enough. But when he every single line dialogue he says, it's a thinking piece. Like I really think that.
I was talking more about Daniel Kaluuya's character.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were talking about Killmonger.
Yeah, no. With him. I don't argue him being right. He makes fair points about justifications for anger, but the fact that he's so willing to casually screw over people throughout the entire movie and just mass murder and genocide with zero conscience about it, and screwing over the way of life, like destroying the heart-shaped leaves or the heart-shaped herb, whatever it was, and
he had no role in that though. That was all Killmonger.
No. That's what I'm saying. Killmonger. I'm saying.
Yeah, because I was confused too. I was like, wait, that was Killmonger. Because
Ruthless was arguing that what's his how is it in Jakarta? That's his name, African name. That he's right. Where I'm like,
okay. The thing is, it's like he's right in the sense of why he's doing what he's doing. It's the thing is me and Gonja had to discuss this. Is if you break down his motivations are they're right. He's seeing
sensible.
He's 2 billion, and that's like a third of the planet of a particular race of people that are getting fucked over. And it's like in his mind, it's like you guys have the tools here to basically and he's like, yeah, the biggest problem here is they never have the tools to actually form the revolution. It's the way he's going about it. That's what makes him the villain. It's the way he's going about it.
Even what he does to that one girlfriend that he had in the beginning, where just like, yeah, you're really awesome, but when the chips are down, he just shoots her in the head, just like, okay, she's not useful anymore.
That basically just proved like he's so focused on his goal. He doesn't he was traded in the military to be the biggest baddest motherfucker in the world. So it's like he doesn't care about one girl.
And Rufus brings up the point, like the whole aspect of burning the leaves and just getting rid of all the traditional stuff was to get rid of the whole aspect of the king ideas because the kings did betray him. And from what it sounds like, they've kind of just been keeping Wakanda in a status quo form and haven't been able to change it or actually add to it in like the longest years. So it was him getting rid of the old, and it was something that he was trained for because they actually go into that. He was one of those guys, those dirty agents the CIA was sending to go kill Coca-Cola union organizers, farmers, laborers. He was one of those guys that would be a part of those secret squads that would go and commit these hits, burn villages, kill leaderships, take over elections. So he did exactly what he was trained to do, but this time for his own political motivations in order to take down a monarchy that he thought was unjust and not doing right by the people at large, especially the people that he considered. And there was a whole other thing. It was a different aspect of the different ways they grew up, because Killmonger grew up in America where all you are is black. No one sees you any other way. Whereas in Wakanda, you're a Wakandan. You're not Nigerian. You're not Burkina Fasian, you're not all these other races. And that was the whole clash of it, is like, no, look at us as a general people, we're all black people, whereas he's like, no, I have to protect Wakanda, I have to protect my Wakandan people. And me personally being Native American, I felt very in tune with that fight and argument, because I was really happy with how they displayed that, because honestly, that's probably how the person I would, if I found that there was a tribe out there in the fucking Rocky Mountains that had advanced technology and didn't do anything to help my people. Like, I would have been the same way. I'll overthrow their ass and try to use their weapons to kill Whitey too. But the whole aspect of him getting to the point of being evil is because he was a tool of the governments that he's trying to destroy, of the culture that he's trying to get over with Wakanda. Like, if you want to get mad at Killmonger, you have to get mad at pretty much how the world works as it is with certain countries. Like, he is pretty much a puppet that went rogue and wanted to take what he learned in the military and use it against people that use it against his people.
Yeah, and I like the complexity of it, and people have been doing a lot of talking, a lot of comparing of like, okay, where does he fall in the line of like best villains? For me, right?
That's a short fucking list.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, he easily makes the top of the list, but when you think of best villains, it's like what? Loki, him, Zemo.
Ultron should not be on that list.
Ultron's not on the list. No, Ultron
For me,
sucks.
it is.
We're freaking Robert Redford and Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah,
business suit dude.
He at least was different. He at least had
nobody remembers his name. They just call him by his actor name.
But I mean,
Alexander Pierce. Thank you very much.
You're the only one. You're the only fucking one.
I wear my nerd badge proudly. Look, Jurassic Park all the way. There we go.
But the thing that really bothers me
also
though
the
is
fact
like,
that
well, no, like, because you're bringing this up, right? I mean, we can go through all the the villains and everything, because the thing is, that's one of those situations where none of us will ever agree on any of that, because something like, even right now, the Ultron thing, I don't know how can anyone say something is worse or better than him. Like, I think he's like at the top.
He literally kills nobody in the entire movie, except for one guy.
Yeah, he does.
Wait, who?
He literally kills Quicksilver. Is the only person Ultron kills.
Ultron. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you want to compare him to the last Avengers movie with Loki actively himself, not just gets his goons, actively himself murders dozens of people.
Well, if you argue every bit, this is gonna be like a 2-hour long.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's just like at the end.
My point being that it's easy for him to make the top of the list because, like we said, he has understandable motivations and sympathy. We sympathize with the sense that, there's a reason why he became a monster the way he is, because he was screwed over even by his own people, the way they murdered his dad. Spoiler in that sense. And you feel a connection to him, even if you say, but you're also justifying murder in so many other ways that is, as much as you're vindicated, you're also continuing the problem in the cycle. And even me, when he burns down all the herbs, I kind of saw that as him also, one, getting rid of the monarchy and whatever, but him consolidating power himself. So even then, the only reason he did it was to make sure no one could ever challenge his rule. Because if they have
that's what I took it as. More, not so much like, because I think sometimes the people that are looking too deep into things.
I think I added my own little revolutionary spin.
They're trying to find Jesus in a piece of toast. To me, it was simply like, I don't want when he was bringing it down, my thought was like, okay, he wants to make sure Rando Soldier doesn't grab it so that he doesn't have anyone else to fight him.
Yeah.
Because Killmonger has skill, but what separates him to make sure no one can really touch him is the Vibranium suit and the Black Panther power. So it's like the only person that can fight him is Black Panther himself. But it's like, and looking at the chat and people saying, best Marvel villain, I'd say to me I'd say Zemo is a little bit better, only because I felt that we spent more time with Zemo before he actually even became the villain, and I liked his motivation. I felt like he had more screen time, where he's like right underneath, like they're almost neck and neck. It's just that I wish we got to see Killmonger more. I felt that the movie didn't really. It was too much. This movie focused a lot on world building and character building, but it does what every Marvel movie does, and it forgets to really focus on the villain. The villain just kind of shows up. This villain, to me, I think that a lot of the politics behind the villain makes him great and makes him like, oh, you want to root for him?
Oh, especially the way Michael B. Jordan presents him. Like, he's a character that has lived a hard life, who has no more fucks to give in any sense of the word, to the point that when he's having a debate with T'Challa, he's just straight up no honor, none of that, no respect. He's like, y'all motherfuckers out here living good. I live in the fucking hood. I had to live with gunshots. Y'all living next to fucking giraffes and shit. Like, he goes off on them, and he never gives T'Challa a break, which I like, because sometimes the villains go like, me and you are just alike. Oh, I can see your point of view. And I like that. He's like, no, you are just a spoiled fucking rich brat prince who got this because your daddy was king who killed my dad. And I'm going to challenge you for this, and I'm going to take this shit right now because you ain't a warrior like I am. Exactly. I'm an actual warrior. You are a glorified prince.
Exactly, and I mean to discuss that too, because I wasn't going to go into a big old thing of us like rating or rating our villains, but the reason why I brought that up is because one thing that this movie did that really kind of pissed me off is the fact that they killed him off. I feel like there's so much things you can get out of Killmonger. Yeah, like, dude, that's a character that did so much development for it and everything. Well, let's argue a bit.
The problem is he's inflexible. Like, there's no way, believably, he was going to change his viewpoints to be agreeable with everybody. Because, I mean, that was his whole thing, though. We could heal you. We could change you. It's like, so I can rot in prison all this time? No. Kind of thing. Like, that made sense that he would refuse to bow down to anything else. So it's a shame they killed him because he's such a great villain, but I wasn't angered that he died.
As far as like Marvel villains that have bit the dust, he was the only one that I've seen in the last like dozen Marvel movies that I actually legitimately believed. Because to me, that ending is the same ending as Spider-Man 3. Where like it's like with the fucking Harry has the thing in there and he goes, and that was such a shitty ending where it's like, we could save you, nah, and then dies. Where this it's like, no motherfucker, you're just gonna throw me in jail. I'd rather die than fucking be there. I'm like, okay, his line I'm not gonna read it because obviously like he does it way better than I do. But that line I'm like, okay, you know what, you justified the character fucking dying.
Yeah,
and in a fucking
bondage, the whole thing, and that was cool too.
Yeah. Man, that line was. I was typing in the chat right now. He's like, I'd rather die free because my people. Oh no, bury my ashes in the sea because my people knew what it was to die rather than be in bondage. Live in bondage. I fucking.
Dude, the theater fucking went ooh like as soon as he said that.
That was some real fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that there's some type of way where the vibranium, maybe there's something that they, maybe Siri brings it back to life, or whatever. Because it's one of those situations.
Apparently, vibranium can do anything in this movie.
Yeah,
vibranium
exactly.
does every single freaking thing in this movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
So
actually,
that's
it's
one of
funny
those things.
because I love the whole vibranium thing because me and Nannies are discussing this one little close, and he's like, "Yo, how can they have all this crazy tech?" Because I'm like, vibranium is a power source, and it can power all the nanotech. We can do some of the stuff there with nanotech now. We just don't have the fucking energy. We're like 10 years away from Wakanda stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know, man. That was one of those things that was kind of bad. And then to get onto, Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman, I really did not like whatsoever. I think he's lazy as shit, and the movie tells you right away too that he sucks as a superhero versus a lot of other superheroes. Right away, Siri's like, hey, or not Siri, it was Michonne or whatever, and they were like basically asking. Yeah, no, Danny Goya, whatever. Like, I don't know. And if it's some African name, like I don't speak the language, I don't know these names, I'm gonna fuck it up, so I'm not even gonna try. Okay, so that'd be insulting at that point. but she basically goes up to Black Panther and she's like, yeah, don't freeze. And he's like, I never freeze. And then literally fucking goes and freezes. Like literally fucking.
That was the point. Yeah, that was the point.
Kind of funny nod,
no,
but
that's the point. I mean, it's a point to that joke, but he's fucking Black Panther. Like, is he good or not good? Because
he's really good.
He almost loses to Baku, who doesn't fucking have a suit on, or whatever the fuck. And by the way, too, the thing that sucks about the character as well is that you guys talking about fight scenes. I liked everybody's fight scene other than Black Panther's, and I love all the tech and special effects other than Black Panther, because when he was fighting not with the suit against M'Baku, that match was not only boring as shit, but that wasn't even Chadwick Boseman fighting him. Their bodies change. Like, literally, from, 10 seconds to the next 10 seconds, it's not the same dude fighting. And, dude, I don't focus on that shit. I'm not a big movie nerd. I don't fucking have that much focus. But I notice that shit easy because one dude is completely ripped, looking great, and then the other guy ain't doing shit. And when they're fighting, you see the camera behind Chadwick's character, the Black Panther, throughout the whole fucking fight scene. And they're doing shit that I've seen done better in the first Mortal Kombat movie. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't notice any of that. Like, I
kind of like the original fight between him and Baku because it was based around actual tribal fighting. They were actually trying to not actually kill each other, but injure each other to get a yield
or death. Either way.
Well, no, you can tell they weren't trying to kill each other.
No, but you could tell that it was an option. It
was an option, but it wasn't like the Killmore fight where it was much more brutal. It was much more. He was much more calculating his moves, and I felt like those fight scenes were the best ones. When at the waterfall and it's 1-to-1, and you have the African tribal music in the background, you have people chanting for the people they are supporting. Yeah. That to me was the fucking best fight scenes. Then you cut to the CGI bullshit, and I kind of lose interest.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like the fight scenes there. What I liked about it is it showed that he's a fighter, but he's not immortal. It's one of those things where it's like he can fight people, but what gives him the edge and what actually lets him, be so good that he can be on the Avengers is it is this the super serum, and it is the suit. But he's still a good fighter himself, but he's not invincible, but he's scrappy. And that's one of the things where it's like that guy was big. But the thing is when he fights against what's his face? Michael B. Jordan's character.
Killmonger.
Killmonger. Been trained super well by multiple forms of military, so he knows a lot more than Black Panther. He's probably only been trained in 1 or 2 forms of fighting, so it's like he had the skill on top of him. So it's like what I liked about it is he's not an immortal character. The suit helps and the serum helps, but at the end of it, he's still a normal dude that can get hurt, and that's what I liked about it. Is like they showed that he's still human. Like any one of us gets into a fight, like you might be a big motherfucker, but some guy can still take you down. But it's what do you bring to the table, and it's like he brings his skills, his speed, and his intelligence to the fights.
Yeah, and the thing is like for me, it's the people that help him a lot. Like even in that casino scene, he barely did shit. He just jumped really high onto the second story and then went on another chase. The girls are what busted their ass doing all this fucking and I know some of them are stunt women, but I've seen Michonne do shit, and the camera was actually showing her face as she's actually doing some of these fight scenes. Like she knows choreography.
That's my favorite one when they pan to her and she pulls out her thing and just takes out 3 people. I'm like, that's a fight scene. Thank you.
That's how you
never
do
that again.
Well, no,
and then we got to see Andy Serkis do the whole "I made it rain" joke. So
I kind of laughed at that. It's like, yo, man, I made it rain. Everyone was like, dude, your jokes suck. Let's go.
I kind of laughed at that joke.
I like that. I like those.
But I think that's the biggest problem too. Is that why Black Panther is less interesting? Is that we have such awesome supporting characters. I mean, first of all, Nick, to the point about never freezing. If you saw Lupita Nyong'o and how pretty she was in that scene, wouldn't you freeze as well? Just saying.
Hot.
But also, too, You know, the thing is like, yeah, as awesome as Black Panther is, Okoye is the one who's very proactive in the story. Like, she's the one who gets stuff done in a lot of these scenes. So that's why we attach to her. We attach to Shuri because she's much more proactive.
Well, it's one of those things where like he's the least interesting person in a cast full of interesting people.
I disagree. I think
he's reactionary. This is about
I think he shines when he's working with Suri. I think those two chemistry, I actually got a real brother sister vibe between them, and I was very invested in them when they had conversations. They were joking around, and she was throwing sly comments because that fucking reminded me of my sister, and I think that was very well done. But him by himself, he was more of just that cool, suave motherfucker.
Yeah. No, Allie, I'm going to ask you really quick because for me, I didn't like Black Panther, the character at all. I don't like Chadwick Boseman as an actor, but what do you feel about that? Because I know you didn't have many opportunities to talk here.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was definitely the least interesting character of the bunch. Honestly, though, I think still he's perfectly cast. He's fine. I think since now, all the characters are, in his, world are introduced, I think he'll probably have more to do in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm kind of expecting. We already kind of got to know him from Civil War, so I kind of understand why he wasn't necessarily the most, like, he was of course the main character, but I think they were much more interested in developing, all the people that he surrounds himself with. So
exactly. Yeah. And
I was fine with
when
it.
he was even gone, there's a part where he's actually gone from the movie, and the waterfall scene was. I mean, honestly, after seeing The Revenant and seeing a lot of other fall down the hill things, that shit was hilarious when he fell. I'm sorry, that was funny.
Yeah, it was fun. But it's just like, hey, never throw. Okay, kids, when you're gonna murder somebody, never throw them off a cliff.
Yeah,
they never die.
They always live. But that's literally my only point of not liking a movie is that part, because when you guys say something about the CGI and everything like that too, I agree with you. They look bad, but they all look the same type of bad to the point where it's almost a good excuse to say, well, it's because of vibranium. And this is how it works. And this is how we've had it for so long. And it gets to a point where when you see fight scenes like when he fights Killmonger, when he fights M'Baku, there's not really a whole lot of CGI until he's thrown off the bridge, obviously. But aside from that, there's really no CGI. So it's like, oh, so it's not that this movie sucks in special effects, is that the vibranium and all the technology is supposed to look fucking fake because we don't know what it is. It's this new thing. So, I mean, when everything else looks good, especially the fight with Michonne and those guys in the bar and shit like that looks so good, it gives you a reason to say, okay, I can't talk shit about the other special effects now because they're going for something there. There's a reason why it's purple. I remember going back in their trailer reaction, I talked a bunch of shit and insulted a few people in the chat by making fun of the fact that it's all purple. And why is it so colorful? Why is Siri driving this car? There's a reason behind it. She's actually in the fucking computer lab place and she's driving a virtual car and she gets to design it any fucking way she wants to. So that made sense. When Black Panther's purple, I thought that was silly as shit. When you watch the movie, he's purple because it's an indicator on the damage he's taking from all the bullets and all the damage and anything that's happening to him.
Yeah, did you know the health bar too?
Say what?
The health bar and then the stamina bar.
Stupid. like Dead Space, basically.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, is the guy from Dead Space, Isaac, going to show up too and help them out too with the gun?
And, one big thing I got to bring up too, God, this is going to hurt bringing this up, but the big card thing that I really fucking hated. Actually, I don't even think this is it. But when he basically, when he spins in the air, is it gonna show it? It ain't gonna show it. Fucking trailer. But he does this thing where he spins in the air. We've seen it 100 times on every trailer except for this one. Holy shit! And I hated it. I hated it the whole time. Like, that's so fucking stupid. This movie gives you a reason why. Because he's taking up all that damage like it's a fucking XP thing, or one of those things on Overwatch. Yeah, and he unleashes it all, and that's why he spins in the air. The trailer doesn't show you that. The trailer just shows him like, ooh, look how cool I am. I'm spinning in the fucking air. This is one of those situations where a little bit of context makes the biggest difference. The It trailer had the same thing going for it. A lot of things in the It trailer, I was like, okay, that doesn't look that scary. It looks okay. But when you watch the movie, even though you know what's going to happen, a little bit of context changes the entire fucking thing. And It was one of my favorite horror movies in so long. And this did it. This is how you do a movie with a trailer that sucks, because honestly, I still mean what I said. These are horrible fucking trailers, like terrible. But this movie, even the stuff that I knew was gonna happen, and they actually changed some stuff. Like they show one character, like T'Challa, going down. Like I brought that up earlier. He's walking down this thing with a bunch of people around him. There's actually Killmonger.
His eyes look like they about to bug out his system.
Exactly. But yeah, it's just they do that a lot with this fucking thing, and that's why I really like that they actually extended parts in the trailer to make it actually be cool with the context. But yeah, man, for me, I'm gonna go into ratings, and anything you guys want to add on, just go ahead and do that at the very end too. But yeah, like I give this, I would say low buy, high rented. I have to choose one, so I'm just gonna say buy it because watching this in the movie theater is actually worth it. This is not something that I'm going to want to do just watching on a DVD or something. I want to be there for the experience. And if I had the money, I would have watched this in IMAX. There's certain parts that are so fucking badass. That ending fight scene did look ridiculous with the CGI, and people are bringing up in the YouTube chat with the rhinos. Those were ridiculous. But the certain fight scenes, even when the white dude is controlling like the little plane thing to shoot off.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was awesome. Like, that shit looked great. And I was like, okay, so they do have a budget for great special effects. They're just going for something with the vibranium, and it just didn't look so great. So, yeah, man, like, I do think that lots of things look cool about this. The comedy is very, very little, and I enjoy that this movie is mostly serious. I mean, there's parts where even Killmonger, when he's crying and he's thinking about shit from back when he was a kid, it was emotional and dark and deep as fuck, and I love that.
Yeah.
God, I fucking really love this movie. I loved everybody in it except for Black Panther. I mean, I even like Daniel Kaluuya. This fucking movie made me like Daniel fucking Kaluuya. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, I cannot wait. And honestly, at this point, I really want to see Black Panther 2. I don't give a fuck about Avengers Infinity Wars. I really don't. Like, the fucking big CGI, dumb fuck of Thanos, like, fucking Steppenwolf 2.0, and fucking ridiculous background, and Spider-Man in his fake-ass fucking suit, and more Black Panther, which is the worst part about the Black Panther movie.
So, kids, write this down. So, in about, like, what, 3 months when we see the movie, and he goes, yo, remember all that shit I said? It was in context, and it was great.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Thanos... Man, the motherfucker, like, his whole purpose is about fucking jewels on his hand. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're gonna make that clear.
He wants to
He's
get
gotta run the jewels, man.
Yes, Justin, yes!
Try to bling out, man. Leave him be.
But no, man, I love this movie very, very much, and I can't wait to watch it again. It's a buy it for me. It's a low buy it, I will say. And if I was doing like a double toast rating, it's a fucking matinee. You know what I mean? Go see it. And if it was a star rating, yeah, it's a 3 out of 5. But for me, with our rating system, like, why not buy it? It's fucking great. You're gonna watch it tons of fucking times, and yeah, it's awesome. But Allie, I'm gonna give it to you. Like, what would you rate this movie, and any last comments about it?
Yeah, man. So I freaking love this movie. Like, I don't think that's a surprise. I was actually surprised at how much I genuinely really loved it. I thought this was gonna kind of follow a typical. But I mean, in a certain way, it did follow Marvel formula, but it was so much more, and it had so much more depth to it. And I was just so surprised that, like, I love Wonder Woman because, like, it was a woman kicking butt, and it wasn't about her. Most part, it wasn't really about her gender. Mm-hmm. This is like Wonder Woman times 3 because you got 3 powerful women in here. Yeah. So, like, heck yeah! Like, I'm all about. Like, this is my new Wonder Woman for this year. Like, it is great. Yeah, okay, Black Panther himself is not exactly the most interesting, but you've got 3 powerful female characters. You got amazing villain. I always love good villain, especially one that's sympathetic. And I just say Michael B. Jordan, like, he's becoming one of my favorite actors because he's just great in everything I've seen him in, except for Fan Four Stick. Even I don't think that was his problem. But
he was good in it. He was good in it.
Yeah, he was probably good in it. So, see, like, he even makes like something out of crap. So, like, I can't wait to see whatever he does next. And Ryan Coogler, like, he's becoming one of my favorite directors because, like, I don't know if he can do any wrong at this point. Like, he just knocked it out of the park again.
Just make sure Michael B. Jordan is in every movie you ever do.
Exactly. Like, he's becoming like, yeah, he is becoming like Leo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese or whatever, So, yeah, I think it was a perfect director for this. I'm so happy that they didn't overuse the hip hop music. And, of course, I would say the special effects was definitely an issue. But it wasn't that much of an issue that it took away from how much I really cared about these characters and how I really loved them and how they grew throughout the movie. And this is just I'm just so happy being a Black female, but just being a Black person, being able to see my race represented in a way, like in a positive way, that's a powerful like, okay, we're strong, and that we don't have to be, we don't have to have these roles like in slavery, or that we're drug dealers or whatever like that. This is a great movie for the whole world to see that like there's more to us than just these stereotypes that Hollywood usually keeps creating. Because we do have movies that show Black people in a positive light, but those movies really don't get played in other countries. So having this big budget Marvel movie being shown everywhere else, this is amazing. It's up in the right direction. But can I just make a small little thing that really irks me that my mom told me about? Because my mom was telling me that her friend went to go see the movie, and someone was saying, like, came out of the movie, and they're like, I don't know, man. There's no LGBTQ people in it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, one step at a time, y'all. Like, can we get just something? Like, not
everyone wants their time,
As the more I get to politics, Sally, I'm realizing those people's opinions don't matter because they just complain they don't do shit.
Seriously, like, not every single group like can't be in one movie at once. Let's just. This is great. This is a great stepping stone. We can move on to other races, other groups later on, but this is good because this shows that this is bankable. Having people like that are different than what we normally see in these type of roles does make money, and it makes more money than people thought it did. So this is great on a social level. I think it's great on a substance level. Sure, some things can be changed, like for making, I think, more interesting plot, like not just a typical bad guy wants to do this to the world or whatever and having this ending fight. But seriously, I love all the characters in this movie, and I can't wait to see them again. This is definitely a high buy it.
High buy. Damn, nice, man.
Yes.
I can't wait to watch this fucking movie again. I feel like I would go and watch like a streamable version, but I'm actually willing to go spend money and watch it again. And I already did that once. So holy shit. Like I love this movie very, very much. Justin Zarian, you buddy, what would you give this movie? And go ahead and say some last minute words or whatever.
Well, so as the white guy in this review, but
no, you got Alan.
I was gonna say, one of us has to take the bullet. You better take it, because I'm done taking it.
Okay, so a few things. I do agree with a lot of the praises everyone has said. Like, I think that the best things about this movie are that it's a great forward momentum plot. Like, it always keeps things moving. It's got some great characters and a great supporting cast. I even like Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman in this movie. Like, I know they're the token white guys.
I like them too.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, people complain about like Andy Serkis being goofy, but you kind of need someone who is that level of villain next to Michael B. Jordan, who's the realistic villain. It's like, yeah, you got he's the stepping stone to Michael B. Jordan being more awesome.
Exactly.
And I will say that some of my complaints, like I said, the visual effects, but I actually did have a problem with it being a little predictable, because the first two acts I feel were the strongest parts of the movie, where it really built some great tension, and that's where all the really great character moments happen. And then when the third act happens, when they get the big giant battle, which we've seen in all these other Marvel movies, it started to get a little safe. Like, and even if it was still good and well executed, it kind of started to fall back into the formula a little bit.
That's the same face she made when she saw that paycheck. I'm sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
She looking happy as a motherfucker, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get that paycheck when you're home.
I loved Michonne in this movie, Okoye. I thought she was fantastic in this. I thought all the cast was good. Ryan Coogler, this is a great step for him to show he can do high budget filmmaking and not just really good indie or middle budget films.
Exactly.
Like, he's going step by step with such a small film like Fruitvale Station, a middle range film like Creed, and then big scale, global box office stuff.
Yep, unlike the director of District 9, who kept getting worse with every subsequent movie.
Yeah. Well, and I also say too, I like the action in this movie, but there was, Alan and I have been debating with Ruthless throughout the chat here. There's never a single action sequence that was better than anything in Winter Soldier or Civil War.
I completely agree. Even like that's a little unfair because you had Captain America kicking ass in all those movies. Even Black Panther himself in Civil War was actually better choreographed. And it's like I agree. Yeah, I get why Ruthless didn't want to do it, but it's like have them help out at least.
Yeah. No, but other than that, I do enjoy this movie. I also don't think this movie's smart. It is clever, but people try to treat it like you were saying, like those people are like, oh, well, this is a big revolution in the way that the ideologies of so and so are reflected through these characters here and there. I'm like, it's a Marvel movie that happens to have some good ideas behind it. It's not
list, people.
Yeah, it's not like Ali's saying, like, it has to be representative of all groups. It has to be the the trailblazer. And I will say too, this is gonna sound so crazy. When I went to go see this movie, it was a pretty packed theater as well, and it was a matinee of all things. It was still really packed even for early.
Yeah.
But I sat next to these two black guys, and they were just like, "Yo, boy, this movie's gonna be lit." Oh, did you see what the Black Panther did to that? Oh, that was amazing. Dude, this is gonna happen right here. Look at that. Oh, it's awesome.
You see that shit, white boy? You see that shit?
That seriously happened?
At some point, I looked at that guy saying that. I'm like, yeah, man, that was
that's how you do it,
man. It was really, really fun.
Man,
That
I wish I had your
helped me
theater.
enjoy it.
man.
Oh, it was really fun.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'll
that's
give
the
this
thing, like when we went to go see the movie too, like
Justin
we had
Winter
people, they were quiet.
Justin
Yeah,
went
we
over
had
the
a quiet
polo and the khakis, came out with a dashiki.
Man, yeah, I was disappointed in my theater. Like, I didn't have any of that. Like, I saw it on Saturday, 7:30, like the prime time to see a movie like this, and everyone was so quiet. I was like, "Dang, why y'all being so respectful? Like, what's wrong with you?"
You know what's funny though? Actually, it's so funny because when Justin was talking about that, I actually went on his Facebook and I actually found a picture of Justin after watching Black Panther, and there he is right here.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
If only.
No, but go ahead.
But I will give it a low by it just because I do have those criticisms of it. And also, the part that did kind of bug me was, even though as good as that casino fight was, it's literally the same exact set as Skyfall. It is the exact same. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The T and the
I made the same joke. James Bond is in the corner right there, just doing some shit right now. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
What is
I
this
was surprised they didn't have
vibrating?
I was surprised they didn't have the Komodo dragon pit like they did in Skyfall.
They
on the
did.
bottom.
You just didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, so low by, I still say it's very fun. It's very entertaining. It's on top tier Marvel, not better than some of my favorite films, but totally recommend anyone who wants to see it. And if people are going to see it multiple times, totally understand. Really, really
Yeah,
fun.
and really quick too. Speaking of that casino scene, fuck Stanley. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man!
Fuck you, Stanley.
No.
Fuck you.
Stan Lee did not rob anybody.
No,
I
fuck
love
the
that
first
scene. That
black
made me laugh
super-
so hard.
I just want to point out the first black superhero we have in movies that's very dedicated to the culture, the aspects of it. And we have Stan Lee, the white dude, steal his chips.
He did not steal
There
them.
we
He
go.
got
Man,
away.
you in this chip scene, like,
Man.
how does it rub you the wrong way?
I really
Gag.
hated that fucking scene, dude. I'm sorry. That shit
I
was
love
not
Stan
funny.
Lee.
Gag.
I love Stan Lee. I like when he shows up, but he did not rob Black Panther. Black Panther walked away and didn't give a shit.
But to move on though, really quick. Now I don't know what to do. We can either end this on average, or we can end this on pissing people off. What do y'all? Ali, I'm gonna leave this to you actually.
You know what, Gaja? No. Let's take this over, Gaja. Why don't me and you do this at the same time?
Well, no,
What?
I know we've been doing that the entire review, but no interrupting, goddammit. Ali, who should go first? The one who's more negative or less negative?
Let Alan go because they already hate him already.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like how you guys did not give her a chance to reply. God damn.
You all already made your decision, so just
Exactly.
go. Whatever.
Let's just do it. Alan, take it away, sir.
Okay, well, as we were discussing in there, one of my only actual flaw with this movie is I think that the action choreography was really lackluster. And to me, it's like that's one of the things of why I would ever want to watch a movie multiple times. Because to me, I want to see Black Panther 2 because I think that the only thing they really need to improve is they've already done the world building, they've done a lot of the character building, so they're obviously going to continue that. But what I want to see is I just want to see some cooler action. And to me, it's like that's really the only thing I'd want to see out of a sequel from this. So just get some people that can really do fight choreography and just nail it because you guys are nailing everything else. I'm loving the tech. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the world in which you're building. Like, you showed me enough of that. The only thing that they need to do is do a cooler Stan Lee cameo. I want Stan Lee to be in Wakanda with a guitar. Like, he's Willie Nelson, just been there since the 60s, just stringing his guitar. Like, that's what I wanted as a Stan Lee cameo. He's just been there for
Stan Lee just some street performer like begging for change, playing the spider.
Not even that. He's just chilling next to like the equivalent of a hot dog stand there, and he's just playing his music, just dealing with his day because it seems like no one has problems in Wakanda. But yeah, like this is probably one of the most I think unique Marvel movies, and even though in the sense it does go through the same kind of plot, you know, and some people are pointing out that the Killmonger is basically as every single other Marvel villain, which is the exact same powers, but he's just on the opposite side. But that stuff didn't really bother me because I was enjoying the plot. I was enjoying the characters. They really made, even though they had the same kind of formula, they managed to diversify it as opposed to something like, you know, they did with Ant-Man, which is basically just kind of the same thing, or Doctor Strange, which is essentially just kind of the same thing. And they even got some of the humor down. But to me, it's like some of the humor got in the way, the action got in the way, and it's like that. Those really did affect me because that's kind of something that I look for in a movie. I want good action. So I go on the low end of buy it, but I really do think that if you can get a good theater experience, you should definitely, or even just on DVD. Like I think you can watch this in your house and still enjoy, especially get the pause, go back, look at some of the shit in the background, or just rewatch it multiple times. So honestly, go out of your way and buy this in whatever form you can. Be it go to the theater, or be it just get it on Blu-ray, DVD when it comes out.
All right. He said buy it. We all said buy it. Everybody in here said buy it.
And
All right, that's done. Good night, everybody.
it's a
Bye.
shit right now.
It's a show. Attack the chat. Bye.
Let's have a video game show. We love y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
We're gonna watch Creed in the after hours.
Oh, Ganja Groot. Go ahead, baby doll.
I didn't like this movie. I know, boo me, hate me all you want, but like there were some acts with the films, like the stuff that I talked about earlier about the politics stuff, Michael B. Jordan's acting, the characters. I really liked all the actor aspects of it, but the movie in itself, I kind of felt was retreading a lot of the same Marvel stuff. To the point I was like, when the end scene where they're about to lose the battle and stuff, I'm like, all right, in like 5 minutes, the Bakito guy's gonna show up with his army, and sure enough, he showed up.
Yep.
And then the whole idea of like we got to capture this one thing before it gets somewhere else. They did the same thing with that with a few others of the Marvel movies, you know, especially with I think Iron Man, where they had to stop something from being delivered in time. It was kind of the same retread with that, and you know, it's not a huge strike against the movie. I think that at this point, it's against the Marvel creative team that kind of follows all these same template movies. It's not against Black Panther itself as a film. It's more as how Marvel's kind of playing all these movies out to fit into these one big aspect films, and it kind of makes them retread all these same things. And besides that, I felt like T'Challa should have been a better fucking character. The fact that we're all like saying that the main side characters are better, the side characters have better acted, and the dude is a plastic wood, I think that was a detriment because in superhero movies, your main is supposed to be the superhero. Side characters, if they're great, if they're entertaining, that's a bonus, and that makes the world stronger and makes his character development even stronger because you like these characters and you focus on when bad things happen to them or good things happen to them throughout the story or throughout the series. I'd rather have a fucking Shuri movie, honestly, at this point. I want to see her become the female Panther and start taking out bad guys because I was more into her storyline and the CIA agent than I was in what T'Challa was doing. To the point, every time they cut back to the king, I was like, all right, let's go back to Wakanda. Like, I was not really appreciating his acting. He kind of just played this kind of just cool guy demeanor all the time that didn't break, and it felt very Batman-esque of it, and that's kind of the stuff that I don't like from the old school Batmans, where they play this cool kind of guy, and I like that they the only difference I got out of that was the Christopher Nolan, where he portrayed that, but in his personal life, he was just kind of just a regular dude. He had to keep up the aesthetics, and I thought that's what he was doing. But even like, you know, it's like personal moments with his sister, there was no like sense of like, oh, he's relaxing, he's just enjoying the scene and just working with it. It was always like this stoic character, which I kind of just fell out of it. But besides the CGI and the horrible fight scenes, I did enjoy the movie for what it was presented. I'm not going to give you a void or a fuck you. It doesn't deserve that at all. But it's not a overhyped movie. Honestly, if you're into the whole aspect that is presented, like the whole politics, the ideas of a African nation that has come out of the world and has developed a superhero that's trying to save both places and trying to balance the two, I think it's definitely a buy it or a rent it. You honestly should go see this in the theaters. It's definitely a theaters experience. So on that note, it's a buy it. But if you're going to go out your way and money and actually buy it yourself, unless you're a huge fan of Black Panther, the mythos, or the movie itself, I don't see a real reason to own it as a DVD collection unless you're trying to keep it as a Marvel collection. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I'll say rent it or stream it. And the last thing I want to end off is this movie actually made me a little sad. I love it, but it actually made me a little sad in it because being a Native American, I got to see what a movie. I don't lie, I was projecting a lot of shit into this movie. Like when I saw like the tribal people dancing around and stuff, I had a little tear because I was like, "Damn, man! I wish one day they could make a movie like this for my people, dude, and just have all our cultures and whatnot." So I was like, I got that whole aspect. I was putting myself into it, but that's not like the movie is not a documentary about Wakanda. It's about Black Panther and his journey of becoming a hero and his heroics. And I felt like that was severely lacking. And I thought all the extra stuff around it was great. If they fix out the sequel, that next movie's gonna be better than Sex, honestly. If they bring that all around and add fight scenes and better character development for T'Challa and not make him a wooden millionaire figure like Batman, I think he would be a lot 10 times better.
Yeah, because he was definitely like a Black Bruce Wayne, honestly.
Yeah, he was definitely a Black Bruce Wayne. I wanted more from him. I didn't want him to be, just jumping around, laughing, giggling all the way. But if you're a huge fan of Marvel series, I think you should own it, and you should definitely go see it in theaters. If you are not, iffy and the hype you didn't really get into the hype all that much, I say rent it or stream it. It's all right.
Yeah. All right.
I agree with Rufus. You kidnap racists and make them watch it and tell them Wakanda's real.
Tie them to the fucking seats with rope and open their eyes open with fucking nails, man.
Kirk Lazarus, you got a point, Dance with the Wolves, but the problem with Dance with the Wolves, the Native Americans weren't the main focus. We were following Officer Dunbar writing a story. It was basically it was Avatar without the CGI.
Yeah, I'm about to take that joke.
Now,
Except good.
No, it's not.
No, fuck! I'll throw hands with you, bitch.
Avatar's trash, but anyway.
I thought you were talking about Dance with the Wolves. I'm about to have a
No,
fight.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, Dance with Wolves is good.
Now, really quick, I'll make this one. Actually, I might save this for next week. I don't know. But before I even continue, Alan, something pissed you off a lot this week, sir.
Yeah.
And I almost forgot about it, man.
Man, I'm so sad I wasn't here for that screening. I wish I was there.
Oh, no, you do not, man. I would have had to apologize again for inviting another group of people to watch another garbage movie.
So, Full Metal Alchemist, people on Netflix. Man, Netflix is just doing such a great job right now.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
No, Allie, I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone, Allie. Don't leave me.
Oh my god, so what the fuck was so bad? Like, I mean, I don't understand, honestly.
Allie, I'll let you start. I'm too angry.
I'm too angry. Dang it, why
God damn it.
Okay,
right.
let's say this. What are there any good things in the movie?
Are there any good things?
There was a cool fight between the two main characters for about 10 seconds.
That made no sense.
That was completely forced. Look, the best way to kind of sum this up is we were watching this movie, and honestly, I don't know what audience this movie is for. Because when we were watching it, we were all watching it, me, Trey, and Ellie. We loved Fullmetal Alchemist. We loved the anime. So we're kind of like, hey, let's check this movie out. Within the first few minutes, we're like, this never fucking happened. This never fucking happened. What is going on? And the CG is so kind of in this. At one point in the trailer, or when the pillars are coming out of the wall, I swear to God, he phased right through one of them because the CG is just fucking trash. And after certain characters just start popping up that were never in this sequence, my brain turned off. It's like, dude, you can't watch this like you watch the anime because they're clearly breaking every fucking rule. You gotta watch this as if you've never seen the fucking anime. What the fuck is going on in this movie? This movie makes no sense.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, when you say that, that's what I thought about Death Note. Like, I feel like with Death Note, that's how it was too, where Ryuk is completely different.
The sad part is that Death Note is more of like a well-rounded, like, developed story.
Oh,
She's a piece of shit.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even get through Death Note, but
Jesus
man,
Christ.
I'm tired of this yellow watching of your.
This is so confusing.
Yo, you're not even wrong, man.
Man, you aren't. Like, it makes no sense. Everyone is Japanese, but yet it still takes place in Europe. But like, why does Edward have blonde hair? Like, I'm sorry, I get it, but he's Japanese. The actor's Japanese. What?
Yeah.
Like, and they show kids, like, when they're kids, they have blonde hair. I'm like, it's genetically impossible that happens.
Allie usually gives race a pass, but you have to fuck up real bad for her to come the movie out.
He has a ponytail that's a different shade.
The wig is terrible. Yes, you can see the hair where he dyed it. And then he has just this ragtail called a braid in the back, and it's a completely different hue of blonde from the rest of his head.
Like, this isn't us looking too much into it. It's so clear.
So
it's like, what's kind of
obvious.
brown and what's yellow?
It looks so fake. Like they couldn't like spend a little bit of money to make sure his hair looks, I don't know, somewhat believable. Looks like something you could get a better wig out of Party City. I'm serious. Like, man, okay. And the whole thing is like, Full Metal Alchemist is all about Edward and Alphonse Elric, right?
Yeah.
Alphonse is barely in this freaking movie.
Aww.
He's not in this movie for half of it.
You don't even know. We're like, wait. Me and Alan were literally watching this for like 45 minutes, and we're like, hey, Alan, where's Alphonse? I don't know.
No, they replaced him with Winry, who is in this movie for a majority of it for no reason other than she's a woman. And Allie is so mad.
I can't with, man. I like Winry in the freaking anime, but in this freaking movie, she is so annoying. And every time she came on the screen, even if she didn't say anything, I was like, "Shut up, Winry." She is like,
It's the only entertaining part of this movie.
Guys, stop complaining, right? Stop fighting, guys. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm with you guys. Oh my god. I'm like, shut up, Winry. Like,
The best way to describe her personality is she's Sakura from the original Naruto series.
Ooh.
That is the best way to describe her character.
Shut up, bro.
She's just there too. She's not doing anything. She just disappears and then just comes back and reappears out of nowhere. How did she get here?
I've seen a few episodes of the anime. Isn't she the character that's kind of always makes sure the boys are on track and always kicking their ass and shit?
Yeah, she's brought in at like sensible moment. Like, you know, she comes later on and she's there like when they actually, you know, Edward has a metal arm. You know, she actually is a mechanic and she helps fix it, but she doesn't like actively follow them in every single like trip they go on. It's mainly Edward and Alphonse that are only going on that because it's very dangerous and she's not an alchemist.
Well, not only that, just the way you're describing her character, I remember her being more badass and more stoic.
She was very, she was very headstrong because the thing is, she lost her parents, you know, because of the war, so she really doesn't like it. Same thing with her grandmother, who they never fucking bring in. So you have no idea why this random girl here, who's like a preteen, is super good at electronics. There's no character development in this fucking movie. This is a 2.5-hour movie with no character development.
There's none. Like they show that, you know, they do a flashback to, you know, of them showing a little bit of you know, Edward and Alphonse with their mom, and that's when they do show Panako, the grandmother, Winry's grandmother, with Winry, and it shows how close of a friends they were since they were kids. Yeah. Winry's not in that scene, those scenes whatsoever. So again, with just this random girl, just hey guys, I don't know, we're like. If you didn't know anything about Full Metal Alchemist, you just saw this random girl just come out of nowhere when they're adults. And you're like, who is this girl? What? She just has like a toolbox with her. Where did she come from? Like,
she's not even relevant to the plot for most of it. And honestly, I was hoping that somebody would call me out or Nick would put the spoiler tag so I could start freaking out. Because if anybody yells at me for spoilers, you can go fuck yourself. This movie doesn't have a plot for an hour and 30 minutes. It is a bunch of random scenes for an hour and 30 minutes until the last like 30 or 40 minutes where it actually has a plot.
Dude, I fell asleep. I was gone. It was just so boring. Nothing was happening. I rarely fall asleep in movies. I can't remember the last time I fell asleep in a movie. It's that boring. And I woke up and all of a sudden I saw like the zombie dudes that's in Brotherhood. I'm like, wait, I thought this was following the original one. What's happening? Why are they showing up here?
It literally creates a villain out of nowhere just to have a climax.
Oh my god! And like the Ishbalans completely wiped. Like they don't even barely talk about them. They mention the country, and that's it. No Scar, nothing. That whole like. The most, I think, emotional and you know, powerful part of the freaking story is just completely cut out.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame. But, you know, in a way, I'm glad that they did because they would have definitely butchered that storyline up. No doubt about it. Yeah. And the sad part is when Americans can make this movie better than actual Japanese who actually created. Yeah. Like, no, don't give any of the animes like a live action adaptation to Japanese, except for Death Note, that like the live act, not the obviously the American version, but the Japanese is decent, but that's like the only thing. They're great at original movie ideas, but if they're taking anything from a manga or an anime, just forget it. Like
it's not even that
everybody forgets Dragon Ball Evolution.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that the fuck up. Because anybody that knows my Facebook post, I saw that movie in theaters because I'm a fucking idiot.
You and me both, brother. I have faith.
Yeah. But so we're watching this movie, and in my head, I'm going, "Is this actually worse than Dragon Ball Evolution?" I had to think about this for myself. Yes, this is worse because for specific reasons. This is a Japanese-made movie with Japanese actors based on the country of origin where it came up with, and it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. The Dragon Ball Evolution is a shitty American remake with American and Japanese and all these different actors made in America. That has a bunch of excuses for it sucking. This has no excuse for being as bad as it is. It is a longer runtime. It is more boring. It is it's probably the worst live action adaptation I've ever seen. Ever.
The thing is, like, you guys talking about all these, you know, bad CGI and the characters and everything. I saw this and I'm like, that's seemingly a pretty cool design. This motherfucker's holding playing cards. I know it's gonna be some kind of stupid ass joke. Like, how did you fuck up that part? Like, I mean, that
Don't
you
worry
do shit on
about it.
purpose.
He's barely in the movie. He's the best thing in the movie. He's in it for honestly 10 minutes because he's the best looking effect in the movie, but he's barely in it.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford to keep him on the screen. So it's like, why have him be all CGI if you can't afford to have him in the actual story?
Real dude in armor for the cheap.
That's what I'm saying, right? You could at least.
It feels like they could have.
They could have, and just like maybe, cut it to CGI when like you got to take his helmet off and there's no one in there. Like, okay, I get it.
Like the size and shit with.
Yeah, they made him all CGI all the time, so it's like you guys just wasted like unnecessary money for no reason. It's just, man.
And it looks rubbery too. The head looks rubbery.
I thought to myself, I said to Alan, I'd rather watch The Last Airbender right now.
I agree.
That was when The Last Airbender is actually more exciting, and you want to watch that over this movie, then you have a problem. You have a serious problem here.
Look, she brings that up, and it's a good point. The reason The Last Airbender is a better adaptation of this, because at least The Last Airbender actually has a linear progression. This goes randomly back and forth. The best way to sum this up is go watch a top 10 mojo of top 10 best moments of Fullmetal Alchemist and randomize the order. Because the moments happen for no fucking reason. At one point, we're dealing with one moment that doesn't happen until a third anime. It cuts to a moment that happens before anything else happens. Randomly too. It feels like it was just inserted in the movie because we need to have it here. It has no bearing to the plot. It just shows up and the characters just have magic plot details which they never had before. And then it cuts to things that don't happen until near the end. It is. I honestly want someone that's never watched the anime to watch this because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Fuck you! Don't.
Honestly, don't ever watch this.
Nick saw him getting listed again. He was like, "No, I'm gonna call him back. I served my tours."
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm good.
Oh, it is just it hurt me because this is my favorite anime of all time, and it just hurt me. Like I had to watch it. Like I would have said y'all could leave, man, but I had to sit there and watch it, and it was just. I couldn't bear it anymore, man.
This hurt my heart.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes, and there's some positive reviews for this.
I'll kill you.
Justin, don't you dare. Don't you dare. You try sing through this and see how you like it. It is
You gotta post that.
No,
I'm telling you, no one
will
like this movie.
This is so bad that if someone recommended this during a viewing party, we'd give them JP's hat of never being able to choose movies again. That's how bad this is.
I know Cruz Lazarus is saying I might watch this movie now. Oh God, the guys are like doing it so bad.
No, please don't. Like, it's just boring. It's not one of those. It's not Batman and Robin. You know, it's not The Room. Like, you will not get any enjoyment out of watching this. I'm telling you, you will be miserable.
I'm curious. We've only got one from her. Is this a fuck it?
Oh yes.
No, I thought you gave Cloverfield. I thought you gave Cloverfield Paradox.
I did.
That's what I'm saying. She has one. This will be the second one. If she did it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely a fuck it. Seriously.
Oh my God, the second one.
I'm angry. I'm angry at this. Like, you had so much potential. There's so much good, rich, just story elements of here. Like you could have. It just makes me so mad that you just could not get this right. I felt like it was just gift wrapped to you. Like, how could you mess it up? Honestly, like I felt like it was. Yeah, I felt like it was kind of not easy, but you had so much material to work on. You had 2 animes. You have a manga to go on. You had so much material to make this good, and they somehow managed to mess it up. It's just, I can't. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. This makes me so mad because this is my favorite anime. I love it to death. It's so hard. It's so dear to me. I'm just really mad.
And that sucks because I know how you feel. I mean, I just really started getting into anime and like Death Note. I fucking love so much, and they fucked that movie up. But the shit you guys have said, I'm like, I don't even think Death Note's worse than this. Like that's kind of incredible.
Death Note has good effects and camera work.
Yeah, but the thing is because and I like the point. Like they spent so much money on the CG, but it's all garbage because it's like in my head. I was thinking as a kid, like watching or when I was younger, watching this, I'm like, yo, this would be so great as a movie. I'm like, there's no way that they would ever be able to make this as a movie because it'd be way too fucking expensive. I'm thinking in my head, like, you have to have like $150 million budget to make this fucking movie just because of all the effects. Cause it's not like something like Death Note. Like Death Note doesn't really have many effects. All you need is a Ryuk, that guy there. That's really all you would need in Death Note CG. Maybe some cool gory effects for deaths, but you don't really need anything to make that movie work. With this, it's like you have people with magic, you have lightning bolts, you have people that can heal from any wound. Like you can make people that can make anything out of just rocks and shit. Like this is an expensive ass movie. how are you doing this on such a low budget? And they do it terribly. And the worst part is, like, I can forgive bad CG. Honestly, I was forgiving a lot of the bad CG because I'm like, they really can't do this. What I can't forgive is me not understanding the basic premise of what the fuck you're talking about. Characters that have literally no ploy just to show up and get killed. It has to, like, this is gonna be. I'm with Ali. This is a second fucking for me because this is an anime that's really close to my heart. This, like, before I watched this fucking anime, I thought anime was trash. I still kind of think anime is trash, and I fucking said it. But this got me like, oh, there's actually good anime out there. There's actually good anime, and this is the one up here.
Ruthless, you say you need 450 million? We can make it work. Disney.
Hey, if Disney said fuck it, bought the Full Metal Alchemist movie, I would be the first person in line because they would nail it. They can get the whimsicalness, they can get some of the dark stuff if the plan they want to go that dark. But I think they can make it work with the world building that they would be able to do. I think they can nail it.
You love me taking a monopoly.
Yeah. Hey, if it makes a good movie, I don't give a shit. But honestly, I'm never like as of right now.
What about the economics, Alan?
Who gives a shit? I will never ever watch like this review is a fuck it, but a little asterisk. I will never watch another live action adaptation of anything again. Ghost in the Shell. This I'm done. I'm fucking done. I don't care what comes out. I'm never watching another one of those.
You know, I don't blame you, but we're gonna do this really quick one. And I think.
Wait.
I hope you're wrong about that, Julian.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm looking this up.
If there's a sequel,
No, I don't think there is.
Okay, I gotta look this out to make sure.
I'm looking this up.
It looks like I gotta join you guys on this campaign because I want to see how shitty this is.
Oh god,
it sets itself.
Okay, Netflix sets itself up for a sequel. No one has greenlit it yet.
Yeah, no.
Julian's laughing. Julian's in the chat.
Oh, thank God.
That was great, Julian. That was awesome.
You fucking asshole, Julian.
That was awesome. Really quick. So this is the point where I think it's my turn to piss people off. You guys think that we can get through a fucking show without me making you mad? No. Fuck no. Gotta tell you, I fucking hate art fucking people and cinephiles. Justin, fuck you. Because
Okay, no. Before you do it, just tell me why you're wrong, and then I can.
That's right
you know what? For that, because the point I'm going to make later on with the Good Time review, I could kiss you in the mouth for that. I'm actually not even mad. I love that you said that. Thank you so much. Justin just helped me out so much by doing that.
You just gave him a fucking bat with barbed wire, you asshole.
Yeah, that was
You already had
awesome.
it. You just give him a target.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Look, I've done enough reviews with Nick. I know what he's like. So.
No, we watched together, Allie.
We all have a little trauma.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, this movie, right.
Oh, yeah, this fucking
God,
film.
I was there.
Yeah, you were. Oh, did you forget already? This boring fucking film?
Dude, I forgot it an hour after we watched it.
God, you
Okay,
did.
what is
I
it?
remember
I'm curious
talking about
now.
that. Yeah, it's the shape of boring-ass piece of shit fucking water. I hate this.
No. Here's the thing. I don't disagree that this movie's not as great as everyone says it is. I think it's good.
Talk about a 2-hour movie without character development.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, but
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's my main issue with the movie, because like Justin said, and wow, you're actually helping me out here, because that's actually what I was hoping that someone can actually say to kind of get me into the review, is the fact of like, the hype surrounding this fucking movie, because it's up for so many fucking rewards at this thing. Now, I'll start off with the most positive, that keeps us from being a fuck you, because I know it's pretty early to get into the rating system of it, and I don't want this to be a long review, but this isn't avoided for me. And the only reason why is because that design on the creature is some of the best work I've ever seen ever. Like, he's a really cool fucking, it looks real as shit. And when the water glistens off him and everything too, and you have like little spots when he's in the rain and he's looking at the camera, and the cinematography. I always make fun of Justin, even when Justin isn't here, I still make fun of his ass when we're just talking amongst ourselves of like, the shots, man.
so that's what you do when I wasn't around those last 2 weeks.
Oh, dude,
There
I
we go.
talk shit about you all the time.
I felt like
No, because you always do this thing where I don't agree with it. Where it's like you do a review and you say like the shots or it was shot well, and I'm like, well, if it's a movie, it should be fucking shot well. Like that's kind of like one of those rules you have to fucking do. And if you're not shot well,
no, you think that, but it's not always true. Not everyone's a great cinematographer. So.
And when they're not, they're like exponentially bad. It's like, how the fuck do you like? If you're a movie maker, you should make it.
Yeah, I'm with Nick here. If I have to notice your cinematography, fuck you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If it's that bad that I notice it, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's and me and we actually got a big old debate about this too in a private call, talking about like the importance of cinematography. And this movie, I will give it this amazing cinematography, like incredible. You know what I mean? But aside from that, your character is mute. You know, she's the girl who, by the way, like, you know, I like how this movie, they do this artistic thing with cinephile loving fucking movies where, I mean, the movie starts off and she's just going through her day, walking around. She's mute there too. You don't know that she's mute yet, but she ain't fucking talking, obviously. And then for some reason we see her masturbate. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then we see her, you know, she's cleaning. Her friend, her black friend's talking a bunch. She's being a sassy black woman. You know, after seeing Black Panther and seeing, you know, lots of other movies that are doing stuff right, why do you have to go back to sassy black woman? I thought we were over that.
I mean,
you know,
if you cast Octavia Spencer, that's what she does. I mean, you know, she's great at it. It's just that's the thing that we've kind of created this mystique that Octavia Spencer is a sassy black woman. I don't disagree. But, yeah.
And that's fine, but it's like the whole movie has like this piano playing and a little bit of a violin, like just slightly subtly in there, and it's really nice, setting the mood. And she's like, I can't believe it. I was walking around, I was like, oh my goodness, you know, and then like I was cleaning that room, and I was like, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. And like the mute fucking chick is just looking at her in a fucking trance, and I'm just like, are you gonna react? And then I'm like, oh, she doesn't talk, she's mute, and I'm like, wait, but that wasn't a good like character point of like discussing like how she's mute. I'm just watching somebody sit there while another person talks their fucking head off. This could have been a normal person just listening to someone ramble for fucking 10 minutes. Like, what the fuck? And, you know, the whole thing is like this boss, Michael Shannon, which, I mean, Al is going to ask you, like, and I meant to ask you during the movie, do you like Michael Shannon as an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's very talented. And I've liked his other work more than in here.
No, in this movie, do you feel like as much?
He was typical. If you've seen Michael Shannon, he was typical Michael Shannon in this. Or you know, he's always yelling and you know, or kind of, you know.
He didn't yell how
No, like in that regard, yeah, he was fine. But I didn't think his character was really all that interesting. Or yeah,
not just not interesting. He is every single freaking movie cliche possible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I saw this in the theater, and I sat next to my friend, and I did like an imaginary checklist where I'm just like, okay, racist, homophobic,
God, so
religious freak. You know,
yeah, so
like
did Nick.
every single moment.
Literally, we had this exact same discussion. You're literally saying words I was saying, where I was like, I hate the fact that this motherfucker went to the villain box and was like, let me get the package for absolute douchebag.
All he was missing was a mustache to twirl.
So, I was going to say today is pretty fucked up because I like the Nintendo product, and these two are getting along over a review of something legitimately hate together.
Yeah, me and Justin are actually agreeing on our hatred for something.
I don't hate this movie, but I think it's overrated. That's the thing about it.
I think it's over. I honestly, like, the thing is Nick hates this movie more than I do, but honestly, me and Nick are on the same level. It pisses me off, this movie, because I love Guillermo del Toro, but I've avoided watching almost, like, a lot of what Guillermo del Toro does, because after Pan's Labyrinth, I don't think he's made anything good. And I want someone to fight me on that, though, because it's like, what has he done since? I think he's actually directed, not just been produced, or he showed up on set once and ate a donut. Like, he's everywhere, but it's like, the stuff he actually directs, it's like, it's starting to kind of bother me where it's like...
You know why?
Why?
Because it's in English. He writes Spanish better than he writes English. He clearly does not know how to create English language characters.
Get someone to translate for him, man.
No, seriously, because that's the thing. It's like, if you notice, he writes English characters as broadly as possible. Hellboy, Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak. Everyone is boiled down to their base, you know, surface level instincts. Pan's Labyrinth, somehow he managed to get complex, nuanced characters who still fit in molds of archetypes, but they had depth and layers to them.
And that's
Here,
a fucking great movie.
Stripped away.
Like the thing is, Nick's gonna bring up all this stuff, and I'm gonna just do the short list too. It's like, I think this main character, it's like, the mute thing is kind of interesting because it makes the flaw with her so she can connect with the monster, because he's flaw from the outside, she's flaw from the inside. That's fine. Besides that, that's it. There's no other development of this girl besides the fact that she wants to save this thing so she can fuck it. That is her entire.
She wants the fish dick.
She literally, which doesn't have one clearly, so I don't know what the fuck her motivation was to literally just get laid. This is just 40-year-old version, but with a woman and a fish monster.
No, and the thing that's weird is, the thing that was fucking pissing me off, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say like I want to see a fish stick, or I don't want to see any like fish lesbian sex, but it's like, okay, she's going through all this shit. She could get killed, and she could lose her job, and she doesn't have nothing. And she's going through all this horrible shit. And then she sees her friend get cut by the fucking fish monster on accident, and her cat's eaten, and all this shit's going on.
She doesn't care.
And she doesn't care. And I'm like, okay, well, then there must be something that she's sexually getting, because, I mean, even in the beginning of the movie, for some reason we had, because it's an art fucking film, these fucking art pieces of shit, we had to see some sexuality that's, like, on the fucking docket. That's so prioritizing these fucking movies. That's why I hate the Oscars. I fucking can't stand it.
I love how quickly they established the nudity in this movie. Like, you think it's going to wait a little bit, tease it? No.
Oh, no.
5 minutes in.
5 minutes. She strips totally nude, and you see every inch of her. I'm just like, well, I've now seen more Sally Hawkins than I've ever needed to see in my life.
I was like, okay, girl, you got yourself a body. Good for you.
What was this movie called again?
Oh, what? The Shape
What was
of
this movie
Water.
called again?
Oh,
Okay, I'll be
God,
back.
no.
No, but the thing is, the thing that frustrates me is, like, you know, the whole movie is based around, like, oh, well, she's mute and she's fucking lonely and she's not attractive. She's fine. I wanted to fuck her as soon as she came on the screen because she's naked.
She's a pretty lady.
Yeah, but she's okay. But in the sense that she's not the conventional attractor like the ScarJo or Megan Fox. She's kind of the bookworm, the whole librarian chick. And even back during those times, even to a certain degree now, it's like people wanted the whole supermodels. You know, the girls that do up their hair, that wear the dresses and all that stuff. She was just the working girl, so it's like it made sense that people just basically like didn't even notice she existed, and she was kind of sick of that. You know?
And it's true that she's not a supermodel, and that's very, very obvious. And I don't mean it to the extreme that she's so attractive that she's that good, but it's like to be like just even in the middle, even like slightly unattractive or homely looking, whatever. Just to be at that point, you better tell me a fucking story as to why I should feel sorry for this woman. Because aside from that, her being mute, you know, like she's still good looking, she's healthy, she has a job. She's, you know, like, what's so fucking bad? Until she started fucking around with shit she shouldn't be fucking around with, Michael Shannon didn't even know if she existed. Her job wasn't even that fucking
but
bad.
that's the entire thing, though. Like, she was tired of that shit because she didn't have a voice. Like, and the thing is, everything that me and Nick are arguing about is literally surface level. That's it, though. It doesn't get any deeper than that, and that's my biggest problem with this. Me and Nick will argue all day about small little bullshit, but at the end of it, it does not go any deeper than you reading the 1 or 2 lines off a Wikipedia page. And that's my biggest problem with this movie. This movie is boring. And everything is surface level. The monster's just a monster, and he likes the first person that didn't fucking put a gun to his head. The villain is a villain because he likes to fuck his wife without her making noise. The best friend is literally only helping her out just because she's there. The guy that's dealing with her, is his only job there is to make sure that she can actually speak to the audience because most people don't know how to read sign. There is nothing else besides random people that are needed for the plot to continue.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, too, the end. I gotta bring that up. The shooting thing, you know, we talk about this where we hate when people come back to life in comic movies, but this is an art film, and sometimes art films at least do that part okay, where it doesn't feel comic booky and fucking silly at the end. Nope, they shoot the motherfucker. He has vibranium. What the fuck?
The bullet went through him. He just was able to heal because of.
No, the motherfucker started glowing different colors, man, and then fucking grabs her and goes in the goddamn.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was ridiculous with like the ending, but I actually found it the least outlandish that he was able to heal from a bullet wound because they established that he's looked at as some kind of god in the Amazon. So I'm not surprised. He has magical powers. He's able to heal. Like he was able to, because they established early on in the movie that he was able to heal Sally Hawkins' friend when he had a deep gash to his arm. Mm-hmm. So, Ganja, why were you raising your hands like a?
Because I have a question for Julian. He says this movie is an allegory for LGBT relationships. Does he not know that we saw that issue? We're kind of solving that issue a little bit. Like we don't need fish people allegory. You could just do LGBT movies.
Yeah.
Well, like, the thing is, he means.
I think he means the friend, not actually
Richard Jenkins.
Hawkins. Yeah, Richard Jenkins.
Literally that scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm cutting off.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that guy is literally there for 5 seconds. You could edit that out of the movie and it changes nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's kind of just like a cliche thing people will say because there's an aspect within the film. I haven't seen it. This is just what I'm getting from all you guys talking about and people giving me in the chat and what I'm looking from the Wikipedia page right now. It seems like that's kind of not shoehorned in there. It's just like, hey, it's in there. Like, if you want to really have a conversation about LGBT, just actually do a movie about LGBT. Right.
Yeah, no, seriously. That's the thing is that he's only there to support Sally Hawkins, and I think he's.
We don't have to do allegories. That's my point.
I really like Richard Jenkins in this movie, but that's the problem is that the stuff they talk about with him being gay in the movie, that's one not terribly important to the plot. Mm-hmm. Two, resolved way too quickly. Like after the movie, that's not a factor anymore. Like he's just there to be the friend. He's not gay. Like, it doesn't matter if he's gay or not. He's just the best friend character. And they did it in such the goofiest way, where the guy who he's pining for. You know, he finally decides to actually hit on him officially, like oh, we should start dating more. The guy not only rejects him, but he immediately that second turns around, sees a black couple, and goes, "Oh, and you guys can't sit in my restaurant because you're black." And it's like,
you could have edited that entire scene out, and it wouldn't have changed the movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, hey, we got to use this. Like, hey, we got to take an opportunity. We're doing LGBT. We're black too because 2018, y'all. Like,
And the thing is about this, what bothers me more than anything, and I hate that really people are looking this in any deeper than it is literally with the last discussion we have where people are looking for Jesus in a piece of toast.
Yep.
This movie is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It is literally a Disney movie with tits and gore. Because
Yep.
what it is, it's a woman, it's a girl that's not really looked at by society as attractive or anything, falls in love with a monster because she can see the beauty underneath that nobody else can see, and then they escape and run away together. It's literally a Disney movie. Or Casablanca. It ends like Casablanca.
Yeah, or Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's another one.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking
Also, I
ridiculous.
totally called that twist when I saw the gashes on her neck. I'm like,
Yep.
I bet you that's what's going to be the ending. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
She's
So,
still dead, by the way. There's no way that her body would be able to actually do the process.
magic.
Actually,
Magic.
shut the fuck up.
The
The
Force.
Force.
No, seriously, that's
Oh
all
my
it
God,
is.
we did the same shit.
Woohoo, you got gills. Now you can drown faster.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
biggest thing too that bothers me about the movie too, as far as like just okay, like let's just take away all the shit that we're complaining about and everything. Like just what about the movie and the story it was trying to tell? Don't think above this, whatever the fuck. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, why the fuck did the director? Because now I'm gonna talk about the director. I don't even know who the fuck directed this. And fuck
Guillermo
him.
del
Guillermo
Toro.
del Toro.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys said that. Well, hey, fuck him. Because one thing that pisses me off about him. Okay, so anybody in here, did you guys have action figures that you used to like hold and do little stories with when you were a kid?
All the
Yeah,
time.
everyone did, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I did the opening to Resident Evil 2 so many times with my Army Man.
Okay, yeah, but see, here's the thing. When you do that, you can only hold 2 action figures at a time. You can only have 2 hands, correct? Yeah, so
Yeah.
sometimes the other characters are just chilling while you're doing your fucking little movie, and it's like, okay, this guy fell. Let me go get the other guy now. Oh, yeah, here you go. And they're doing their thing. Tell me why.
Pretty much Toy Story.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, like I wish I had a bunch of hands so I could do a Toy Story and have Buzz and Woody and then the chick waiting at the blocks and the whole fucking thing. But the thing is, with this, I felt like there was a director's hands just moving 2 characters at a fucking time. Like, there's situations that don't make no fucking sense to me. Like, for instance, when the creature and the girl, for some reason, they go into this fucking musical, man, and it pisses me off because they're sitting down at a chair. The friend, the gay friend, nowhere to be fucking found, not in the fucking room, and he was there because he just went into that fucking room right before that. They just get into this weird thing where this mute chick starts singing her heart out in this musical. Doesn't make any sense, and then it goes back to normal, and that's it.
It's a fantasy sequence. It was meant to be a representation of her thoughts and feelings. And I get that artistically, it was jarring where it came out of nowhere.
I was about to
I
say,
tuned out at that point,
how was
man.
the transition? Was it something like what they did with The Last Jedi? We're like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
No, it was literally like this. And
Oh,
then the
shit.
scene happens.
Yep,
Like,
exactly.
it's loud
Yeah,
of a
I
funky
remember
go.
watching this in the theater, and I was like, oh, can she talk now? Oh, is she learning to talk? Like, you know, like, because I figured, okay, the fish man has these healing powers. Maybe he's causing her to, like, get her voice back. I'm like, okay, this is something different. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, and then she goes on the stage in this beautiful dress. And I'm
And
like,
then her and the
I'm like looking
creature
around,
start
like,
dancing.
y'all see this? What?
No, clearly, Guillermo del Toro saw La La Land right before he started shooting.
Yes.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing.
That's why the Oscars love this movie, is because it's another homage to old Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it was like the
Well,
movie
they
wanted to
reference
be
like
a
old
silly
movies
version.
throughout.
Yes, all throughout it. It would have like
Yeah.
a little bit of tap dancing going on.
But
Yeah.
the thing is too is like when you see that, like I just watched Greatest Showman like 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and when I watched Greatest Showman, when they like had like a piece of dialogue and there's like a story going on, and then it slowly turns into a musical, it fit. It was like, oh,
Hold on,
this-
you watched The Greatest Showman?
Yeah, I actually went to the movie
You actually
theater and
liked
watched
it, which is weird.
Yeah, and I loved
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
that's
it was
weird.
awesome.
You went to the theaters to
Wow.
watch that movie out of everything. That's funny.
But the thing is,
We don't
went-
care.
I respect you a lot more, Nick. I'm
No, yeah, definitely.
But when you go to, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're saying nice shit.
So this is what it feels like to get a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. It feels gross. But the thing is, with Greatest Showman, though, like what they did is the lights would slowly dim, and then what they're wearing, what they're doing, it flows into what they're about to do, and it turns into the musical that would be catapulted from the scene. In this, for some reason, she starts wearing a dress like Ali said, and the fucking creature dude starts dancing in a silly ass fucking dancing way, and like when it comes back to normal, dude, I swear to God, just like that. Like I swear to God.
It makes
Okay,
no
not
sense.
like that. They're like on the walls. Okay.
It's a Beauty and the Beast.
It
Yeah.
cuts. It's Beauty and the Beast, like exactly that. Like when I said when I said a Disney movie, I meant on the likes of the Notre Dame, Ganja said Shrek, and Beauty and the Beast. It's that exact same thing. It's the thing is, like you said, it doesn't lead into it. It literally goes from the regular movie. Oh shit! This just cut to a completely different movie. Me and Nick at the same time said we're fucking done. at the same time. We never agree on anything, but we're both like, we're fucking out of here. And it's like, I really hate that some people in the chat are saying that, oh, you got to look deeper into this. It's all surface level. There's no deeper meaning to this. It is literally every single thing you see. Oh, she's dancing because she's in love. That's it. There's no deeper meaning to that.
And it does some shit too, where it does that
no matter how deep you look into an asshole, there's still shit in there, gentlemen.
No, but the thing is, there's even situations too. And I'm sorry, like I'm legit mad. Like, I would be laughing and joking and shit, but I'm still fucking mad because
I'm trying to save you from going on a rant.
No, because I'm really irritated because even that cinephile shit, and it's like I look at Justin and I see him smile and it fucking grosses me out. I want to kick his ass because no, I'm just playing. I love you. But the thing is like we get into situations where this is fucking being loved by Hollywood and the Oscars because they have this special scene, not only the nakedness and the sexuality of some fucking ugly chick, which she's not ugly by the way, so bad job at that, you fucking idiots. But on top of it, they had the lizard for some reason. Please explain to me why they just so happen to live above a movie theater. Oh, the cinema.
Because movie.
God, yeah, let's eat popcorn with our fucking pinkies up, ladies and gentlemen. You fucking assholes.
It literally applies nothing to the movie.
No. As somebody who hasn't seen it, the best way to piss Nick off if the ending was they escape and they climb up the bunker or something. I don't know how the movie is, but I hope it's a bunker. They climb out, and as they open the hatch, it's the Hollywood sign underneath them.
No,
that is well have happened at that point.
That would have happened if the movie went on another minute.
If you can believe that the ending's actually worse. The ending is so stupid. We just said fuck it. Thank God it's over. I can't wait to see her in the Avengers.
It just stops. It just stopped at the end. We're just
it makes no sense.
This big escape sequence and it's over.
Yeah, let's talk about and oh my God, there's so much dumb shit in this movie. Like them breaking out of that place. They have the worst security in the world. They have 2 people that don't do their jobs and they're cleaners and for some reason are high security belt. 1 security guard that is taken down by maids.
Oh, I'm so glad. I can't wait. Because that's the thing I was referring to with the action figures. But before we get into that, I just wanted to let you know that the lizard goes into the movie theater to watch the movie. I'm not joking. He literally goes and watches the fucking movie. And yet no one sees the lizard. And that's the thing. And just what Alan said,
there were only like 3 people in the theater at any given time in the movie.
There's also only 3 people in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
But the thing that's frustrating,
in Baltimore.
But 3 people have Pee Wee Herman jacking off.
No, but the thing is, that's what goes to my whole fucking thing of I hate when I said earlier about the action figures thing because they can't write more than 3 characters at a time. That lizard walks by. There's people. The movie theater's still open. There's a person literally at the fucking window, but they had to make the person asleep. Who sleeps in the front of a fucking movie theater thing? I know you're gonna say, well, there's no people in town, so there's no work to do. No, because then there's 3 people inside the movie theater. They didn't see the fucking lizard. Those people that Alan's talking about with the maids grabbing the fucking guy. For one, there's only 2 maids grabbing the 1 guy. There's no other shit going on. This is a working place. There's tons of shit going on and tons of crazy experiments and shit, but yet only 3 people are moving or doing something at a time. It's fucking insane. Every time Michael Shannon... Oh, what are you saying?
Just reiterate that they're in Baltimore, which is a pretty populated city.
Oh, okay. I want to say,
even in that time period.
Even in that time period, very close to DC, so a lot of people were living there to keep costs down. Just saying.
Yeah.
I would say the scene that bothered me the most was the fact that somehow they can flood an entire apartment and there's like barely any damage to anyone else's.
Yeah.
Oh no, they clearly got Del Toro watch Paddington, the first one. It's the exact same gag. It's literally the exact same gag of filling the bathroom up. And I was thinking in my head, like, oh, you could do it up to a certain level, maybe midway, because how floor works and how stuff with that, how the wall works. They literally go to the top. I'm like, come on, man, yeah, that's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
Oh god, it was ridiculous.
And
I get it. It's a fantasy. It's supposed to be a fantasy where things are not taken to be seriously, but it just wasn't enough. For me.
But without the fantasy part, and it's not supposed to be taken seriously. Well, okay, it's not a fucking comedy, and they played that fucking boo-hoo violin throughout the whole fucking thing.
It's rarely funny. That's the thing too. It's like it's only got a jokes that work. It's rarely ever funny.
Yeah, but there needs to be a choice. Like you're gonna do this dramatic fucking film that everything is in slow motion, etc., and it's not a comedy. So you should take it seriously. Because there's no other option. You've ruled out every other genre not being what this film is. And that's the thing that drives me fucking nuts.
I get what you're getting at. This movie does it poorly, but I disagree where it's like, just because you're doing a drama doesn't mean you can't have bits of comedy in there as long as it fits right for the movie. That I'll disagree with you on the concept of it, but this movie does it terribly, and it's like, it does it terribly and does it to the extent where it makes no sense of what's supposed to be a joke and what's not supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, for me, look, I know I said not a fuck it because of that design. I'm sorry. It's like a high fuck it. I'm sorry. I cannot give this anything than the fuck it because as I'm talking about it, I'm literally getting pissed off. I'm not joking. I fucking hate this movie, and I kind of hate anybody who fucking likes it. Like there is one person that does like it, and you know who you are in the chat, and you're awesome. But god damn it, like you also want the
You can say his name. Everyone knows who we're talking about.
Okay, Nick. I'm sorry. I actually think this is a bite. I'm sorry.
No, but there is one person who also likes fucking Handmaiden, and I don't get it. Why you think like that sometimes, you person in the chat. But yeah, man, I fucking hate this movie. I mean, I fucking despise this fucking movie.
My thing is like, Julian right now is defending it hard on the aspect of old Hollywood. My thing is like, yeah, old Hollywood. So what? It's all based on nostalgia factor. Yeah, you can do everything. There's no real point to it. Like you can do that in everything. I'm a huge, like Allie knows, I'm a huge fucking history buff. So I like watching things that are projected and back in time. That's not what I want out of a film. Just because you could do a good setup, I'm not gonna go, oh my god, the Industrial Revolution. Like I just saw the young Karl Marx movie, and it was basically based around the old Victorian age. And I wasn't just giving the movie a pass because it was that. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna give it a pass because I'm a biased motherfucker. I'll review it later. But besides that, I'm gonna let you know if that movie sucks. If it's one way or another. Just don't give movies a pass because it's touching your nostalgia border or a certain time period you have a fondness over.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, my sentiments exactly. Allie, what would you rate the movie? I know I was hyperbolic, but go ahead.
The thing is, the difference is between La La Land and The Shape of Water is that La La Land is about, struggling actors and musicians in Hollywood. Yeah. So it makes sense that they would have elements of old Hollywood, or they would have like musical sequences that's reminiscent of old Hollywood because it's in Hollywood and it's about actors. This movie has nothing to do with Hollywood. It's just like, I guess the only thing is that it's, Guillermo del Toro is definitely inspired by Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh, 100%.
So that is really the only connection. And he just thought, oh, what if I had a woman who fell in love with him? Like, okay. Like,
I know, she's not being racist. That's his voice.
That's his voice. You know what? I have to say, I've been on this kick of watching, like, Hollywood roundtables of like producers, directors, actors, everyone. And when they had the directors roundtable and they had Guillermo del Toro there, I was just like, oh my god, he's just so cute. Like, it's weird to say, but he was just like, I like the way he talks and just like his mind. Like you can tell he's very creative. Like, and no doubt.
Yeah.
Like visually, he's amazing. I've always thought his films looked amazing. He's always had interesting premises. It's just he never follows through with substance, and development for characters. That's the problem I had. Like when I watched Crimson Peak, I've always wanted to watch that movie because I love Tom Hiddleston, and I just love like the atmosphere of it. But then you watch the movie and it starts out good, and then all of a sudden it just loses it, and it just becomes a typical film that like has ghosts in it for no reason, but just because. Oh, look at all these designs I made of ghosts. Isn't it great? I got to show this to everyone. And you're like, okay. and yeah, Shape of Water is, I would say, his most sound project, I think, in a couple of years. Like, it feels, for the most part, except for, like, the random Hollywood, homages, felt pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But even then, yeah, there's just, I appreciate the effort. Like, cinematography is beautiful. Set design is beautiful. The costume design is beautiful. Sally Hawkins is amazing in this. Mm-hmm. Richard Jenkins is great. Octavia Spencer is great. Even Michael Shannon. I like him as an actor, so he's all right.
No, I agree.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it's just I really was expecting so much more. Like Shape of Water was one of my most anticipated movies when I first saw a trailer for it. I was like, wow, this is so weird, and it really interests me. I really want to see where he's going to go. And it just felt like there are so many opportunities to make this much more different and to explain more about where this creature came from, or like just even to spend a little bit more time with the main characters, just so I would believe that this woman would fall in love with this creature, because I didn't really believe that. I didn't feel like they had enough time to really develop that type of relationship. It felt a little bit like it was going too fast. Mm-hmm. And yeah, villain, literally paper villain, like what you would expect a villain, to be in a movie. No substance whatsoever. So Yeah.
Ah, Chris Brown. I'm sorry, Ali. I'm sorry, Chris Brown. You sneaky motherfucker.
At this point, yeah, I don't, man. Let her fucking win. It seems like based on our reviews, it's the most coherent fucking one.
No.
Yeah,
No, I have personally for me. Y'all know how I feel about Call Me by Your Name. I know y'all hate it, but I definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, Shape of Water. Technically, it looks amazing. And the acting is great in it, and it has a very unique and interesting premise. But I just feel like it fell short on actually delivering. I don't understand why this is up for best. Is it original screenplay or adapted?
Original, yeah.
Original, right? Because it's not adapted for anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is up for screenplay. I most likely Del Toro is going to win for best director, and
over Chris Nolan, I will fucking punch him in the face.
Look, Chris Nolan shouldn't win either, but neither should Del Toro.
Yeah, but
I was so surprised when he won a Golden Globe. Like when we were watching, I was literally like, "What? Why?" And then I thought about, it, I'm like, well, I guess like creatively, sure, but still, honestly, I think this is his best shot of winning. I don't think he really did. I hate to say he doesn't deserve it because like
he doesn't deserve it for this one. He has a good filmography, like whatever he has, but I don't think it's his best project he's done. So yeah, this is a stream it. I feel like I almost want to say if you're really into film, you may appreciate some aspects or look at it from a more technical aspect and be like, wow, this is really great. I need to take notes. So I would say, yeah, it's worth renting. It's definitely not worth buying. So yeah, that's what I would say. Just like stream it.
Okay.
Before you guys go to real quick, I want to respond to Julian. He says best picture because it's a movie about human rights. Man, if the best picture is about what message you're presenting, then just call it the political award ceremony. Like that's not what this is about, sir.
Which is kind of becoming
what the best film is. You know, I guess I'll lead that into my final thoughts of this. It's one of those things of I really hate when people look too deep into the movies. I think that a lot of what it is I hate that thing of you don't get it. It's like it's not there. What you're seeing is not there. You can film a wall for 2.5 hours and tell me that's fucking art. I'll punch you in the face for making me watch a wall for 2 fucking hours. This movie doesn't have the subtlety there. If the subtlety is there, it is you making it up or the director wanting you to look more into it. This movie is a Disney movie. It is right then in that the classic fairy tale, the classic story of a woman falling in love with a beast because she sees underneath where no one else sees her. It's all surface level. You can sum up the plot of this in half a sentence and still have plenty left over to be bored with an exhale. Yeah. There's nothing to this movie. There's nothing to the characters. There's nothing to anything that's going on. Everyone in there is placed strategically as they need to. This feels like a pilot for a television show. That's how kind of empty it feels, where I felt at the end of it, it's like tune in next week while we figure out why she can breathe underwater.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's nothing to this. I'm not angry though. I'm bored, just because I'm really fucking bored. I'm glad Ali brought up La La Land because La La Land at least was fun. I'm not a huge fan of that movie, but I don't hate it because I had fun with it. It was an old Hollywood thing, right to the T. I literally might as well have said old Hollywood in the movie. But I at least had fun with it. It was like a roller coaster. It wasn't particularly deep, but it was a fun ride. This is just boring. And to me, that is the worst thing that could come in a movie, is being boring. So I'm just going to give it an avoid it because I honestly keep forgetting I watch it. As I'm speaking right now, I'm like, did I actually watch this movie? It is so out of my head, I don't feel like I watched this movie.
Yeah, and Justin, really quick, go ahead and give your rating really quick, bro. What's up?
I know. Okay. So I disagree with Julian quite a bit with the things he's been saying in the chat because I kind of side on you guys been saying. All it is very basic level storytelling with a high production value. And to be fair, it objectively speaking, in terms of craft and skill and acting performances, it's very well done. It's great actors. It's great production design. It's great cinematography. It's great costumes. It's got all these great qualities to it. Its biggest sin is that its script is so basic and so underwhelming. It sells a lot on things that are arty, but they're not substantiated in the background. Like Julian tried to, he tried to highlight Moonlight as a counterpoint, where it's like,
oh, okay, that's why Ruthless is getting mad. I thought he was yelling at me.
But that was the thing. Where it's like Moonlight, yes, it's very arty, it's very big about human rights stuff, but it wasn't because it was about human rights why it won. It's because it was a very well done and well crafted movie, and it had great dialogue, it had great character development. This one, it's just is exactly what you get. You know, the characters are exactly what they are, and freaking again, Michael Shannon being the ultimate villain of villains. Again, it did bug me.
by numbers as villain, dude. Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
I would get the evil creature and I will destroy the moment.
That pretty much.
He should have had his mustache from Nocturnal Animals. That would have been more suited for this.
I'll say this: this movie had a shootout in it. It was one more shootout than I ever expected to be in this movie. But the movie did have bullets.
Yeah, no, this was actually surprisingly bloody in points too. Like it's got some gory.
This movie could be PG-13 if you cut out the cat scene. If you cut out the goriness of the cat scene and
the fact that we need to see her masturbate.
No,
because that was so important.
I mean her naked. You could have cut that. You could have cut both of them.
The sex stuff was way too. Yeah, there was no way you're gonna get a PG-13 rating with this movie.
They didn't really have sex. They just kind of rubbed up next to each other naked.
Well, you see everything. Like when Ganja, when I say that you see everything on her, you see every inch of this
frontal.
They already made the movie of this, honestly. It's not worth it. She's not.
But yeah, so I'm gonna say it's a stream it. Just on a purely objective level, it is a well-crafted movie. But when I saw it, you know, I kind of felt like Ali and some other people were. I'm just like, you know, I expected a lot more from this from the trailers. It looked promising, and it just kind of just came and went. And honestly, you know, I feel that Three Billboards is way going to win Best Picture this year, and it deserves it over anything else that's nominated, including this movie. This movie, Martin McDonagh should have been nominated for Best Director over Guillermo del Toro. He did a much better job making a coherent narrative than Guillermo del Toro did.
Yeah, but Guillermo del Toro, he has legacy.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. The reason he's going to get is because everyone loves Guillermo del Toro because he's Guillermo del Toro. He's been around for so long. He deserves it, kind of thing.
Damn, she's milfy. Anyways, guess I'm back.
No, she's not. She looks like she's 30.
No, but really quick, and this will be the last one. I'll make this really, really fast because this is actually dedicated to somebody in the chat. Shut the fuck. Oh,
man,
Julian.
I wish I knew what you guys said about Phantom Thread. I'm really curious what you thought about that.
Oh,
Lord.
man. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, we haven't watched that yet.
Because
wait, Ali,
Oh.
Ali, I didn't know you were in the movie Annihilation.
No,
trust me. If you guys watch Phantom Thread, I want to watch it with you.
Apparently, Peter Parker in the chat said, I guess you look like Natalie Portman in Annihilation.
Do I look like Natalie Portman? I will take it. She's my favorite actress.
but no. So the thing I gotta bring up really quick. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to be cool, trying to be nice. All right. So this type of show over here, this artsy, fucking fartsy bullshit with cinephiles, and I know I just went off on a big fucking rant about this, right? The thing is, I'm really curious as to why people are still confused and so fucking shocked when a celebrity from fucking Hollywood is a pedophile or some kind of dude who shows his dick to a bunch of fucking women or whatever the fuck, because it seems like every time the Oscars come up and there's some weird fucking sex freak fucking movie that comes out, like Call Me By Your Name and fucking all this shit. And I gotta tell you, like, this movie, granted, there's not a lot of sex scenes, like you said earlier, Justin. You know, they just basically rubbed up against each other and things like that. But the whole thing is about this weird romance, and we have to see her masturbate. We have to see her do this. We have to see her do that. And I fucking hate that shit. Now, the thing is, that's not the huge plot of this fucking film that I'm about to bring up right now. But the thing that I've noticed with these movies, and then just people getting so mad about certain things, in the chat right now, when we were just talking about this movie, Julian says a lot of things to Alan, saying like, you didn't get it, bro. You just didn't see it. You just didn't, you know, the lines in the trailer, man. You didn't fucking understand. A few weeks ago, when I first took my break and then I came back home, Julian's messaged me on Facebook. Dude, good time. It's fucking amazing, bro. Made me cry. It was fucking beautiful, okay? This movie with the retarded fucking, you know, bank robber dude. You know, this made him cry. So, fucking, you know, Julian likes to cry movies. I get that. It's cool. I enjoy movies a lot.
No, I love Good Time too. So screw you if you don't like that movie.
No, and the thing is, like, I mean, I'll give you my rating right now. Stream it. You know, like, I think it's right in the middle. I think it's all right. But the thing that drives me up the fucking wall with this is right away, I'm like, you know, he's like, dude, you gotta message me right after you watch it, man. You gotta, like, blah, blah. And I was actually excited. I was like, oh, wait, me and Julian are gonna talk about this. If it's cool, me and him are gonna high five each other. I'm not gonna think about what Julian's gonna say before I fucking see it. You know, I'll message him and give him, you know, a shot. You know, the first thing that happens, I'm like, hey, man, so it was kind of average for me. I mean, there was a couple things I liked, but it was all right. It was pretty cool. Dude, you didn't get it. And I was like, okay, now I'm pissed off. Because this movie has a fucking terrible fucking ending. And by the way, Allie, did you watch this movie too?
I did.
Okay, and Alan, did you watch this movie?
Oh, fuck no. I refuse to watch anything by Robert Pattinson, so.
Dude,
Okay.
no, honestly, this is the best thing he's ever done acting. Actually,
That's
it's
not a
performance.
fucking statement, dude.
No, but that's also saying he's really good. Like,
He's very
not just
good.
that he's better. It's a good, legitimate performance. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm over here refresh again, guys. Basically, I think what's happening is, I tried refreshing. I had 2 trailers. I had The Shape of Water up, and then I had Good Time up. So I just took one down. Hopefully that works. And also,
good times every time you make a payment. Good times every time you pay a bill. Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good times.
He has been waiting all day for that.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for that.
God damn it.
Ganja has
All day.
superhuman patience.
Especially
Only for stupid shit though.
Yeah, but sorry about that with everything lagging, everybody. I gotta get new internet like next week.
Yeah, the old one he's had has holes in it, so.
Yeah, fuck you.
Everyone's looking for a hole. So
No, oh my god. So this movie starts off right away of doing this weird little thing where the mentally challenged dude is in this office with the therapist, and he's like telling them this really boring ass shit like, so what does the birds and the bees mean to you? And he doesn't actually say that. He says other phrases, and the guy answers him, and because if you've seen movies, you'll know you don't have to pay an extra amount of attention. General storytelling, that this is going to make sense at the end of the film. It's a sandwich film. You know what I mean? It kind of does, because some of the things he's saying has to do with what he's about to go through with his brother and things like that, and all the crazy shit that happens with them. At least I feel that way. I mean, Allie, do you feel like you wrap yourself out that way, or?
Not really. I saw it as more of like it was a test to see where he was at mentally, because they're seeing what his level was, because his brother is a little bit, he's more challenged. So that was mainly what the test was about, and Robert Pattinson was like, no, you don't need this. Like, come with me, bro.
Oh, yeah, no. And I know that's what it was, but just as a filmmaking standpoint, I felt like in the movie, there's a purpose behind it, like what you said. I 100%
foreshadowing.
Yeah, there you go, foreshadowing. That's the word I'm looking for.
But that's the thing, too, is that I don't feel this movie was meant to be that type of movie, that it's a stream of consciousness film, because you can say that everything is linked in the sense that this causes this, but nothing ties back. It's just a thing of a series of events like dominoes knocking forward kind of thing. That's what I mean. Why I wasn't expecting that, because at some point I realized, it's just going in a straight line. There's no circular motion to the story.
Exactly, yeah. And, that's cool. I knew what was going to be happening. And, when the inevitable happens, it happens in the trailer, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything. But, yeah, he gets caught. I mean, they show him over here. He fucking, ends up, him and his brother rob a place, and then they had to hide the money, because obviously when you get a mentally challenged guy to help you rob a fucking place, you're probably going to fuck up at some point. So that basically happens, and the whole movie is about Robert Pattinson's character trying to get his little brother out of jail. So he goes through all this crazy shit, making even dumber fucking, mistakes to get him out. And it's just him constantly fucking up throughout the entire movie. And it's funny, and it's cool, and I don't mind it. Tell me why I'm missing something that I didn't cry at the end of the fucking movie. Like,
you're not supposed to. No,
Yeah.
I agree. Robert Pattinson is a complete a-hole in this movie.
Yeah.
He is irredeemable. So you should feel sorry for him. Not at all. If Julian says that you're supposed to feel that way, I totally disagree too. So.
Yeah, and he doesn't mean it that way. He just means like the beauty in his character evolving, right? And the thing is,
he doesn't evolve.
They do so much.
A moron the entire
Did he fuck
time.
a fish at some point?
Yeah, wait, what happened?
Did he fuck a fish at some point?
No, but you know what he does fuck? An underage girl. Or tries to fuck.
No, but he did. He pretty much stuck his dick in the dirt for a lot of this movie. So
Yeah, but that's the thing. And that's what I was going towards with the whole Shape of Water thing. Because as soon as that moment happened, I was like, wow, I know what's going to happen at the end. It's going to be a fucking art film with a shitty ending. Because, for one, it's A24. God, I love A24 so much. They're so fucking crap. But the thing is, I swear to God, I hope that company fucking fails and they lose money and everyone starves.
I don't know. Every movie they make is a massive success, so that ain't happening anytime
Yeah, that ain't happening anytime soon. I know. It's fucking... Really bad things end up doing very well in this country. Donald Trump. But anyways, the thing that drives me up the fucking wall about this movie too, though, man, is just the fact that, like, when that happens, and yeah, the thing I was referring to is basically this guy gets in really awful situations, and he somehow, makes it out of them okay. To the point where some random person lets him stay in their fucking house with, obviously he's shady as fuck, and the girl that lets him stay there, an old lady, has this daughter who's 16 fucking years old. And
granddaughter.
It's a granddaughter.
Oh, granddaughter, yeah. And the thing is that
Ooh,
drove me
jailbait.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so shitty because this movie became predictable at that point. I was actually kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen? And as soon as that point happened, I was like, okay, this is where you give up. They're sitting down watching Cops. By the way, I've been saying this a lot about movies too. What's up with lazy fucking filmmaking where we always have to watch somebody fucking eat and hang out and chill? They have a meal on the couch eating popcorn and just chilling, and he's like dyeing his fucking hair, and they're just watching TV. I can watch Spike TV. Like,
it's slice of life storytelling. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't make that bad or good. I'm just saying there was a purpose for that, to showing, like, winding down the attention that had been ratcheting up to that point, and then going to the twist when you find out where, you know, the guy who he thought was his brother, they rescued in the hospital. That was the calm right before the, you know, bad stuff starts happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. I mean, and that was a funny scene after that. But this little girl does not know this dude. I mean, obviously he's stealing shit from their kitchen sink, etc. And yet, because they're watching Cops together, because, man, seeing criminals get fucking arrested, that shit's sexy. It turns me on, too. I get really fucking hard while I'm watching Cops.
Wait,
you stupid
fucking
no.
Yeah, that's not what
Hold on. Okay, what happens is he didn't want to go there, but what happened was the news showed, they were watching the news, and they had a wanted for, and it had his face, and they were like, hey, he took someone from this hospital. If you know anything, like, let us know. So in order for the girl not to see that, you know, for, you know, to distract her, so he would, you know, she wouldn't see that he was wanted by the police, he's like, okay, let me just kiss her. And yeah, it got a little bit too crazy, I will admit that. And I was like, oh no, are they gonna go there? I don't know. Oh okay, they went there. But I did understand why he did it. He did it to distract her so that she wouldn't see and, you know, freak out.
And I get that to an extent too, and that's understandable. But, like, he didn't change the channel. He could have easily done that. He could have just gotten away. Could have did something.
But that would have made it more suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean, he was obviously playing on a girl who was easily susceptible, kind of thing. You know, that she was living in a kind of a crappy environment. She was, you know, very, you know, kind of callous and careless kind of thing. And, you know, I mean, this hot guy who just strolled into her house, you know, some people, you know, not all people see it as stranger danger, unfortunately, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I get that. I mean, I understand when you go into little things like that. But the thing is like, I can't grasp my fucking head around that this is like the fucking, fourth movie in a row that I've seen in the last 4 months that has to do with some kind of underage sex thing. And it's, what do you know, A24, and what do you know, it's fucking trying to get itself, I mean, it's not going to get any Oscar, it didn't even get any Oscar nominations, but it tried.
No.
And there's so many art people that talk about this fucking film. Corey Coleman being one of them, Julian Himmeldinger being another one, you know, and I'm so sick of these fucking movies, because as soon as that happened, I was like, I bet this movie's gonna end with a death, obviously, because this movie has to end that way, and I guarantee you that I'm not gonna actually see it fucking happen, and you know, it's not gonna be a real ending. And what do you fucking know? No real ending, and it ends off just like Call Me by Your Name, where they do this fucking thing at the mental institution where the kids, like, you know, they're doing these little games of like, hey, if you like this, move to the other side of the wall, and the credits are rolling as he's running back and forth, just like Call Me by Your Name, where the kid's crying, and a fucking screensaver credit scene. Like, again, with these art movies. Like, the same thing. It's literally a template, for fuck's sake. And I
Life doesn't end.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, Allie, I know you're smiling, but like, please. I mean, I'm not crazy. I mean, come on.
Well.
Yeah.
That's no, man. I'm sorry. I enjoyed this movie.
I mean, I did too, except for those things. You know, it's just the overhypedness.
There are just some things in movies that you just personally don't like. It doesn't bother me as much. But you know, to each his own. I don't know what to tell you.
You know, and I don't even hate the movie. It's actually, like I said, to stream it. I actually like the movie. But it's like, at the end, nothing happens. Like, literally, we're building up this character. It's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna give me some shit. And he did his hand thing. Did the Roman Reigns, like I'm gonna shoot him. And I was like, oh, cool. He's a wrestling fan. That's awesome. And, you know, he fucking leaves. And all this shit's happening. And then it's like, the movie just ends, like, literally a minute after that. Like, that's the.
But that's kind of why I like that ending, is that everything that guy did was for naught. Like, literally every single thing that Robert Pattinson does screwed over people's lives, caused chaos, and it ended up failing spectacularly.
Yes, I'm sorry, but that's why it was so funny. Like, he did all this stuff.
No,
he did all this stuff.
Alan, you never feel sorry for him. He deserves it completely by the end of the movie.
No, he's a douche.
Oh, it's that, like, if I'm saying through it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I won't say you hate him, But you definitely, like, you're not really on board. You're like, man, when are you going to get caught? That's what you're thinking the whole movie. Like, when are you going to get caught? Oh, you're lucky to get out of that situation. I don't know how you managed to, like, get out of that situation, but you did. But you're going to get caught. I'm telling you, dude. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're just waiting for it to happen. Yeah. And when it happens, you're like, yup. And that's it. Which is, like, a very realistic, in a way. It's a very realistic take on a dumbass convict, like a small time crook, who's not smart or or anything like. He thinks he's more smart than he really is, and it's like when he doesn't really have a plan. Like, of course he's gonna get caught. Like, what else is gonna happen? So it's like, I found the ending very fun. Like, I'm glad it actually happened. I love when movies actually follow through, when they don't do some weird thing that's like somehow he got away. Like, no, it's realistic. He would have gotten caught because he's stupid. So
with the brother, the fact that he was going through those therapy sessions is the fact that his life is going to get better without his stupid brother ruining his the whole time. That's the whole point of the ending, is that, now he's actually getting the help he gets instead of trying to rob banks and go to jail. That was really the big point of that ending. But I also got to say, too, poor Barkhad Abdi in this movie. He gets screwed over so hard that once.
Oh, yeah, he does. I mean, the main thing here is, like, it's not that I hate the fucking movie, right? It's just, I'm sick of bad endings of films. Florida Project, like, literally, you talk about crying, and I'm making fun of Julian for fucking crying about shit.
That's a beautiful ending, just watching you react to it.
But it's just, like, it hurts because these movies are ruined by these endings sometimes. And, like, Good Time was okay, and then that happens, and I'm not going to play, like, fucking Be the Booker here and be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I would have done, because no one gives a shit. I mean, you guys seem kind of happy with the ending, so, I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. But if I don't like it, I don't think I should be wrong. I don't think I fucking missed something. I just didn't like the shit. You know what I mean? Like, it really is that simple. Sometimes you just don't like things. And as far as evolving the character, I don't know how it's evolved. Even in the chat right now, Julian's saying, dude, the character's fucking evolved. No, he's a dumbass in the beginning, and he's a dumbass in the end. That's the beauty of it. You talk about beauty, like, dumbass. Yeah, no, but it's just like he's a caught dumbass. That's the only difference. The only thing, and then he dyed his hair for a stupid reason, and that was funny. The movie's almost a comedy. Well, and that's what it should be viewed as.
The dyeing the hair was to help him to be less easily detected in the public. So.
Yeah, so it's just like when someone tells me, and that's why I like, and I'm not saying like, hey, don't give me recommendations, but it's like when people hype shit to me and say I'm supposed to feel this particular way, like, okay, that's worse than me seeing a trailer before I watch a movie, because now I know the genre of film, I should be able to feel it. What Julian told me what this was is so not what the fuck it is. It's 100% different. Like, it's almost like, did you watch the fucking movie? Like, did you miss something? Were you not focusing? Because I don't fucking get what you saw that made you fucking cry, except for you're fucking starving in LA and it's hot and you fucking had to, like, and the movie upset you. Like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't fucking understand it. And it drives me at the fucking wall.
Let's not target the audience here.
No, it just, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not wrong. And Alan's not wrong when he doesn't like something, and Justin's not wrong. Sometimes we just don't like the shit.
It's not about not getting it. It's sometimes it's not there. Like, there's dirty not getting it.
I think you guys' IQ is just too low, and you just don't have the brain.
But to be fair, Nick, you also start a lot of these things with, I don't get you people. You guys make me angry. You guys are, So when you start with that, that's why people start to react to you when you make those statements. You're like, you go on the offensive from the get-go, going like, man, Justin, you kind of people like you got... movies.
He does the same thing with me with comic book stuff and video games.
That's the thing. I'll literally say, I don't get it. Like, that's the best thing about, and I'm not saying like I'm fucking great or anything, but that's how I do those situations where I'm just like, I don't get it. But yet, like, when someone says like for me, if we were talking about something, Justin, and we're talking about wrestling, I'm not saying you don't get wrestling. You kind of don't if you haven't seen it, but I don't use that against you. It's just you don't like it. There's nothing to get if you don't watch it.
I have tried to extend that olive branch, and when I was actually watching wrestling, you told me, "Nah, don't watch that. That stuff's stupid." I'm like,
it is. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna tell you. Like, it's just I'm not gonna have you. I'm not gonna recommend you to do something, and I'm not gonna promise you a quality of something that I'm gonna waste your time, because you can be watching tons of shit that you're into and that you love, and I'm not gonna do that. And just to feed my own fucking ego, or to hear my opinion retracted to me. Like, it's something that frustrates the fuck out of me with cinephile fucking culture. And it's like, I'm at a point now where people do that shit, I'm just gonna fucking start attacking. I'm just gonna start going to fuck ape shit on somebody who does that shit. So, just to warn all of y'all, like, yeah, Good Time isn't everything.
Don't recommend many movies.
Yeah, or Predator, thank you so much. Just don't fucking tell me to watch something. Don't tell me the fucking genre, because if it's not what it is, you know what? I'm not gonna wait for you to say that I'm fucking wrong when I tell you I don't fucking like it. I'm just gonna call you a fucking asshole, and I'm gonna go the fuck off on you, and I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of it because I probably don't even like you. So it is what it is. But aside from that, good time. It's a stream it. I agree with what Ali said and Justin. I mean, it was funny. It was a pretty cool movie. And yeah, let's just not insult people with different opinions. That's all. That's all I want. It's so easy. So Justin, I love you, sir. Alan, you're great. Ali, you're a Star Wars nerd. So same with you, Ganja. No, I'm just playing. But goddamn, that was a long ass show. Holy shit.
3 hours, sir. 3 hours.
God damn it.
Nothing less.
Yeah, it's almost like someone had a lot of points to make about certain movies and just kept talking about them. So
yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's an insult to me, but I'll agree with it if it is. But here's the thing, though, man. So we went 2 weeks without doing a show and everything. I know Ganja did his thing and whatnot, and I really appreciate you and Alan like whooping ass and doing what you guys do all the fucking time. So why don't you tell the folks how to watch those particular things?
Well, guys, if you weren't checking out the Midnight Chat Tech page because nothing was popping off the last 2 weeks, we are actually doing the Untitled Video Game Show on the Facebook page where me, Alan, and sometimes other Toasties and sometimes the good old Chat Tech gang here will join us. Even some Ringside Hangouts folks will. And we play some video games, talk some shit, do some video game news, or sometimes just bullshit around as well. I don't think we have plans for the next one that's coming up. We're going to probably decide in the week. But we'll definitely let you guys know either by Thursday or just surprise you on Friday, whatever the fuck we're playing. Alan, would you please let the people know what we're about to do about the Ringside Hangouts as well?
Yeah, Ringside Hangouts, since we're back to normal as far as our normal stuff, you'll be checking it out. Most likely, they're going to do something Sunday or the next couple of days. They're most likely going to be taking a break as well, but they are going to be coming back to the normal schedule. Just check out the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification whenever they end up coming on. And yeah, basically, as far as the after hours, we're just gonna be chilling out. If you want to come hang out, as far as the viewing party, you'll know by Wednesday.
Tonight, by the way.
No theme. We finished up our Black History Month theme last. I know it still is, so we'll just watch whatever. But we finished up our last actual theme last Saturday, so this is the off week. We're just gonna watch whatever people want to watch there.
We got
Warriors.
You know what? Let's watch. We're gonna watch the Warriors, Alan.
Okay, fuck it.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll watch the Warriors.
No, wait. How about fucking Attack on Titan season 2?
No. Don't ruin it. Also, I just want to point out we actually got Tay to cry watching Malcolm's movie, Malcolm X movie.
Oh shit, is she okay?
Yeah. Yeah, she broke down a little bit because she hasn't seen the movie before, so I guess you got a chance to watch movies you never seen before at this event. I thought you guys are all huge like movie buffs and everybody's seen everything, but a few people haven't got to check out X.
Yo,
I still think Casablanca. Sometimes there's blind spots in our movie.
Yeah, I didn't see until we started the viewing parties. I never watched Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. You need to
Oh, by the way, this I didn't tell Ganja this. I'm saying this now so we can never check it. In the next couple of months leading up to whenever the hell Jurassic World comes out, we're gonna watch Jurassic Parks 2 or 3 in World.
You act like I was gonna fight you.
Yeah,
I figured you were.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you like dinosaurs as much as we do. Or at least Alan.
Oh, thank you, Kirk. I'm glad you had a good time, sir. Hopefully we continue to entertain you and don't bore you in the next 3 weeks.
No, that's awesome, Kirk, man. You're the shit, bro. And yeah, I'm sorry for yelling at everybody, or at least one person. But, it's okay, because that's how I am, and I'm...
Julian, the only white man was short in the Black History Month. That's already the shortest month.
3 different viewing parties, none of which Julian showed up, by the way.
Oh, and thankfully Lazarus will come back after 3 days. So yeah, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So with that said, Guru, it's all you, brother.
3, 2,
1,